On day 1, I spawned into the rocky beach as a warden land shark. I'm not just a fish out of water, I'm a warden above ground. I only had 6 hearts though, so I wasn't about to become master of the ecosystem overnight. And my hopes of being immediately a relevant player in the overworld disappeared even more when a silver skeleton showed up.
Look at me and my bad self. I'm Silver John, and I'm this world's ultimate super duper star.
Whoa, you look cool. Can I be your friend?
Ugh, a warden land shark? Get your cartilage bones away from my silvery shiny bones.
He slapped me with a melee attack that wore down 3.5 of my hearts. One more hit like that, and I was toast. So I ran away to live another day. Swimming away through the land was easily done for a land shark like me, and I was able to hide among the rocks of the biome. Well, so much for making a friend right out of the gate. That Silver John guy seems like a real snob. I hope not everyone I meet is like that. I scanned the horizon with my powerful senses, a fusion of warden sonar and shark instinct. A powerful ogre appeared on my radar and was bounding over the rocks towards me. Was this new mob a friend or a foe?
You?
Me!
How dare you get that close to Silver John? I'm his #1 fan, and I've never spoken to him. Just who do you think you are, buddy?
I'm Zozo, the warden land shark, and I didn't even know who Silver John was. But after he attacked me, I totally regret approaching him.
Oh, I see. You think you're too good for Silver John. People like you make me so mad. I'm going to take what is left of your hearts.
The ogre rampaged towards me, but I wasn't planning on getting trampled. I slipped through a gap in the rocks that was too small for him to follow and hid away in a cave fit for one of my warden relatives. That's one way to start a 100-day challenge. I better steer clear of Silver John and his obsessive fans. On day 2, I traveled down the coast to another more beautiful and colorful beach, the Rainbow Beach. Even though I'm a land shark, I do like being so close to the water. I had to set up my base here. I took down some trees so that I could make a pickaxe out of wood, which I quickly discarded after I gathered stone for a stone pickaxe, shovel, and axe. I made myself a stone sword too, in case I had to defend myself from that ogre, or even Silver John himself. While I was walking the beach, I decided to do some fishing. It was ironic since I am a shark, but I managed to catch some squid, which was easy to cook into calamari over a campfire. Delicious calamari. Yep, this place is definitely going to be my home. I started to build my totally awesome beach dream house in the dreamy Rainbow Beach where I would be able to live a peaceful and happy shark life. Of course, not everyone was in agreement that I deserved a chance at happiness. The ogre had followed me to the Rainbow Beach and was still mad about what happened the other day.
Nice house, Zozo. It's a lot nicer than mine, actually. You think you're some kind of big shot, huh? But it doesn't matter because Silver John will never notice you again.
That's fine by me, ogre. I actually hope I never run into him again.
Good. Let me help you with that by making this showy house less of an eyesore.
The ogre ran over and smashed up all my hard work. I held on to my sword in fear, bracing for the ogre to attack me as well, but it never happened. The ogre was so worn out from wrecking my house that he wandered away with a huff.
That'll show you.
I was frustrated because my fledgling dream beach house had been demolished, but relieved because that ogre fist wrecking ball hadn't wrecked my poor warden land shark face. I returned to first fix up my base and then continued working on it in as quiet and not show-offy a fashion as I could manage. By the end of the day, I had a roof over my head and a lovely beach house. On day 3, I stayed on the move and discovered that there was a flowering enchanted grove nearby. This world was so beautiful and full of wonder. Wow, I should really use some of the rare wood from this grove to give the walls of my beach dream house a bit more pop. While I was gathering the materials, a yeti snuck up behind me and roared into my smooth warden land shark ears.
Rawr! I'm Yeti Betty, and I'm going to make you regretty. Ever setting foot in I'm going to need to ask you to leave the woods here with me.
There are so many trees here, and I just need a few of them. You understand, right?
Your deforestation days are over, Shark Boy.
Yeti Betty attacked me, but I drew my stone sword, ready to fight back. Take it easy, Betty. It's just the name of the game. I always build things out of wood to start with.
Wrong. The name of the game is Minecraft. Now beat it.
Yeti Betty charged up for a big attack and sent me flying across the enchanted grove with some huge huge knockback. I almost took a lot of falling damage, but fortunately, there was a small pool of water conveniently under where I landed. I was happy the water stopped me from taking damage, but I wasn't alone in the water. A barracuda was relaxing just above the surface.
Oi, can't a land barracuda swim in the water for once? Is it too much to ask?
I'm really sorry. Wait, did you say you were a land barracuda? I'm part land shark. The name's Zozo.
I'm Barry, and even though you just stumbled into my swimming pool, I can tell we're going to get on like a couple of good chums.
Have you ever been to Rainbow Beach? The water there is pretty nice, too.
Sounds it, mate. Let's dive on in.
With Barry the land barracuda by my side, I finally had a friend in this overworld. From day 4 to day 5, I returned to this colorful Rainbow Beach with my new Landian friend, Barry. Since we no longer need to live beneath the ocean waves, I built him a sweet room above the surface, including a few ambient candles you'd never be able to light under the sea.
Strike a light. Literally, me regular barracuda brethren would be so jealous of this 5-star fiery room I've got here.
You're so right, Barry. It is pretty flamin'. Something those water dwellers could never dream of seeing in a million years. Unless they evolve to be like us in a million years. Wouldn't that be something? As Barry relished in the fiery scene, I land swam from his quarters and went outside, bumping right into that Silver John superfan again.
You both think you're both so cool, huh? With your advanced evolutionary powers? I bet you think you're cooler than Silver John, don't you? Well, you can't be. He's got silver bones, and his dark eye sockets make him look like he's got built-in sunglasses all the time. Cool sunglasses he can't ever take off, because he's so cool.
I don't think we're any cooler than Silver John, actually. That guy has silver bones, which, in my personal opinion, is a pretty rare color for bones to be. He seems like he's got advanced evolutionary powers of his own.
Wow. So you think you're just as cool as Silver John then? That's just as bad as thinking you're cooler than Silver John.
I don't think I follow.
You don't follow Silver John, but everyone follows Silver John, and all haters of him must be destroyed.
Without warning, the ogre fired an arrow at me, but I was quick to dodge, using the innate instincts of my water shark ancestors who were used to evading harpoons. Arrows are just a land version of those. I think I was so good at land swimming that I was able to evade every arrow fired. Not wanting to admit my fighting moves were pretty neat, the ogre ran off in a hurry, dropping his power bow out of shock in the process. I decided to pick it up for myself. I'm not sure how I'll shoot this thing with just my fins, but it seems like a good line of defense to have. And if it's any consolation, just like my land swimming abilities, I could evolve to have opposable thumbs soon. From day 6 to day 8, I was working on my dream beach house and making it closer to the ideal version of it I kept seeing in my dreams. I knew I would need wool for some of the furniture, so I found some wandering sheep and herded them into a pen. I'll just leave them there for a while. We'll take some time to grow in, after all. Out by the sheep pasture, I noticed a shining silvery sight on the horizon. It was Silver John, the skeleton superstar. He appeared to be looking into some kind of camera and holding an auto crossbow at a sideways angle.
Hello, people.
He said into the camera.
I'm Silver John, the biggest super duper star in the overworld. And when I need to have a bit of fun, there's nothing better than shooting off an auto crossbow from Otto's auto crossbows in a random direction, like so.
Silver John started firing the crossbow, and his bolts flew through the air towards my sheep pen. A few of them grazed the fence, but one even took out a whole sheep. Whoa, that has to stop. I ran over to Silver John, heedless of the camera nearby. Hey, John, stop shooting at my sheep.
Do I know you?
I'm Zozo, the Warden Land Shark. You slapped away some of my hearts a week ago.
It doesn't ring any bells. I have a lot of people to meet, so I can't remember them all. What's your problem again?
You're shooting my sheep with your crossbow, and I want you to stop.
Yeah, I'm kinda in the middle of a commercial here, and this is the perfect location for it. I suggest you move your sheep, because I'm gonna be shooting this thing all day.
That's not fair. I just put up this sheep pen.
That was your mistake. As for me, I'm too rich to make mistakes.
Why, you can't just...
Are you still here? Scram! Before you become a target too.
I wanted to fight for my rights, but I knew I didn't stand a chance against a superstar, so I swam away in shame. From day 9 to day 10, I angrily stayed within my base, ushering a few of my sheep inside, so neither Silver John's camera crew nor could his crossbow Zozo have the ability to shoot them.
If that snide skeleton wants to capture any of your sheep on his camera, he should have to pay you first.
I don't even think he pays his camera crew, let alone the locations he films these commercials at.
He needs a permit to film this close to your property, methinks.
The legal fees of trying to fight that wouldn't be worth it. The guy's a billion trillion gazillionaire with loads of loyal fans. We'd never win, he also thinks.
Oh, don't be so glum, Zozo. Come on, follow me. I got some fun things to show you that methinks could cheer your day right up.
Wait, really? The sheep John shot is alive again?
No, I ain't a magic land barracuda, but I am pretty skilled when it comes to the art of construction. Here, check this out, my Landian friend.
Barry showed me to a statue he'd begun to build with his own two… well, he doesn't have hands, so I wasn't quite sure how he built it. I also wasn't quite sure what it was of, either. That better not be a statue of celebrity superstar Silver John Skeleton.
Oh no, he'd probably sue me given the way it looks now, being it a little ugly so far. Nah, it's not quite finished yet. I'm still letting the creative juices flow, like a forest creek or a running faucet. Speaking of bodies of water, check this out. I made us a pond, paying homage to our aquatic roots. But that's not all.
Barry then showed me the other upgrades he'd made to our base. A furnace and a Zen garden. He must have built them while I was busy hate-watching Silver John from our base window, blindly consumed with rage. Wow, what perfect timing for a Zen garden, Barry. Thanks for all of this. I think I'm gonna take some time to de-stress here. All that seething has really tuckered me out. From day 11 to day 12, I relaxed in my peaceful Zen garden, my eyes shut tight as I tried to block out the world around me, including all thoughts about Silver John. No wonder he's so popular. It's hard to get the man off your mind, whether you love him or hate him. What an evil, but clever celebrity strategy. Man, why that red-headed mermaid wanted to live up here amongst land dwellers is beyond me. The crustacean was right. Life under the sea sure does seem a lot better than anything we've got up here. As I peacefully pictured beguining sardines, carps playing harps, and trouts rocking out, something else distracted me from my musing moment. Hearing super loud tunes blast from the distance, and not my own brain, I went to check it out, witnessing something I knew I never gave permission to happen this close to my base. It was Silver John Skeleton, and he was hosting a concert.
Shining like silver, yeah. Silver baby. Gold is overrated. Silver is here to stay.
You keep it down out here. Some people are trying to relax, and those some people are me.
Huh? Sorry, I can't hear you over the super cool song I wrote. Yeah, that's right. I'm superstar Silver John Skeleton, and I write my own music with lyrics I came up with in my own brain. Silver baby.
Rumbling, I returned inside my base, using some of my sheep's wool to plug my shark ears with. There has to be something that could shift public reception about Silver John. He may be all bones, but I'm sure I could scrounge up some beef on him if I searched hard enough. He's got some skeletons in his closet, I'm sure of it. But if he won't be honest with his own fans, someone else will have to spill the beans. And that person's gonna be me! From day 13 to day 15, I hurriedly left my base to escape the nearby concert grounds, those sheep's wool earplugs not having done a very good job blocking out Skelejon's #1 chart-busting musical hit. Shining like silver, ooh, I'm silver, yeah. Ah, darn it! Why does this song have to be so catchy?
Catchy, huh? Well, I'll show you, Catchy.
A beast landed behind me. It was Betty, the Yeti. Or was it Yeti Betty? Betty Yeti? Yeti?
Ha! Gotcha, you feeble-minded fan! No one sings Silver John songs in my midst. I've spent years isolating this enchanted grove just to get his sticky tunes out of my brain. And I won't let you, some simple-minded skeleton, come in here and re-stick it to me.
Fan? Oh no, no way! I'm no fan of Silver John. That guy's one of the biggest jerks on dry land. I'd never listen to his music willingly. Look, I've even got earplugs in my ears. I was trying to tune him out, but he held a stupid concert next to my house all last night, and now I can't get his jams out of my brain.
Well, there's no way you're getting his jams out anywhere near me. The last time John came into my grove, he demanded to build a concert hall here. All without a permit, mind you. He knocked down so many trees, I was afraid he'd kill every flora and fauna until the last thing standing was his stupid stage. Now, I don't care if you're a fan or not. No one comes into my glade singing his nonsense and gets away with it.
Yeti Betty charged at me, swinging his massive fists with destructive intent. Betty swung at me, her hits a few times successful, but as she ripped through the glade, her haphazard punches destroyed a few trees with them. The more I darted, the more she hit. and the more trees that fell around us. As she tired of fighting, I fled to a far side of the grove, the last standing evergreen laying destroyed at our feet, or the equivalent of my feet. Despite being a land shark, I hadn't evolved to grow feet or legs yet.
No, my beautiful enchanted grove. It's all messed up.
That's rough, Betty. Looks like you destroyed your own forest.
If a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, does it even make a sound?
I don't know, probably. Sounds still happen even if we're not there to hear them. Oh, sweet! I just got huge! And I got a jump boost and 20 hearts! Whew, today is awesome! Life is beautiful, as Betty withered away to nothing, just like the plant life around us. I was granted with some awesome new power-ups. Even if Silver John's song hadn't escaped my head, I could at least hop around to the tune living eternally inside my brain. Hey, maybe with enough hopping, I could jostle John's song right out of my head! From day 16 to day 19, I decided to make use of my new abilities and venture into the mining caverns. Traveling into the center of the earth felt ancestrally nostalgic, like diving into the ocean and swimming towards the seafloor. Only there was no water, and I've never seen amphitheaters under the sea before either. So maybe not exactly like being under the sea, actually. I shot at the amphitheaters with my power bow, and with miraculous aim to boot, being I didn't have hands to properly aim at them. It was all guesswork, but I think I did pretty good, as I was able to defeat the mob in no time. As I ventured deep into the mines, I pondered aloud to myself. Amphitheaters, those two words sound awfully similar. I wonder if those amphitheaters would be some of Silver John's employees, tasked by him to build an amphitheater he could play his concerts in. Man, I'd hate to be them, working for Silver John, and now also dead. Now alone to my own devices, I mined my way through the caverns, able to collect enough iron ore to craft myself a brand new iron sword and iron pickaxe. It's great I can use these two new tools for myself, and not for building Silver John a concert hall. Man, who would ever want to work for him? He probably pays his employees in autographed headshots or exposure or something. What a terrible boss. From day 20 to day 22, I went back to my base. All that adventuring had made me forget that brainworm of a song I heard Silver John singing all those nights ago. Wait, why did I just bring that up again? Oh no, now it's all coming back to me. Cause gold is overrated. Silver's here to stay. Ah, dang it, not again.
Zozo, don't you dare sing that song. Not now.
What? Why? Are you afraid it'll get stuck in your head too?
Yeah, but even more importantly, Silver John Skeleton sues the pony and trap out of anyone who covers his tunes without permission. He's got copyright law wrapped around his little bony fingers, mate. You're just itching to get sued.
Before I could respond, I heard a ferocious knock at our door. Barry hid in the closet, leaving no one but me to bravely answer. Who is it?
Please, do I even need an introduction?
I'd prefer it if you…
Tell me if I'm off the mark here, which I highly doubt I am, but I thought I heard one of my songs playing from within your unpleasant hovel. Now, I have perfect pitch, and I listen to my own albums on repeat quite often, so I know a Superstar Skeleton John song when I hear one. But this one sounded different. So different, in fact, that it wasn't even my gorgeous voice singing my own song.
Well, I mean, my CD player is a bit old, so it tends to distort voices quite a bit. I can't afford a new one. I'm not super rich like you. But I can assure you, Mr. Skeleton, I wasn't…
Infringing on my copyright? Oh, please, let's be real here. You most definitely were. Now, I hate to upset my fans, especially by issuing a lawsuit, but let's be honest, you're not one of my fans, now are you? Though I find that incredibly hard to believe, as everyone above land loves me. You'd better start saving what little money you have, cause I'm taking you to court. Maybe start looking for a new place to live, too. I'm thinking of expanding my concert hall to right about where your house sits. Anyway, ciao.
I couldn't believe it. I was about to lose everything to a slimeball, self-obsessed skeleton. I had to think quick if I wanted to keep anything I held dear. Fine, I admit it. I was singing your song, and I haven't been able to stop singing your song because because I'm your #1 fan. Even if it wasn't the truth, I'd rather Silver John believe I was his biggest roadie than have my house turned into a literal road leading straight to his concert hall.
Number 1 fan, you say?
Yes, your biggest fan, the largest of the largest. I own all of your albums, all your posters, all your t-shirts, all your merch. I have Silver John DVDs, Silver John CDs, Silver John brand everything. I even own a pair of Silver John brand sneakers. Sneakers I can't even wear because I don't have feet. I just stare at them and picture myself wearing them on my non-existent feet.
That's all fine and expected, yes. But what makes you so different from any of my other adoring followers?
Because before I was a land shark, I was a sea shark. You say you're the biggest star on land, right? Well, I knew about you all the way under the sea when no one else did. I shouted your name into the Marianas Trench. Silver John, Silver John, Silver John. I'm not just your #1 fan, John. I'm your #1 spokesperson. You don't have to just be the biggest star on land, but the biggest star at sea.
So you mean I could be
Biggest star in the whole entire world.
I like the way you think. Here, this is my business card. Let's get in touch. I could use a fanager like you.
Silver John swaggered away, his bones glinting beautifully in the sunlight. Actually, it was just obnoxiously blinding. Man, I hate that guy. I couldn't believe what I'd just signed up to do. But if John was this easily fooled by my lies, I knew I may be able to take him down. If not by brawn and force, then by tricky wit. Who knew a skeleton could be so daft? I mean, I don't think he has a brain up in that skull, so it's not that surprising actually. I just wonder how he's able to write such catchy songs on his own without a mind to think them up. From day 23 to day 26, I planned my managerial pitch. It sounded pretty convincing to me, in need of some more reliable feedback. I ran my plan by Barry, who is 10 times smarter than the sheep, but equally thought it was great. I was thrilled my ruse was working, and in an unexpected twist, Barry gifted me a novelty manager hat to make me look all legit-like. Looking in the mirror, I was proud of all the work I'd accomplished, but it sure was exhausting fabricating such a believable lie. Soon, however, I'd be ready to set my plan into action. If you're someone who loves action like me, be sure to check out more of my adventures by searching up Zozo on YouTube. You'll be sure to find plenty more to choose from. But for now, this Zozo is in much need of some Z's, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. From day 27 to day 31, I managed my sheep around our base, managed the lily pads in my Zen garden, and managed my base's furnace. I was getting really good at this managing thing, despite never being a manager once in my entire land shark life. If only I didn't have to manage Silver John soon. This could have been a legitimate career path for me.
Zozo, kick your knees up, step in time. You have to come see that statue I've been working on. It's coming along real splendid, it is.
I land swam quickly ahead of Barry, super excited to see the statue's progress, especially knowing it wasn't going to be a monument to undeserving celebrity Silver John Skeleton. But upon reaching the statue, I realized something was missing. Not to burst your building bubble, Barry, but may I be managerial for a sec?
Sure, don't see why not.
I think your statue could improve with a little extra pizzazz. How about you add some ebony planks to spiff it up a bit?
Oi, I like that word, mate. Pizzazz. Yeah, I'm convinced. Ebony planks could do it wonders. But where can I get my hands on some of that stuff?
Leave it to me, Barry. I may soon be Silver John's manager, but in my heart, you're my #1 client. With lots of pep in my step, or rather swim, I headed for the gravelly mountains, fascinated by their height. Wouldn't my sea shark family members love to see this? In the ocean, they have trenches, but on land, we have mountains. They're like total opposites, like stalagmites and stalactites, or open mic nights versus sold-out stadiums. Wonder where Silver John got to start singing.
Halt! What's the password?
I was stopped short by, another Super SJ superfan. We were outside some clubhouse of some sort, and I could hear Silver John skeleton music blasting from the inside. Luckily enough, the clubhouse was built with the exact material I needed for Barry's statue back at our base. Open sesame?
Wrong. This area is for Silver John Skeleton fans only. I'm gonna give you one more chance. What's the password?
Oh, this wasn't just any clubhouse. It was a fan clubhouse. I should have known from all the SJ memorabilia out front. Also the music. Dang it, now that song was stuck in my head again. The password is Silver John Skeleton.
Yes, and?
Is the best?
Wrong again. It's Silver John Skeleton is the best best. You're no super fan, you're a super liar. Prepare to get punted, squirt.
I suddenly received a swift kick to the shark gut. I soared through the air, but I was able to land not too far off from the mountain, still clinging to the side. For a second there, I became a sky shark. While the ogre guard danced distractedly to the earwormy song, I used my jump boost to sneakily spring to the back of the building, gathering up some ebony planks. I was able to get as much ebony planks as I needed, but before I headed out, I decided to hide behind the sign and waited for a new day. From day 32 to day 35, I awoke to an ogre superfan replanting ebony trees.
Hey, why is there a weird shark up here? We don't have any oceans up on these mountains.
My cover was blown. I'm not just any shark, I'm a land shark. Now get off my tail. I sprung from the rocky mountain ground and began to defend myself, slashing my iron sword, not only at the ogre before me, but through the many Silver John skeleton banners. Devastated I had ruined his newly found collection, the ogre wept.
These were limited edition trees worth more than your own life. For shame, land shark, for shame.
As the ogre continued to sob, I quickly retreated down the mountain, but I was met with an unfamiliar voice calling for assistance.
Hey you, shark without a Silver John t-shirt on. Fellow non-fan here, you are a rare sight to see. This mountain's been littered with superfans ever since SJ started his sham of a career years ago. Think you could lend me a hand? I've asked those ogres for help time and time again, but they're too busy listening to Silver John's quote-unquote original music to hear me yelling.
Sure thing, Frostmaw. I'm a manager of sorts, so I think I could manage your sitch. What do you need?
The name's Chimi Cardioid. I'm a singer, and I have this friend of mine. He's a drummer, name's Timpani. He went missing not too long ago. It's not like him, especially since we were right in the middle of writing a song together. Think you could find out where he went? The future of our band depends on it.
Band? You're in a band? Wow, and I thought Silver John was the only performer on land.
That's what he wants you to think. You know, my band's been looking for a bass player, and look, I know you're a shark, but you're kind of like a bass. A bass. If you can get him back, we'll let you join the troupe. Now please, kid, get to it. I need my second half timpani back, or this song will never see the light of day.
I'd love to hear a different song outside of Silver John's #1 hit. You can count on me, Michi.
It's Chimi, but thanks.
From day 36 to day 39, I searched land and sea. Actually, just land. For Chimi's bandmate, Timpani. I started to lose hope until I heard obstructive, maniacal laughter coming from the Glowshroom Bayou. Laughter so loud, it got Skelejon's song out of my head for real this time.
This'll be perfect. Celeb Silver John will be sure to take me back as his manager once I bring him you, Timpani, the greatest drummer in all the land. Provide his songs with fabulous percussion, and you'll provide me with loads of money.
Stop right there, you corporate shill. Music is about groove, not greed. Now give me back my soon-to-be bandmate.
You're the new manager Silver John Skeleton replaced me with. You think you can just waltz right in and supervise a multi-million-dollar music empire with no managerial experience? I think not.
The jaded ex-manager charged me with excessive speed, but I was able to survive using the innate instincts of my water shark ancestors. I whipped out my sword and fought back. From day 40 to day 43, I continued my battle with Silver John Skeleton's disgruntled ex-manager. Being unemployed by the land's most odd artist led him to do some pretty outlandish things, and I started to feel kind of bad for him. You know, Skeleton's kind of a terrible boss for firing you on a dime like that. Maybe you could just, I don't know, get a job managing someone else? Like who?
Who could possibly make me as much money as Silver John Skeleton?
Maybe it's not all about the money, Mr. Manager. It's great to be stable, but as a former manager myself, I'd rather work with genuine artists who put music first, corporate greed later, or like corporate greed never. I know a band in need of some guidance, now that I'm joining them as their bassist. Ever heard of Chimi, Timpani, and the Land Shark?
I've heard of Timpani, yeah. Why, in fact, I even kidnapped him.
Exactly, and you didn't kill him for not cooperating with your scheme, so you must see his creative potential, and now you've met me, so you're already familiar with 2 of the 3 band members you'd be working with. We're real musicians, Mr. Manager, manager with true passion for jams and jingles, not obsessive fan bases and merchandise. We wouldn't fire you just for some ego-fluffing fanfare either. What do you say? Want to work with us instead? With a pause and a thought, the ex-manager eventually lowered his weapon, nodding in agreement.
All right, kid. As an ex-musician before I was an ex-manager, I do remember what it was like to write music for myself, not for the masses. You make me feel young again. Young! Here's my card. Call me when you got yourself a set ready. I'll book you a gig then.
Awesome! Can I have my bandmate back?
Oh yeah, here.
Our new manager headed out, leaving me with just Timpani. I guess now's a better time than ever to introduce myself. I'm Zozo, Warden Land Shark, and your new band bassist. Thrilled to be making music with you.
Boom, boom, ba. Let's get this percussion party started.
Timpani and I headed back to the Gravelly Mountains, where we met up with Jimmy once more. She was totally pumped to see her bandmate again, and formally welcomed me into the troupe.
Thanks, Zozo. You're a real trooper. Like, for real. Welcome to the band. Timpani and I are gonna continue working on the song we started. When you're done back at your base, feel free to meet us again, and we can practice our actual bass line then. Now, let's finish that new symphonic hit, baby.
From day 44 to day 49, after low-key starting a speculative career in pop music, I returned to my dream beach house and delivered the ebony planks to bury the land barracuda. You won't believe what I had to go through in order to get this. Heck, even I barely believe it.
Comes much appreciated, mate. I'll put this ebony planks to a good right use then.
Super! Anyway, I've been out traveling for a while, so I'd like to get some work done around the house. I've really missed this place. I left Barry to resume building the statue and decided the first order of business was to add a beautiful flower garden to the dream beach house. Maybe I'll have flowers for every color of the rainbow. That would really match the surroundings. I went out picking flowers for a while, then planted them all in one place, creating a nice little area for scenic viewing of plant life. Ah, now that's a flower garden. I've sure got a green fin. Maybe I'm something of a lawn shark. Once all the flowers had been planted, I returned to Barry and saw that he had made some solid progress on the statue. Excellent work, Barry. That statue is coming along great.
Thank you, Zozo. I'm taking a break for a while, though. We can't all be so lucky to have a career in the arts.
My music career has barely begun. Besides, you make building look like an art form itself. From day 50 to day 53, I was awoken to a familiar yet ferocious knocking on my base's front door. Assuming Timpani's mighty percussionist knocking was to be the case, I swung open my door, but was met not with the view of my bandmates, but with the Silver John Skeleton celeb himself. Hey, Silver Bullet, how's my favorite little musician doing? I was looking for venues to book you at and—
Can the managerial act, you lying land shark. I know you're not my biggest fan. Remember a little place up on the Gravelly Mountains called SJ's Fan Club? Well, apparently, you paid them a visit not too long ago.
How silly! Of course I would. I am your biggest fan after all.
Oh, really? Because according to my real ogre fans, you didn't know the password to get in. In fact, not only did you not know the password, but you actively destroyed a slew of my limited edition trees. Ebony trees worth more than the lives of every living land creature on the overworld. What do you have to say about that, huh?
You're the best musician in the whole wide world?
Too late for that, ex-manager. On guard!
Silver John moonwalked out of the basin in an admittedly really cool manner, making way for his ogre superfan guards to seize my base. I would have clapped for John's dance moves if he weren't the biggest jerk in the overworld. I also would have clapped for the epic ogre fan guard entrance if it weren't for them butchering half of my home upon arrival. I was too busy trying to ward them off to notice my best land friend Barracuda had been kidnapped by one of Silver John's henchfans.
This shark will make a great addition to Silver John's home aquarium. Come on now, boys. Let's send this stupid land shark back out to sea.
But I'm a land shark, not a sea shark. I won't survive in a water-filled aquarium. Unbeknownst to Barracuda's disappearance, I continued to fight the last of the superfans, destroying their hearts and morale by tearing up every last piece of Silver John memorabilia I could get my shark fins on. The jig was up, so I didn't have to pretend to be a fan anymore. And destroying SJ's merch was oddly more peaceful than any time I'd spent trying to calm down in my garden before. With this final defeat, I grew bigger, cooler, with 40 hearts, and a brand new Warden Shriek. Whoa! I can't wait to shriek more Skeleton posters to smithereens with this new power of mine. Isn't that right, Barry? Barry? I looked around, but Barry was nowhere to be found. I may have taken the merch of superfans, but they took my biggest prize of all, my best friend. I'll get you back, Barry. No superfan can trump out Super Friend. friendship. From day 54 to day 57, I was living the dream in my not-so-dreamy beach house, which I was working to make dreamier and beachier every single day. It'd be messed up if Silver John tried to take away the Rainbow Beach from me. He did say that he was planning on living here, and he could if he wanted to. I had worked too hard for some celebrity to buy me out, so I decided to go see my bandmate Jeannie for some advice on how to deal with the silver-plated skeleton. She was waiting to meet up with me in the gravelly mountains, which were as gravelly as ever. Jeannie greeted me, and the two of us began to talk about Silver John.
Being his fan won't keep you safe, especially from other fans. And if you remain unfamous, you won't be able to do anything about him. There's really only one option you have in this scenario.
And what's that, Jimmy?
You've got to become a superstar too. And that way, he won't be able to mess with you, because it will make him look bad.
What if I get too popular and wind up acting just like as big a jerk as Silver John?
That'll never happen, Zozo. You're different. Being famous doesn't have any effect on how people act.
Huh, when you put it that way. All right, let's turn this Warden Land Shark into Super Duper Star Land Shark.
The first step will be to get yourself signed to a record deal. When you get the chance, you should head to Mojave's studio in the Mojave Desert. That's where all the superstars come from.
And when I go there, I'll be a superstar too. I had only joined a band recently, but my true quest for fame and celebrity was now beginning. From day 58 to day 62, I started to take this quest for superstardom seriously by revamping my image. If there's one thing I know about rich and famous people, it's that they sparkle. And what better way for me to sparkle than by decking myself out in diamonds? I went down to the mining cavern, which seemed totally unglamorous for a rising star like me, but in order to get the job done, I had to do it. So I started digging for diamonds with my pickaxe. Before long, I was able to make the mining operation a lot more glamorous by crafting myself a diamond pickaxe. Good thing I still have enough diamonds to make some fancy jewelry. Just then, I was attacked by a gang of frost scorpions who were eager to take me down before I hit my superstar swaggering stride. I'd better craft a diamond sword. I turned the last of my diamonds into a diamond sword and stylishly dismantled the horde of frost scorpions with swing after sparkling swing. I may not have jewelry, but at least I feel amazing on the inside. And that's the part that especially doesn't change when you're famous. I left the mines without any diamond clothing, but ready to live a diamond life. From day 63 to day 66, I paced around my base, the absence of Barry hitting me hard in my newfound claim to fame. I could really use a roadie right now. Barry would have been my superfan, I'm sure of it, if only he weren't kidnapped. I looked to the statue in which Barry had left unfinished, scowling at its decrepit state. You know, if I squint hard enough, it almost looks like a statue of me. Yeah, me, superstar, super shark. Maybe when I get Barry back, he could finish the statue in my artistic honor. Cause I'm the best dang musician on land and sea, baby! I did a moonwalk even cooler than Silver John. But first, I need my main hype man back. Barry Cuda, I'm coming for you, so you can come with me to every venue I sell out seats for. I'm not a sellout, the seats are. Sold out because everyone is here to watch me. And if you want to join my fan club, be sure to subscribe to Zozo on YouTube, and maybe you can be my #1 roadie too. Now let's get into Fish Food Frenzy Funk. From day 67 to day 70, I rolled up all cool like to Mojave Studios, the biggest record-signing music studio in the entire overworld. I've got the sick beats of a warden, and I'm hungry like a shark. I can do this. Get ready, world. Superstar Zozo is on his way. I stepped into the lobby and was immediately stopped by a big bad ogre who looked straight out of Silver John's fan club. This doesn't bode well.
Hey, this is an appointment-only studio. If you want to record something here, you better have what it takes. And what it takes is you paying money to me.
Because it worked so well before, I decided to solve this predicament by lying through my shark teeth. Excuse me, don't you know who I am? I'm triple ultra mega deluxe superstar Zozo. And if you don't let me in to record my latest chart-topping song, you'll be hearing from my lawyers. All 50, a lot of them. Or perhaps you'd like me to take out my diamond sword and settle things that way. My lawyers can be your lawyers no matter how you slice it. Capiche?
Wow, you have absolutely no respect for anyone or their lives. You're definitely a superstar. Come right this way.
In that moment, I learned an important lesson about lying. It would always work and never backfire. especially not already within the same video.
Not sure who you're talking to, but the recording studio is down the hall, and further down the hall. You can't miss it if you go down the hall.
You're off the hook. For now, I'm a real forgiving super duper Warden Land Shark superstar. I went down the hall to find out where the recording booth was where I could get signed. From day 71 to day 74, I strutted my way through Mojave Studios, who were lucky enough to have a musical mastermind such as myself gracing their halls. As I passed portraits by the likes of Mozart, Stevie Wonder, and David Bowie, all musicians with lesser star power than me, I couldn't help but roll my eyes. Mozart Lisa, Stevie Blunder, and David O'Noe. None of them have the sharksmanship that I do. I'm the star of the land, the star of the sea, and no one will take that away from me. Ooh, that rhymed. I should include those lyrics in my new chart-topping single. I heard a few other so-called musicians recording in their booths, but none of their songs sounded anywhere remotely as good as mine. I even heard a song being sung about trees and nature by an oddly familiar voice.
Flowers are blooming and grasses are green. If you steal my gardens, I'll rip out your spleen. Oh, hey, Zozo. After we battled it out in my enchanted knoll, I decided to pursue a career in music. There's no better way to spread ecological awareness than through the power of song.
Sorry, who are you?
Yeti Betty, or Betty the Yeti. Don't you remember me?
I have a lot of fans. I don't remember faces. And you might as well give up on your song now, since my new single's gonna top the charts and push yours down second to none. I continued my confident stride through the halls. Betty's sobbing was sure to make everyone in the soundproof booth with her tone deaf. Beneath the portrait of Paul McCartney, I found a really cool chest. Sweet! I opened the chest and found a full set of diamond armor. How generous! They shouldn't have. Just kidding. They were totally right in this decision. Time to make myself the overworld's next king of bling. Oh wait, I already am the king of bling. Take that, silver skeleton. This shark's made of gold and diamonds. From day 75 to day 78, I made it all the way down the hall in Mojave Studios and found the recording booth where superstars recorded their best stuff. It was starting to dawn on me that I hadn't actually prepared a song to record, but that didn't matter as much as knowing I was the biggest super duper star around. Except right now, I wasn't. Somebody else was using the recording booth, and it was Silver John and Barry the Land Barracuda.
Barry, fetch me more donuts.
Oi, but Mr. John, you've already had so many of them sugary things.
Why should I need to worry about sugar? I'm a skeleton. And also, as everyone in the world is aware, a superstar. Now, I won't say it again. More donuts.
Aye, sheesh. I'll do it then, cripes.
Barry exited the booth, and I was able to swim up to him. Seeing him work for my greatest enemy felt like a deep emotional betrayal, so I let him have it. Barry, come on, man. I thought we were tight, and now you're dropping the big Zos for some old dusty skeleton? Not cool, man. Very unglam of you. And hey, you're not dropping me because I'm dropping you. You and I are history, pal, just like Mozart, Stevie Blunder, and David O'Noe.
Oh, mate, it's not like that. Silver John is a horrible boss. I hate working for him. But you didn't exactly break down the door to rescue me, did ya?
Save your excuses for the county excuse fair. I bet you'll win a big ribbon because your excuses are very much, excuses.
Oh, whatever, mate. You have fun proving how much of a fake jerk you are to the other fake jerk. I'm out of here. See you back at the beach house.
Barry swam out without even getting Silver John his donuts. I guess he really was out of there, but I was just getting started. From day 79 to day 84, I recorded my new hit single at Mojave Studios, blowing away the producer. With how banging my sweet beats were, the speakers shook the room as I sang out to my incredible tune, a song the likes of the world had never known. Until now, that is, all thanks to me and my brilliant mind. Diamonds on my shoulders, yeah, diamonds on my head. You're lame and dumb, I'm cool and fun, and yeah, that's what I said. As I continued gracing the microphone with such musical prowess, someone barged right through my booth's doors, staring me down with his eternally sunglassed eyes.
Who is it? Who's making music the likes of which I've never heard?
That'd be me.
You? And who might you be?
Need I an introduction? With a pause, Silver John scanned my entire diamond-covered getup, taking a moment to recognize the shark beneath the glittering surface.
Zozo?
That's so whoa to you. Whoa, as in whoa, this guy's incredible.
Normally I'd hate to admit it, but right you are, Zowo. Right you are. You know, we've had our fair share of healthy competition, you and I. But how's we make a proper, beneficial business deal, eh? Instead of fighting fin and femur over who gets to be the next chart topper, why don't we combine our musical genius into one brilliant song? A song that, once it's finished, both land and sea will be jumping at the chance for even the slightest glimpse at us, let alone buy tickets for our concert together.
You mean like a collab? Between you and me?
Don't you know it, pal? If we do this, no musician could ever reach the heights we'll reach. We'll break the charts straight through the ceiling. We'll make millions, no, billions! You'll no longer be a land shark, but a sky shark, a sky-high shark, a universe shark. What do you say, huh? Want to be known worldwide? All you gotta do is say the word.
And what's the word?
Let's go platinum.
Your global fame was so close. I could almost taste it. All right, SJ, let's go platinum. We shook on it, fin in hand. And right as we did, Silver John transformed into a bigger, better, cooler version of himself. He was no longer Silver John Skeleton, but Platinum John Skeleton.
Now, Zowo, let's take our moonwalk to the moon.
From day 85 to day 89, I swagger swam back to my dream beach house, a fitting home for a super duper alley-ooper star like myself. I sure am glad I worked things out with Silver John. He's actually the second coolest dude in the overworld, behind me, of course. As I walked inside, I noticed Barry chilling inside the base.
Oh, hey, big faker.
Barry Meister, bury me away. Hey, Barry.
I said, you're a fake.
A fake? Could a fake become the biggest superstar in the overworld? Could a fake live in a big dream house with the overworld's grouchiest barracuda as a friend?
We ain't friends, Zozo. Not with you acting this way. You're not a land shark anymore. You're a clout shark.
Barry's words struck a deep chord with me. I wanted to argue with him, but my mind knew deep down that he was telling the truth about me. I had let fame, or just my obsession with it, turn me into a big jerk, just like Platinum John. You're right, Barry. Oh, I'm really sorry. I don't know how I got so mixed up, but it stops now. Whatever I do, musically or otherwise, I do it because it's who I really am.
Oi, mate, I can tell you meant that. I'm sorry for saying we aren't friends.
Apology accepted. Hey, let's make some music, just for us. Barry and I spent the rest of the day coming up with freestyle raps that were totally fire. So fire, in fact, that they created a fire enchantment that I could use for my diamond sword. With this fire, I will cleanse my wrongdoings and set the record straight. I'm going to let Platinum John know that he can't make me be like him, and he can't boss me around either. From day 90 to day 94, I decided to air my ego out a bit by taking a long nature walk. Timpani had mentioned once before that he got most of his creative inspiration from the outdoors and its natural percussion, the falling of rain, the rhythm of footsteps. So I figured I should try and engage in such a natural endeavor as well. Besides, it was much better than being stuck inside a stuffy, soundproof recording studio anyways. As I felt one with the Glowshroom Bayou, its aura granted me with a lot of peace, and I felt confident I could write anything my own heart desired, in a humbled, peaceful sort of way. As I approached the campfire, I was met with a super fan of me?
Oh my gosh, no way, it's you! Superstar Land Shark Zowo! Hey, can you sign my collection of Zowo posters for me? And what about this? My Zowo custom jacket, my Zowo limited edition wallet, my Zowo...
Whoa, I'm no Zowo anymore. I'm just Zozo. My days of stardom are over. My choice. They weren't all they were cracked up to be. Plus, it got pretty lonely without all my true friends around. Do you ever wonder if the stars up in the sky get lonely too? My family under the sea never gets to see the stars up above. Only sea stars, which are under the water. They've also never seen clouds or rain. Actually, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I think this nature walk is inspiring me way too much to the point beyond comprehension. Anyways, being a rock star stinks. What is it we were talking about again?
Signing my Zowo memorabilia?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't do stuff like that anymore. Sorry.
No worries. I think your speech actually opened my eyes a bit. Maybe I don't have to be a fan of someone else. Maybe I can be a fan to myself in a humble kind of way, like self-care and all that. Speaking of, I only started playing guitar because all the cool people like Platinum John did it. But in reality, I hate playing guitar. My fingers are too big, and my true passion is the flute. If you're still making music for yourself, you can have my guitar if you'd like. I'd rather it go to a home where I know it'll get used, rather than sit around collecting dust amongst my Platinum John merch. I'll probably sell anyway.
Gee, Thanks, Superfan. I'd love to take it off your hands. It might come in handy one day. Man, I wish I had hands. I'm still able to play guitar, though.
Don't call me Superfan, call me Super Free. Free to love whatever I want to love, including myself.
But not too much, or you'll end up just like Platinum John.
Got it. I'm free to love myself at an acceptable level.
And how? From day 95 to day 97, I invited Chimi over to the Rainbow Beach House for a jam session. We played a lot of funky music and then took a well-earned break.
So, no hard feelings about Mojave Studios?
What do you mean?
Felt like I pushed you into becoming a superstar, and it might have been for the wrong reasons. You're a unique artist, Zozo, and trying to be like Silver John wouldn't be the win you'd hoped for.
I realize that now, but if it makes you feel better, I don't blame you for any of it.
Thanks, Zozo. There's something else I need you to hear.
Jimmy pulled out a music disc, which we decided to play on the record player. I almost couldn't believe my ears.
Shining like diamonds, I'm Jimmy, Jimmy baby. You're all overrated, Jimmy's here to stay.
What? But this is Silver John's song. I mean Platinum John's song.
It was originally my song. He changed the lyrics and melody and made it about him. And that's how he got famous.
Jimmy, that's terrible. We've got to get his fans to listen to this. Maybe they'd turn on him.
But maybe they wouldn't. Platinum John may have stolen my work to get where he is, but that doesn't mean I was meant to get there instead. Fame is a tricky thing, Zozo, and it has a mind of its own.
But Silver John can't get away with this. His legacy is built on a lie.
Then you'll have to beat him with the truth. A new truth that comes from the heart. A new song that will reveal everything.
Diss track.
Exactly. One so perfect and truthful that it will cut straight through all his glitz and glamour.
Let's rehearse it then. I'll return to Mojave Studios and get it recorded in the next few days. Chimi and I continue to jam, now ready to bring the heat down on Platinum John with an epic diss track. On day 98, I was still rehearsing for my big day of recording. I was finally doing music for me with the help of my friends, and I couldn't have been any happier. But if you would like to be happier, you should listen to this song I wrote. Like the video and subscribe to Zozo. You want to watch the videos? Don't say no. Adventures in store, videos galore. Leave a comment, tell me a tell. I'll do 100 days as a whale. I'm Zozo. Zozo, baby. On second thought, this might be the last singing one for a while. Music is difficult. On day 99, I brought my guitar with me to Mojave Studio in order to record the diss track that Chimi and I had been practicing obsessively. Today is the day that I use my musical talent to set things right. I've got the sonic grooves of justice served. I stepped inside and proceeded down the hall, and further down the hall until I reached the recording booth. Platinum John was still hanging around in the booth, but I wasn't messing around with him this time.
What's up, Zozo? Ready to make some more popular music about how cool we are and how lame everyone else is?
I've got a better idea, Platinum John. Listen to this hot beat. I tuned the guitar to perfection and transformed into the WARDEN Land Shark embodiment of music. I could spit literal fire with my fire breath, and I had 100 hearts. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. John, where did it go wrong? You traded all your friends for a stolen song. John, how can you even go on? John, where did it go wrong? If I were you, my heart would feel so wrong.
What is this? Why does it sound like this song is about me? And it's true!
You better believe it. This is the soundtrack of your fall from grace. John, you're a fraud, a liar, a cold. Is there an honest bone in your skeleton bod? The fire I was spitting blasted Platinum John's skeleton, destroying his overinflated ego with the burning flames of the truth. Desperate for the song to stop, Platinum John attacked. But once again, my Warden Shark intuition allowed me to dodge his every attack as my fire breath burned him down to the last ashen bone. His fame was over. I, Zozo, had taken down the biggest jerk who ever claimed to be a super duper star. I've got to tell my friends about this. On day 100, we were tired by the fanfare of celebrity life, so we threw a small party on stage as intimate as the small town coffee shop's open mic night. We had a circle jam together, each playing our respective instruments. Jimmy on the mic, myself on the guitar, Timpani on the drums, and Barry as our new pianist.
I may not have fingers, but flopping on the keys is the next best thing.
Hey Barry, whatever happened to that statue you were building?
Aye, come off it, mate. The real statue is playing music with your mates.
You said it, and I agree with it. Our sheep were our audience, and they were super into our friend-run symphony, buying and applause every time we swapped to a new song.
This really is the life, Zozo. Just us and our instruments, sharing the beauty of music together. And what could be better than that?
I don't know. Topping the worldwide charts? just kidding. The only thing I need in my world is my best friends. Now let's close this last song out, Chimi. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
On day 1, I spawned into the Black Forest as an impressive but small robot land shark with 10 hearts. Wow, look at me! Am I a robot? Am I a shark? What's the deal with my whole thing? While I was looking around and getting a sense of setting in myself, an evil scientist approached me.
What you are is my greatest creation. Are you prepared to serve your ultimate purpose, carrying out my every wish and destroying all of my enemies?
What? No, I don't want to do any of that.
Too bad. That's the only reason you exist. To rebel against this purpose would be a fool's errand.
Then I guess I'm a fool, but I'll never be evil, and I'll never work with you.
Ha! Something must be wrong with your programming. A bug in your system. I'll have to exterminate it. You have 100 days to change your mind and come work for me, or I'll take you apart bit by bit myself and put you back together my way.
I don't like the sound of that. I've got to get out of here.
You can run, but you can't hide. I can track you wherever you go. You're my creation!
I ran out of there as fast as my metal fins could carry me. While I was running, I ran right into an armored pillager. Oof, I'm sorry.
Abomination! You must have been created by Dr. Evilson. I'll destroy you and save the overworld from his monstrous plans.
Wait, but he didn't listen and started to attack me. Luckily, I was small enough to dodge and run away from him. So I've got Dr. Evilson to worry about, and the people who think I'm working for him. I'll have to find a way to get strong enough to defeat him before he reprograms me. And I'll need to make some friends who can look past my scary exterior and help me. This is gonna be tough! On day 2, I decided to start building myself some shelter. I'll need a base where I can hide out and stay safe from Dr. Evilson and from more of those armored pillagers. First things first, I'll need some wood. Luckily, I'm in a forest. I walked deeper into the Black Forest where I gathered some wood and some apples too. Snack break! Can robot sharks eat apple? I sure hope so. I ate an apple. Looks like the answer is heck yes! Using the wood, I crafted a wooden pickaxe for myself. Then, I took that pickaxe and started gathering some stone. Phew, that was hard work. But now, I've got enough to make some stone tools. I crafted a stone pickaxe and a stone sword too. Now that I've got some tools, I'd better get started on my base. I'll need somewhere to sleep tonight. I found a perfect spot by the ocean. It gave me a great idea what I wanted my base to be. Can you figure out what I'm building? Just as I was building my base, I saw that armored pillager rushing out at me from behind the trees.
There you are! Die, robot scourge!
I'd really rather not. He attacked, but I countered with my stone sword. It was a pretty tough fight, but after some back and forth, I managed to defeat him. Wow, this has been a really big second day of existing. I'd better get some rest. I finished up building myself a comfortable but modest bedroom and went to bed. On day 3, I ventured out to the desert to search for more materials for my base. Good thing I'm not a real shark. This heat would dry me right out. I was exploring my sandy surroundings when a geomancer rushed at me out of nowhere. Hey, what's the big idea?
The big idea is you, defying the wishes of Dr. Evilson. I am a big fan of his evil scientific advances, and I don't take kindly to that sort of thing.
Did he build you too?
No, I'm just really into evil science. Why won't you accept your purpose?
I don't want to be evil. I don't want to hurt anyone.
But it's fun. See?
He attacked me, but I dodged his hit. This isn't fun. Leave me alone. He attacked me again, and this time I wasn't able to dodge. He knocked me down. Uh-oh, I'm in real trouble here. A sudden gust of wind knocked the geomancer away from me. It sent him flying out of sight. Wow, what was that? I jumped to my feet, and I saw a wind caller standing in the distance.
That was me, stranger. Are you alright?
I am now. Thank you. I'm Zozo.
My name is Willy. Willy the Wind Collar. I believe I heard you say that you oppose the work of Dr. Evilson?
Yes, he invented me, but I don't want to be evil. I want to stop him from hurting people.
We share a common goal, my friend. Would you like to work together?
No. I'd love to. From day 4 to day 5, I led Willy the Wind Caller back to my base. Oh, I guess you'll need a room to live in here.
That would be ideal. Yes!
Then I'll build you a room right away. I constructed a small cozy room for Willy to live in while he was staying with me. It'll be so nice to have some company here. I was worried I wouldn't make any friends while looking this scary.
I've seen far scarier things in this world than you, Zozo. I promise.
That's unsettling, but
Also nice to hear. Anyway, you get settled in here. I'm gonna go gather some more supplies. I wandered back out into the forest nearby and started picking up some wood and stone so that I could add on to the base. While I was using my pickaxe to dig up some stone, an armored pillager jumped out from behind a tree and attacked me. Oh no, not another one of you guys!
Oh yes, I know you destroyed my brother, and I've come here to avenge him. You're even more horrifying than he described.
Rude, but we don't have to fight. You can just leave.
Never! Stand and face me, coward!
Okay, I guess. I drew my sword and fought back against the armored pillager. I had a bit more practice this time and was able to defeat him more quickly than his brother. Phew, I'm getting better at this. Oh, hey, looks like he dropped something. I took a closer look and saw that it was a potion of swiftness. Oh, I better take this with me. From day 6 to day 8, I continued gathering supplies for the base. I've got lots of building materials, but I feel like I'm missing something. What else do we need? While I was brainstorming, running the idea through the computer of my brain, I spotted a herd of lost sheep. Hey, do you guys belong to anybody? Do you need somewhere to live? The sheep didn't answer me, they just stared at me, so I took that as an answer. Follow me, sheep! I started to lead the sheep back to my base, but my path was suddenly blocked by Dr. Evilson. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right. Have you reconsidered my offer? Will you join me and serve your purpose? My greatest invention?
Nice of you to call me great, but I still don't want to do your bidding.
Sorry to hear that. Guess I'll have to introduce you to my new friend then.
Sure, I love to meet new people. Oh, I get it. Your friend is a weapon, right?
No, well, yes. It's this mace. Come with me, or I'll smash you into scrap metal.
He swung the mace at me, and I dodged and tried to fight back with my sword, but it didn't even leave a scratch. Uh-oh, I'm still not strong enough. I'd better get out of here. Before Dr. Evilson could attack me again, I ran out of there, leading the sheep with me. That was a close call, but at least I got these sheep. Then I built a little pen for them to stay in. From day 9 to day 10, I was feeling pretty down after running away from that fight with Dr. Evilson. I thought I'd be stronger by now, but I can still barely fight. Willie the Windcaller wove words of wisdom.
Sounds like you're having a bit of a confidence crisis.
I am Willie, it's true. I'm not sure what to do to get my spirits back up. Do robots even have spirits? I feel like they have to, because mine is kind of crushed right now.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You've only existed for 9 days. It takes time to reach your full potential.
I guess.
Listen, I've got something that might cheer you up. I've been working on a statue as a gift for you. Come take a look.
Sure, I love statues. I followed Willie and saw a piece of a statue that he had already completed. This is really cool. What's it gonna be?
That's a surprise.
I love surprises too. You really get me. If you think you can guess what the final statue will be, let me know down in the comments.
If you're done breaking the fourth wall, I want to show you some base upgrades I made too. I added a lighthouse tower, but there is more inside.
I followed him and saw a brand new kitchen right by the entrance. I even tested out our new comfy sofas. Upstairs, there was a storage room full of crates filled to the brim with veggies. Then he showed me a training room where I tested my fighting skills. There was even a nice new furnace area. Lastly, we went to the roof and hung out by another sheep pen. Wow, all these upgrades are awesome and super helpful. Thank you for doing all of this.
Hey, don't mention it.
I already did. From day 11 to day 12, I had a very strange dream. I could see Dr. Evilson working in a spooky laboratory, putting the pieces of an invention together. As he did, I realized I recognized it. The invention was me. Or it was me before I was activated and woke up in the Black Forest.
This invention will be my greatest creation. The unstoppable power of a shark, the indestructible strength of a robot, and the ability to navigate all kinds of land. No one will ever stand in my way again. If anyone decides to defy me, or question me, or make jokes about me being a nerd just like they did back in high school, I'll just have my robot assassin take them out. I'll never face consequences for my actions ever again!
Just as he finished building the robot in my dream, I woke up. That was wild. It must be a memory from my, well, computer memory. I was right about that guy. He has nothing but bad intentions. I definitely don't want to help him or any of that. I know I was built to be an assassin, but I want to be someone good instead.
I just hope I can. From day 13 to day 15, I traveled back to the desert. I need to practice my fighting if I'm gonna have any hope of defeating Dr. Evilson. If any bad guys show up, I'll make sure I'm ready. As I was exploring, I spotted that nasty geomancer who attacked me before. I guess Willy wasn't able to get rid of you for good.
You mean that pathetic little breeze? Huh, it takes more than that to keep a geomancer down.
How about a sword? I drew my sword and got ready for battle.
A robot land shark with a sword? Now I've seen everything.
Have you seen me kicking your butt? Cause you're about to. But fighting isn't just about making funny quips. I actually had to put my money where my robot shark mouth was. I charged at the geomancer and slashed him with my sword. This time, I managed to do some damage. Before long, I had won my victory. I did it! That was amazing! Hey, what's that beeping sound? My robotic body was beeping, like it was upgrading. And sure enough, it was. I grew bigger, got stronger, and my hearts increased to 24. Yippee! I cheered and fired a laser. Whoa, I'm a shark with a stinking laser beam on my head. I can't wait to see what happens next on my journey. From day 16 to day 19, I decided it was time to try and upgrade my gear. It's mining time. I yearned for the mine. I followed my heart and my built-in GPS system and located a mining cavern near my base in the Black Forest. I climbed down into the cavern and scoured the dark tunnels for something valuable. I happened upon a rich vein of iron ore. This is perfect. I was just about to start digging it up when I was ambushed by a zombified armored piglin. Yikes! Where did this scary thing come from? It didn't answer me. It just oinked and attacked. I fought back with my sword, but I wasn't able to win until I zapped it with my new laser ability. That did the job. Phew. Now that that's done, I'd better get this iron and get out of here before any more monsters show up. I took the iron ore back to my base, smelted it in the furnace, and crafted an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. From day 20 to day 22, I woke up to the sound of Willy the Windcaller running into my room. What's going on?
Zozo, come quickly. Dr. Evilson is outside. I think he's here to attack your base. At least, I can't imagine he has any good intentions.
No, I doubt it. I'll be right there. I ran out of my room and was out to the front of the base where Dr. Evilson was waiting, looking evil and menacing as always. What are you doing here?
What? Doctors can't make house calls anymore?
I'm not sick.
Are you sure about that? Maybe you have a computer virus, and that's why you're ignoring your programming. Let me take a look inside your head, and I can fix you.
There's nothing wrong with me. I just don't want to do what you want. Now get out of here. This is my home, and you weren't invited.
I'll leave if you come with me. Or should I just shut you down and use your parts to make a better robot?
I drew my sword and got ready to fight. I rushed at him and attacked. I dodged easily, so I fired my laser at him and it hit.
Ouch! So I see you can do at least some of what I programmed. I'm going to tend to this burn, but I'll be back, Zozo. You're my invention. Never forget it.
From day 23 to day 26, I was taking a leisurely stroll through the Black Forest near my base when I spotted a book lying on the ground. What's this? Oh, it's an enchantment! Projectile Protection 3! This will protect me from projectile attacks! That's awesome! I'd better take it with me. On my way back to my base with the enchantment, I reminisced about my journey so far. And if you want to see more amazing Zozo videos, make sure to search Zozo and don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, back to my quest to defeat Dr. Evilson! From day 27 to day 31, I returned home to my base to find Willy waiting for me. Hey, what's up?
I added another part to the statue. Would you like to take a look?
Sure. I followed him to the statue and admired the progress he'd made. It's looking good.
Thank you. But it's missing something. I think it could use a dash of daysight.
Oh, now that you say it, I think you're right. I can go get you some. Where is it?
If my memory is correct, you can find it in the Dover Mountains.
With that, I traveled to the Dover Mountains in search of the daysight. There it is. That was easy.
Stop right there. I'm under strict orders to deactivate you and take you apart.
Another armored pillager? It's like there's an infinite supply of you guys.
We are Legion. Now stand down.
I don't have time for this. I fired my laser at the armored pillager and burnt him to a crisp. Now, where was I? From day 32 to day 35, I was gathering the daysight when a conjured slime came oozing toward me. Hey, you're not going to attack me, are you?
Hey, what? No way, pal. I'm Stanley Conjured Slime, and you look like the kind of guy who can get someone out of trouble. My friend's been snatched by a skeleton vanguard. We gotta get her back. And make sure the sleaze that took her sleeps with the fishes. You get me?
I think so. Where did the fish come in?
Forget about it! You gonna help me or not?
Sure, I'll help. Just tell me where to go, and I'll help save your friends.
Sweet. You're a good guy, you know that? What's your name, pal?
Zozo.
Nice to meet ya. Tell you what, Zozo, you saved my buddy, and I'll owe ya a big favor.
From day 36 to day 39, I followed Stanley the Conjured Slime's directions to a cave near the mountains. It's pretty dark and wet in there. I can't see too well. How do I know if his kidnapped friend is really in there? That's when I heard a distant voice saying,
Kidnapping sure is fun. I wonder when your little friend will pay the ransom. Not that I'll let you go after he does.
oh, that's how. That sure does sound like an evil skeleton vanguard. I'd better be sneaky so he doesn't spot me before I can get to him. I tiptoed into the cave, hiding behind some rocks where I could get a better look without being caught. I could see a redstone cube locked in a cage toward the back of the cave. I bet that's Stanley's friend. I watched them from a distance, staying out of sight.
Stanley can't afford your ransom, you maniac. He's not one of those slimes that's just rolling in dough. He came from humble beginnings and stayed there. Just let me go and find some other way to make your cash.
Nah, I don't feel like it.
All I could do was hang back and contemplate my next move. He's got a key. If I can get the angle just right, I can shoot my laser at his hand and knock the key onto the ground. Then I can grab it and unlock the cage. From day 40 to day 43, I snuck out from behind the rock and fired my laser at the skeleton vanguard's hand.
Ouch! What was that?
He dropped the key, but he also spotted me.
I don't recall inviting some Robo-Shark freak to my crib. Get lost.
No can do. Her friend sent me to rescue her. Let the cube go.
Don't wanna, and I don't do anything I don't wanna do.
Well, that's about to change, because I'm pretty sure you don't want to lose a fight, and you're going to anyway.
Tough talk from a metal fish.
I fired another laser at the vanguard skeleton, then I rushed in with my sword and finished the fight before he could get a single hit in. Let's get you out of here. I used the key to unlock the cage, freeing the redstone cube.
Gee, thanks.
I took the redstone cube back to where I left Stanley the Conjured Slime.
You're a gem, Stan. Thanks for sending this guy to save me.
Stan took me aside afterward and made good on his deal.
I owe you one, Zozo. Don't forget a favor.
Well, if you ever have anything that could help me defeat Dr. Evilson, then I'd love to collect on that favor.
You got it, kiddo.
From day 44 to day 49, I said goodbye to Stanley Conjured Slime and his friend the Redstone Cube and traveled back home to my base. Willy, I'm back!
Wonderful. I've awaited your return with bated breath. Did you manage to find the day site?
Sure did. Is this enough?
It's plenty. I'll get to work on the statue right away. Oh, I can't wait for you to see it when it's finished.
Awesome! While he's doing that, I think I'll make some changes to the base. It could use a bit of sprucing up. I decided to construct a wall around the perimeter of the base, making sure it was nice and tall. This will keep us safe in case Dr. Evilson decides to come back and finish what he started last time. It took a lot of hard work, but I managed to construct a sturdy perimeter wall. I wonder how Willy's doing with the statue. I'll go check it out. When I found Willy, he was just finishing adding the day site to the statue. That looks really cool. Is it okay that I still can't tell what it is yet? Is it abstract art?
Yes and no. Yes, it's okay, but no, it's not abstract art. I go for a more realistic style. You'll have to wait and see.
From day 50 to day 53, I was napping on a sofa, but got interrupted by the sound of chaos outside of the base. I rushed to the front entrance to see a whole group of armored pillagers swarming the place. Behind them, Dr. Evilson was barking orders. Hey, I thought you guys hated Dr. Evilson.
Yeah, but we love money, and it turns out Evil Scientist is a gig that pays really well.
You'd really compromise your whole belief system for some money?
Yeah, duh.
Willy the Windcaller rushed outside to see what all the commotion was.
Oh no! Zozo, we're being invaded!
Oh really? I never noticed!
Let me summon some wind to blow these jerks away!
Willy was getting ready to call some wind when all of a sudden one of the armored pillagers snatched him and ran off into the woods. Willy, no! As Dr. Evilson disappeared, the rest of the armored pillagers closed in around me. But I was ready for them. I fought back with my sword and my laser until there were no more armored pillagers left. The victory gave me a huge strength and energy boost. My hearts increased to 50. I grew into a larger robot land shark and gained the ability to warp a short distance. Awesome! what am I gonna do about Willy? Who knows what awful scientific stuff Dr. Evilson might do? From day 54 to day 57, I spent most of my time repairing all of the damage to the base. I had to patch up the perimeter wall. Those armored pillagers really made a mess, but it all looks like new again. Now, I need to figure out how to save Willy. Wait a second, I remember a certain conjured slime who said he owes me a favor. I traveled back to the Dover Mountains and wandered around until I spotted Stanley Conjured Slime. Hi, Stanley. Can I collect on that favor now?
Hey, Zozo! Sure thing, buddy boy. What kind of favor you need? Got someone who's asking for a pair of cement shoes? I make shoes in my spare time.
That's neat, but no. I need to rescue my friend from Dr. Evilson, and I wanted to get your advice on what I should do next.
Really? That's your favor? Whatever floats your boat, I guess. Word on the street is, Dr. Evilson's got all kinds of high-tech weapons at his place. Guess you know that already. That diamond gear holds up pretty well against it. Pretty good stuff. Get yourself some of that, then mosey on down to the eroded Badlands. That's where the evil lab is.
Thanks, Stanley. From day 58 to day 62, I listened to Stanley Conjured Slime's advice and traveled back down into my favorite mining cavern. Sure, it was the only mining cavern I'd been able to find so far, but that doesn't matter. Okay, let's gather some diamonds. Shouldn't be too hard, they're only really rare and valuable. I used my special robot vision to scan for diamonds, but I spotted something way stinkier and undead instead. A zombified fungus thrower was lurking in the dark. When it spotted me, it threw some fungus at me. Yuck! The stench was so bad, it poisoned me. I dodged by warping out of the way and shot a laser beam at the zombified fungus thrower, vaporizing it. Awesome! Hey, look what it was guarding. Diamonds and a bunch of iron. I dug up enough diamonds to craft a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. And with the iron, I was able to make a full set of armor. With this new gear, I'm definitely feeling stronger and tougher than ever. From day 63 to day 66, I was feeling really upset about Willy being kidnapped. I wish robot land sharks could cry. I really want to right about now, but I guess the water would rust my metal exterior, so I'll just have to find another way to express my emotions. I took a look at the statue that Willy had been building for me. I'm going to get you back, Willy. You're going to finish the statue. We'll finish it together. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any amazing Zozo videos. From day 67 to day 70, I set off toward the eroded Badlands on a mission to rescue Willy. I've got to find Dr. Evilson's secret laboratory, and fast. Oh, hey, there it is. I guess it's not that secret. Good news for me, though. I approached the entrance to the lab and spotted a huge armored pillager stationed out front. Looks like he's guarding the place. I don't think I can sneak past him, especially with how big I've gotten, so I'll have to fight my way inside.
Hey, you. The robot talking to himself. You're not supposed to be here.
Uh-oh, he spotted me. I fired a laser at the armored pillager, but he dodged. It was okay though, I had another plan. I walked over to him, drawing my new diamond sword, and attacked. With just a few swipes of my sword, I won the battle. Hold on, Willy, I'm coming. From day 71 to day 74, I entered Dr. Evilson's laboratory base. I just need to find the dungeon, or the jail, or wherever he keeps his kidnapped test subjects. How about I take you there myself? As a prisoner of the great doctor. How'd you sneak up on me like that?
I tiptoed. Now stop asking questions. You can come with me willingly, or I can take you there in pieces.
Third option, I kick your geomancing butt.
How dare you? I don't geomance with my butt.
While he was getting mad at me about the specifics of geomancing, I warped behind him and attacked with my sword.
Hey, that's not fair.
You guys tried to destroy my home and kidnapped my friend. I think I'm allowed to do a sneak attack. He tried to attack me, but I dodged and slashed him with my sword again. That successful hit was enough to take him down, and I won the fight. Okay, which way should I go now? Before I left the room, I spotted a chest sitting in the corner. I opened it and found a full set of diamond armor inside. Lucky me! Can I wear armor over a metal body? Let's see. I can! Sweet! Okay, let's go! From day 75 to day 78, I followed the path through the secret laboratory until I found a room labeled Test Subjects, Kidnapped. This must be it. I kicked in the door and ran inside. There, I saw Willy the Windcaller sitting in a prison cell.
Zozo, the winds of fate brought you to rescue me.
No, my fins brought me here to rescue you. But the end result is pretty much the same, I guess. Where's the key? I need to get you out of that cell.
Dr. Evilson took it with him. Is there any way you could break me out of here without it?
I can try.
I was about to shoot a laser at the bars of the cell when Dr. Evilson came stomping into the room.
Ah, Zozo! I see you've decided to join us. Are you here to stay, or are you still allowing foolish bugs in your system, like friendship and heroism, to interfere with your purpose?
The second one, except they're not bugs. They're convictions and beliefs.
Ah, tomato.
Give me the key, Evilson.
Heh, you'll have to take it from me.
Okay. I warped behind Dr. Evilson and snatched the key away from him before he could stop me. Then, I fired a laser at him to distract him while I unlocked the cell, freeing Willie. Quick, let's get out of here.
Let's blow this popsicle stand.
What? Huh?
Run!
Together, Willie and I ran out of there as fast as we could.
This isn't over, Zozo!
From day 79 to day 84, while Willie and I were traveling back home to the safety of our base, Dr. Evilson was hard at work in his secret laboratory, the smaller, even more secret lab inside of his main secret lab.
I hoped to develop this more before testing it on myself. Maybe try it on some unwilling test subjects first, but I'm running out of time. I must bring Zozo into my custody in order to harness his power. So, I'll have to try it now and hope for the best. This specially engineered golden apple should render me incredibly strong and dangerous in combat. Let's see.
He devoured the enchanted steel apple and began to transform. He grew taller, wider, stronger.
This is exactly as I designed, Zozo. Soon you will embrace your true purpose, whether you like it or not.
From day 85 to day 89, Willie and I made it back to our base.
My statue! Is it all right? Or did those horrible armored pillagers damage it?
No, it's okay. Nothing happened to the statue.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I almost forgot. I hid this away for you when Dr. Evilson's minions came. Let me get it for you now. Here. It's a fire aspect enchantment. You can enchant your sword and use it to set enemies ablaze.
Incredible! Thank you so much!
Anytime. You go ahead and try that out. I'll go finish up that statue. I've been looking forward to it ever since I was kidnapped.
I enchanted my diamond sword with the fire aspect enchantment and the chestplate with the projectile protection I had from before. Then went to see how Willie's statue turned out. Wow, I can finally tell what it is. It's a fish.
It is. I know you're a land shark, but also a robot. But I thought you might want to have a little bit of the ocean here with us anyway.
I do. I love it. But even this amazing fish can't distract me from the dangerous battle up ahead. What can I do to make sure I defeat Dr. Evilson?
Well, I've heard there's a potion of power hidden in the Dover Mountains in a cave. I suggest you go and find it before you face Dr. Evilson again.
From day 90 to day 94, I traveled to the Dover Mountains to look for the potion of power. Hey, here's a cave. I wonder if it's the right one.
Hey, you can't be in here. This is where the potion of power is hidden.
That answers my question. Stand down, armored pillager. I need that potion. I rushed at the armored pillager, slashing at him with my freshly enchanted diamond sword and burning him to a crisp. Then I opened the chest and grabbed the potion. This is great! I'll take it with me and save it for just the right moment. When I need it the most, I'll drink it. I just hope potions work on robots. From day 95 to day 97, I returned to my base for the final preparations before my battle. I've got the enchanted sword, the potion of power. Now what?
Hey, does Zozo live around here? I've got something for him.
Stanley conjured slime. What are you doing here?
I know you collected on that favor already, but I found something that'll help you out. And I'm a generous kind of slime fella. Say hello to my little friend. And by friend, I mean this full set of netherite armor.
This is amazing! Thank you! Hey, do you need a place to stay? You're welcome to move in here.
I could use a nice new place to live. Sounds great to me. Bada bing, bada boom.
On day 98, I spent some time at my base, getting ready for my final battle. I felt like I needed to take a breath of fresh air, so I climbed to the top of my lighthouse tower. Only 2 more days until Dr. Evilson tries to take me apart and reprogram me. I can't let that happen. I just can't. I won't become something evil, no matter what. I know that I was meant to be a hero because I'm deciding to be one. And if you want to see more of my journeys as a hero, you can find more videos by searching Zozo. And make sure to leave a comment about who you want to see next. That might be my next adventure. On day 99, I traveled to the eroded Badlands to finally confront the evil scientist who tried to make me a monster. I'm more than what he wanted me to be. I'll show him and I'll save everyone. As I approach reached the entrance to his evil laboratory, I felt my legs lock up. Uh-oh, is that some kind of mechanical failure? No, my system is fine. Oh, I think I'm just scared. I need a little extra confidence boost. Right, I've got that potion of power. I grabbed the potion of power and drank it in one big gulp. I feel better already. I feel powerful. I could feel the potion's magic coursing through my circuits, making me bigger and stronger than ever before. My heart's increased to 100. I feel amazing, so amazing, I could just scream. So I will. I let out a warden shriek. Whoa, that's a new one. Okay, let's get going. I've got an ultimate battle for good to win. I entered and heard some sounds coming from the distance. I approached the door and kicked it open. Inside, I found Evilson giving a lecture on science.
Zero. I knew you'd come here.
That's not my name. My name is Zozo. I fired a laser at him, then warped behind him for a sneak attack with my sword.
Impressive. You really are the ultimate fighting machine. I designed you well.
You don't get to take credit for me. I am what I am because of who I am, because of what matters to me and the people who care about me. I have nothing to do with you anymore. You may have created me, but I define who I am. He rushed at me and I dodged his attack by warping to the other side of the room.
That's absurd. I'll have to reprogram you and remove whatever bugs are making you spout such nonsense.
You won't get the chance. I unleashed my warden shriek, knocking him backwards. When he was down, I attacked again and finished the battle. No more evil science for you. I'll never be your experiment again. On day 100, I traveled back to my base where my friends were waiting for me. They all waited for me in front of our base. Ah, you guys.
If you're back in one piece, that must mean you won! Yay! Congratulations! Unless you weren't reprogrammed to be evil, were you? You have to tell me if you're evil, otherwise it's entrapment.
Nope, I'm still me. I defeated Dr. Evilson, so the only one in charge of my programming is me. Stan slithered over to chat with me too.
Hey, forget about it! By which I mean, no one's ever gonna forget what a great thing you did today, Zozo! Put her there! By which I mean, give me a hug, big guy!
I know Dr. Evilson won't bother any of us anymore, but would both of you maybe still want to live here with me?
You know it, buddy!
Well, let's celebrate my newfound freedom with a great big party!
Why the heck not? I'll bake a cake and Robot Land Sharks eat cake!
I'm not sure, but I'm definitely gonna try. On day 1, I spawned in as an elemental shark in the middle of a tropical rainforest. And before I could understand what any of that even meant, I was surrounded by a gang of terrifying fire elementals, led by a massive magma golem.
Looks like we got him, boss. The last elemental who wouldn't bend the knee for ya.
What? I feel like I'm missing something here. Everyone laughed at me for saying that, and it definitely didn't make me feel good. The magma golem was the only one who remained steely and serious.
I think I'm missing something too. I'm missing the part where you swore absolute loyal to me, Magnus, the Magma Golem, Lord of the Elementals.
Who made you Lord of the Elementals? I've never even heard of you.
I made myself the Lord, and if you don't bow to me, I'll make you into Shark Elemental Sushi.
I think I'd rather make myself scarce. Before the magma golem or his fire elementals could attack me, I used one of my elemental powers to warp out of there and run away as fast as I could. As if this day wasn't stressful enough, as I was running away, I got incredibly hungry and didn't have any food. Could this get any worse? The only food I could find in the tropical rainforest was some apples, but it was being guarded by an angry earth elemental. Would you be down to share one of those apples with me?
No, these apples can only be enjoyed by servants of Magnus, Lord of the Elementals.
Is there anyone around here who doesn't work for this guy? I fought the earth elemental with my bare fins until I gave up and ran away. Finally, I was able to at least enjoy an apple. This is the one nice thing that's happened to me today. What's going on here? On day 2, I kept running through the tropical forest until I was convinced I'd lost the magma golem and his nasty gang of fire elementals. If there's one thing I can be sure of in this crazy, confusing world, it's that those guys are bad news. When I felt safe, I punched down one of the trees and made myself a wooden pickaxe. And with that, it wasn't hard to mine down into the ground and collect myself enough stone blocks to get started on a base. I think after all this craziness, I've really earned a roof over my head tonight. I used the stone and wood I collected to start building a base with a basic bedroom and living area, complete with a sofa and a couch. I also made myself a stone sword and a stone pickaxe. It wasn't much, but at least it was something. As long as that awful magma golem doesn't come and try to burn it down. But I soon wished I hadn't said that, because a few of the magma golem's fire elementals came blazing through the forest towards me.
You thought you could escape us, didn't you, kid? Nobody escapes Magnus or his minions. Sooner or later, you're gonna give in to his demands or be destroyed.
But why would I want to work for a guy like him? What is he even planning?
You're not important enough to know that. Come on, boys, let's torture.
The fire elementals came for me, and I used my stone sword to fight them back until they were nothing more than ashes. I still don't understand what's happening here. What is this Magnus guy planning, and what part do I play in all of this? You better watch to the end if you want to help me find out. On day 3, I decided it was time to investigate what was going on. After all, if I didn't know the truth, I was at a disadvantage. I started exploring around the tropical rainforest until I found someone who wanted to talk to me about it, and that someone just so happened to be a scary-looking monster mushroom named Fungo. To my surprise, he was friendly. Please, Fungo, tell me about what the deal is with Magnus, the so-called Lord of the Elements. He's been hassling me ever since I spawned here.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense. You're a shark elemental, right? And as his name suggests, Magnus, the Lord of the Elementals, wants to get control of as many of the elementals as he can. And if you want to get them too, chances are the only way you're going to be able to do it is by taking the fight to him.
Defeat Magnus? Maybe if I get stronger I could do that, but why? I don't understand why he's doing this.
Well, take a seat on that log over there, buddy, 'cause that's a much longer and wilder story.
So I did as I was told and sat down, but nothing could prepare me for what I was about to hear. From day 4 to day 5, I sat down and listened to the story Fungo the Monster Mushroom told me about Magnus the Magma Golem.
First, you need to understand that golems are always created by villagers. They are not natural creatures, and as such, they are completely at odds with the natural elements of the world. But when Magnus was created, he learned to hate his own unnaturalness. He was so frustrated by it that he wanted to conquer the elements and make them work for him. One by one, he subdued the fire elementals, the earth elementals, the air elementals, and the water elementals. Through their allegiance, he may be able to control all the forces of the natural world. And in order to defeat him before he becomes too powerful, you'll need to master all 4 of the elements and gain their powers.
Oh, just like in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Wait, you've seen Avatar? Sweet, that's gonna make all of this a lot easier to understand. Be careful out there, Zozo. If you can get strong enough and gain all these powers, you can save us all. But to help with the learning process, you'll need to find a mentor.
Do you know where I can find one?
Nope. Good luck.
From day 6 to day 8, with all the new information that Fungo the Monster Mushroom had given me stewing around in my head, I started making my way back to my base. So, I need to find a mentor. How can I track one down? It's not like they have a directory website, but my frustration and self-pity was interrupted by seeing an innocent swamp pig being picked on by more of those evil fire elementals.
Please, guys, leave me alone. I'm just doing my daily exercise.
Little piggy's trying to exercise. Hilarious. We can help you warm up.
Oh yeah, we'll fry your bacon. These are extremely insensitive jokes, guys. Please leave me alone.
But I knew they'd never leave that poor swamp pig alone. Not unless I made them. That's why I pulled out my stone sword and ran in to fight them off. Leave that innocent pig alone, you meanies! It didn't take me long to defeat them all and rescue the swamp pig from a fiery doom. Needless to say, he was relieved.
Thank you, kind stranger. I'm Sammy the swamp pig. You have done me a great kindness today, and I'll never forget it.
No problem, Sammy. I'm Zozo, by the way. Say, do you have any idea where I might find a mentor? I really need one to help me save the world.
Well, I did hear rumors about a great teacher who lived near water somewhere, but that's all I know.
Still, I want to help you, Zozo. I really owe you one.
How about you come back to my base? I could really use some allies right now. I led Sammy the Swamp Pig back into my base and started building a new room in my base for him to stay in. And make sure you keep watching until the end, because the craziest parts are yet to come. From day 9 to day 10, I found a huge underground cavern in the tropical rainforest where I could search for rarer materials. The deeper and darker I descended in, the more veins of iron ore I found. I mined and collected the iron ore and then constructed a furnace underground to smelt into iron ingots. Now it's time to make myself some awesome new equipment. I made a set of iron armor, an iron sword, and an iron pickaxe. And not a second too soon, as I heard something terrifying skittering around in the dark. I turned and saw a giant skulk scorpion crawling towards me, looking like it was ready to attack. And it turned out that it actually was! I tried to attack it with my iron sword, but it didn't seem to have much of an effect on the monster, which was as strong and fast as it was angry. In the end, I needed to use my location warping ability to zap out of there and run deeper into the darkness of the underground cavern. Can't see how this would ever end badly. From day 11 to day 12, all I could do was try to hide deeper in the underground cavern and hope that the skulk scorpion didn't find me down there. How am I gonna save the world from a powerful magma golem if I can't even defeat a nasty underground bug? Deep in the dark, my greatest enemy wasn't the skulk scorpion or even Magnus, the lord of the elementals. It was just pure boredom. So when I found a dusty old book, you can only imagine how relieved I was. I certainly never expected that this book would contain the secret to Magnus's rise to power. It was filled with strange Latin text, but then I opened the book to a section called the 3 Enforcers. It described 3 terrifying and powerful golems who worked for Magnus: the Bone Golem, the Diamond Golem, and the Bedrock Golem. These 3 golems were vital for keeping all the elementals in line, and if I was able to defeat all 3 of the Enforcer golems, Magnus's control over elementals would probably collapse. Now I know what I need to do. If I defeat the 3 Enforcers, defeating Magnus afterwards would be easy. But I was celebrating a little too loudly. Suddenly, a vicious fire salamander, a powerful underworld creature, ran towards me. He was a tough mob to defeat since he shot flames at me. He had something that looked like an organic turret protruding from his back. A truly bizarre and scary mob, but with the knowledge of what I needed to do fueling me, I was able to do it. And this gave me enough XP to level up, becoming a bigger, stronger elemental shark with 18 hearts and the ability to breathe fire. Looks like I've mastered 1 element, 3 to go. Keep watching to see what I evolve into next. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to my base, bigger and stronger than ever before. And when I was back, I saw that Sammy the Swamp Pig had made an awesome addition to the base while I was gone, a whole new floor. Whoa, Sammy, this room looks so cool. What exactly is it?
Look, it's a lounge area, Zozo. You need to stay relaxed if you want to be in harmony with the 4 elements.
An excellent idea, Sammy. Do you have any news on where I might be able to find the mentor I've been searching for too?
I've heard of some strange activity near a pond deep in the tropical rainforest. Maybe that has something to do with it.
On Sammy's advice, I ventured out deeper into the tropical rainforest until I found the pond and what looked like a crimson wizard waiting outside it.
Stay back, Elemental! I will not serve your master!
He fired an energy blast at me that took off a few of my hearts and prepared to fire another. Wait, you don't understand. I'm an elemental, but I don't work for Magnus. I'm trying to defeat him. I'm just looking for a mentor that will help train me to stop him.
Oh, I see. Sorry about firing an energy blast at you there, old chap. You can't be too careful these days with Magnus and his minions around.
It's okay, I understand. So, can you mentor me, Mr. Wizard?
I'm afraid that isn't my area of expertise, but I also wish to stop the diabolical Magnus. You and I can work together to make that a reality.
It never hurts to have magic on your side, I guess. Come on back to my base with me. Let's work together.
Lead the way, Elemental Shark.
I set off back towards my base with 1 more ally in tow. From day 16 to day 19, I returned to my base with the Crimson Wizard. Because Sammy the Swamp Pig figured I might be returning with a mentor, he'd already built a room for the Crimson Wizard. My base is practically becoming a hotel. I should start charging people.
I'd be happy to pay. This room looks wonderful.
Before you get too comfortable, Crimson Wizard, I need some advice.
Do you have any idea where I should go next in my quest to master the elements and take on Magnus?
Good question, Zozo. Personally, I would suggest the Mojave Desert. To master all the elements, you must first experience them all.
That sounds like a good idea to me. Time to go. After a couple days of traveling, I'd reached the Mojave Desert and started searching around for any clues as to what I needed to do next. The last thing I expected was to run into a talking desert cat. Hey, little kitty, do you have any idea what I can do to help defeat Magnus, Lord of the Elementals?
Meow. Magnus? You mean the magma golem? I think some of his henchmen are around here, just a little further west in this very desert. Maybe go defeat them, and I'll see whatever information I can provide afterwards.
That's so convenient. Thank you, Desert Cat. From day 20 to day 22, following the cat's instructions, I went further west into the Mojave Desert. It didn't take me long to find a gang of rowdy air elementals who were just itching for a fight.
Hey, look! It's that elemental shark who defied the orders of Lord Magnus.
Yep, that's me, but I'm not here for you small fries. That'd be a waste of my time.
Small fries? Oh, buddy, you are gonna regret saying that.
They flew over to attack me, but I was ready. With my iron sword, I cut them down and defeated each one of them until I was the last one standing. Or so I thought. Turned out, one of Magnus's head enforcers, the Bone Golem, had been sneaking up behind me. I turned just as the Bone Golem hit me, taking off a shocking number of hearts. Immediately, I was fighting for my life, striking him with my iron sword, but it wasn't having any effect. He was so confident, he started throwing his own bones at me. I needed to pull out the big guns and use my elemental powers on this nasty, overgrown skeleton. Fire breath, go! I breathed a powerful jet of flames onto the Bone Golem, finally defeating him. And with that, I was a third of the way to bringing down Magnus and his empire of evil. From day 23 to day 26, I went back to tell the Desert Cat about my success. Hey, little kitty, I found those henchmen and I kicked their butts.
Meow, that's great news. Those jerks kept making crazy wind and messing up my fur. Now I can nap in peace without worrying about any air elementals bothering me.
So, what can you tell me about Magnus, and how can I defeat him?
Well, Magnus doesn't like to fight his own fights. He prefers to have his henchmen take care of that for him. So if you can defeat all of his elemental goons, he won't have anyone left to fight for him, and he'll have to face you himself.
I guess I just need to make sure I'm strong enough when the time comes.
Meow, that sounds about right. Oh, before I forget, maybe you can use this.
The cat gave me a potion of power. Thanks, I can definitely use this.
Glad to hear it. Now scram! It's my nap time, and I just found the perfect sunny spot.
You got it. I left the cat and continued walking through the desert until I found a new area. When I got there, I was jumped by some earth elementals.
Say, it's the wise guy who thinks he can defy Lord Magnus. Let's get him, boys.
Not if I get you first. Fire breath, go! I blew a blast of fire at the earth elementals and followed it up with an attack with my iron sword. Pretty soon, all but one of the earth elementals was defeated.
Wait, if you let me go, I can give you some information.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Lord Magnus's headquarters. It's guarded by earth, air, and water elementals. Is that helpful?
Yeah, get out of here. He ran away, and I took the moment of victory to drink my potion of power. When I did, I gained 24 hearts, evolving into an even bigger version of myself. And I gained the Earth ability. I can shoot an Earth charge that leaves behind a pile of dirt on the ground. Looks like I just mastered Earth. 2 down, 2 to go. From day 27 to day 31, I headed back to my base. On the way there, I passed the pond again. There was a diamond golem there, waiting for me. He attacked me, and I tried to fight back, but he was way too strong. In the end, I had to run away before he dealt me too much damage. Oh, that was a close one. I was scared he'd chase after me, but finally I made it back to my base, safe and sound.
Wow, Zozo, look at you. You're so big and strong.
Indeed, your stature is most impressive.
Thanks, guys, but I'm not done yet. I've still got 2 elements left to master, and I need to get way stronger if I'm gonna defeat Magnus.
Still, you must take time to celebrate how far you have already come. Speaking of progress, I have a sense that there is something useful to you waiting at a nearby location, the Rainbow Beach.
Then I'd better get going and see what it is. From day 32 to day 35, I traveled to the Rainbow Beach to see what the wizard might have sensed out there. I sure wish magic would be more specific. Oh well, I guess that's just how magic is. As I was looking around, I spotted an iron golem up ahead. Hey there, do you know anything about Magnus?
Don't you ever say that name to me! How dare you bring him up in my presence!
Oh wait, I didn't mean to offend you. Before I could explain, he attacked me. I drew my sword and fought back, but he was really strong. Turns out though, so was I. After fighting for a while, it became pretty clear that we were evenly matched. Please, let's stop this and just talk.
You're lucky I'm getting tired. Fine, talk.
I get the feeling you don't like Magnus much.
Don't like him? That's an understatement. We used to be best friends a long time ago. One day though, he started getting obsessed with the elements. He wanted to control them, all of them. And when I tried to argue with him, elementals think they're so great. Huh. See how great they think they are when I find a way to control every element. What's wrong with you having one specialty? All I do is iron, but you don't see me complaining. That's because you're a loser, and I don't need to spend my time with losers. If you're not with me, you're against me. He knocked me out and left. I never saw him again. Pretty soon, I started hearing about what he was getting up to, and I realized that the friend I used to know was gone. His jealousy and hunger for power turned him into a villain.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to master all the elements too, but it's so I can beat him and stop him from hurting people.
If that's true, then that is a noble goal. I wish you luck, Mr. Shark.
Thanks. The name's Zozo. From day 36 to day 39, I traveled back to the tropical rainforest. I really need to upgrade my armor. Let's see what I can find here.
If armor upgrades you do seek, then it is to me that you should speak.
Who's there? And why are you rhyming? A monster mushroom jumped out from behind a tree.
Sorry, when I get nervous, I talk in rhymes. I know where you can get some upgrades. Lord Magnus's base is empty right now, and there are plenty of supplies to be found in there. It's not like he deserves them. You might as well take them.
Sounds good to me, but where's his base?
In the swamp surrounded by lava. Do me a favor though, if you see a big mean fire elemental running with a gang of other fiery jerks, would you defeat him for me? He tried to hurt me, and I'd rather he not get a chance to try again.
You got it! Thanks for the help! Following the monster mushroom's directions, I managed to make my way to the swamps and Magnus's base. From day 40 to day 43, I fought my way into Magnus's base. There was only a few wither skeleton guards, and it was easy to beat them. Then, I ran inside. Jeez, this place really suits the guy. It looks as mean as he is. I didn't have much time to look around because the diamond golem from earlier was inside. Uh-oh, this guy again. I've got to do a better job this time. I started with my fire breath, then followed it up with a sword attack. It was pretty tough, and I wasn't sure if I would be able to do it. But finally, I was able to defeat him. When the diamond golem fell, he dropped a whole bunch of diamonds. This is just what I need. Now I can go back to the base and upgrade my gear. I grabbed all the diamonds. Now I've got to get out of here before Magnus gets back. I may be a lot stronger than I used to be, but I'm still not ready to face him. Maybe with some upgraded armor and weapons though, I'll be closer to my goal. From day 44 to day 49, I traveled back to my base and got to work on upgrading my armor and weapons. Using all of the diamonds I got from that diamond golem, I was able to craft a diamond pickaxe, a diamond sword, and some diamond armor. Awesome, look at all this stuff. I feel more powerful already. Okay, back to exploring. I need to see what else I can do to improve and work toward mastering those last two elements. I headed out into the rainforest and started exploring. As I did, I came across a group of fire elementals. They didn't see me at first, but I could hear them.
You guys remember that loser mushroom that got away from us before? I think I know where we can find him and finish the job.
Nice! He was so pathetic! Let's go get him!
That's the fire elemental he was talking about. If I fight and defeat these guys, he won't have to worry about them anymore.
Wait, there's some sharky freak listening to us. That's the guy the boss told us about.
Yup, and I'm here to kick your butts. Using my new diamond sword, I was able to defeat those fire elementals in no time. This new gear sure is great. I can't wait to see the look on Magnus's face when he realizes I'm finally strong enough to take him down. But I can't get ahead of myself. I gotta focus on mastering water and air. Time to get moving. From day 50 to day 53, I traveled into the Red Rock Highlands to seek out new ways to master the elements. I feel like the Highlands can teach me air stuff, right? That seems right. Or maybe water. Is there water here? As I explored, I came across an open book lying on the ground. Inside it said, "I'm gentle enough to wash your hair, light enough to fly through the sky, strong enough to crack rocks." What am I? That doesn't make any sense. How can one thing wash hair, fly in the air, and break rocks? I don't get it. It took me a little while to think about it, but suddenly it came to me. Wait a second, it's water!
That's right, Zozo.
An earth elemental jumped out at me.
Guess you're smarter than you look. Too bad you'll never get a chance to master water because Lord Magnus sent me to take you out.
Out to dinner?
No, out of this world.
Oh no! I got my diamond sword ready and started swinging. I followed it up with some fire breath and the earth elemental crumbled. After the fight, I could feel myself getting bigger and stronger. I'm evolving again! As I got stronger, I gained more hearts. Now I have 35 of them. I also gained the Ice Blast ability. I can freeze enemies in place with this. I guess I finally mastered water. Only one more to go! From day 54 to day 57, I returned to my base. The Crimson Wizard had a surprise for me. He built some protective walls around the base while I was gone.
As a token of appreciation for letting me stay at your home rent-free, I thought I might work on our defenses a little bit.
These walls look really nice. I feel safer already. Thanks!
No problem.
Now I'm feeling pretty good, but I know I need to get stronger and master the fourth and final element. I need some help. I wonder if there's anyone who can mentor me. I looked around the base for ideas, but as awesome as my new friends were, none of them would be able to teach me about fighting. Wait a second, that iron golem I met before was really tough and cool. I should go ask him if he can help me. I returned to the place where I met the iron golem and sure enough, he was there. Hey, it's me, Zozo. Remember me?
I do. How is your quest to master the elements and defeat Magnus going?
I've got 3 out of 4 down, but I still need to get stronger. Would you train me?
Train you to take down Magnus? It would be an honor. Let's get to work, Zozo.
From day 58 to day 62, I started my training with the Iron Golem. He set up a wall of blocks for me.
You see these blocks? Break them without touching them.
I'll try my best. I used my fire breath to break the blocks.
Now try to dodge my attacks.
He ran at me and attacked, and I dodged. He had me do a bunch of different challenges and training exercises. I had to run up and down the beach, go out into the water and swim back, and test out all my new powers. By the time I was done, I was exhausted, but I also gained more strength. Sweet! This will help my sword hit even harder. But I haven't mastered air yet.
Not yet, but you've made some great progress. I'm proud of you.
Thanks for all your help. You've been a great mentor. From day 63 to day 66, I went back to my base. When I got there, I saw a group of water elementals running away from the base. What the? Oh no! They had destroyed my base and destroyed some of the walls.
Zozo, help! These miscreants kidnapped the swamp pig.
No! I was able to catch up with one of the water elementals and I hit him with my pile of dirt. Tell me where they took my friend or I'll hit you again.
Zoinks! Don't do that! They took the pig to Lord Magnus's base. There's a prison cell attached to it. They're gonna throw him in there.
And I've got to get over there too. No time to waste. I need to save my friend. I'd let the water elemental go and set off toward the Wailing Garth to rescue the swamp pig. From day 67 to day 70, I traveled to Magnus's base on a swamp pig rescue mission. When I reached the swamps, I saw a big cage in the base, and there was the swamp pig trapped inside. Don't worry, I'll get you out of there.
Yeah, right. You'll have to go through us first.
The water elementals closed in around me, but I had a plan. Maybe I should give you guys the cold shoulder. I fired my Ice Blast ability at the water elementals, freezing them in place. Then I used my diamond sword to take them out, one by one. The last water elemental dropped a key to the cage. Now let's get you free. I used the key to unlock the cage and let the swamp pig out.
Thank you, Zozo. I knew you'd save me.
What are friends for? Now let's get out of here before Magnus comes back.
We ran back to the base together, and much to my surprise, when we got back, all the damage was fixed. Wow, who did this?
I did. I also added some guard towers so we can see threats coming if any more of Magnus's henchmen decide to attack us again.
Awesome, thank you so much. From day 71 to day 74, I wasn't sure what to do next. Can I learn about how to master air? I just don't know. Wait a second, there was that Skulk Scorpion I couldn't fight before. I bet I could beat him now. Maybe then I'll figure out what to do next. With my new plan to fight the Skulk Scorpion, I headed down into the underground cavern. Hello, Mr. Scorpion, are you down here still? Sure enough, there it was! The scorpion ran at me and tried to sting me with its stinger, but I fought back with a fire breath and my sword. Then I used my ice blast to freeze it and follow up with the sword to finish it off. I did it! I did it! Hey, look at this! There was a book on the ground. The Book of Exposition. What's it say? The answers you seek lie deeper in the cavern, but there you must face the bedrock golem. Well, who am I to argue with a random book? Let's go! From day 75 to day 78, I followed the instructions from the Book of Exposition and headed deeper into the underground cavern. There, I saw a group of earth elementals and a big bedrock golem behind them. Before I could say anything or attack, the earth elementals spotted me.
I've had enough of this clown. Why don't you just give up already?
Because what Magnus is doing is wrong, and I can't just stand by and let him get away with it.
Okay, then don't stand by. Just stand. Die.
The earth elementals rushed at me, but I was ready for them. I fought them with my diamond sword. Once they were all gone, I turned my attention to the bedrock golem. Now it's your turn. He was much tougher than the earth elementals. In fact, he was tougher than anyone else I had fought so far. I had to use all of my special abilities to knock him down and out of his misery. That was a relief, and good, because I felt myself evolving again. My hearts increased to 80, and I gained the ability Whirlwind Attack. I did it! I mastered air! I've got to tell everyone! From day 79 to day 84, I ran back to the base to deliver the good news. Hey, look! Look! I showed my friends my new evolved form and tested out my Whirlwind Attack for them.
Wow, Zozo, you're amazing!
Most impressive.
So now what should I do?
Excellent question, my friend. I believe the answers await us at the Red Rock Highlands. Shall we go there now?
Yes, let's go! From day 85 to day 89, the Crimson Wizard and I traveled to the Red Rock Highlands. Okay, we're here. Now what?
Let me see. I had hoped the Highlands would reveal the truth to me when we arrived, but it remains unclear. Perhaps we should see if we can acquire any additional items that might allow you to upgrade your gear?
Sure, why not? Together, we searched the area for cool items. I found some more diamonds and gathered them up. From day 90 to day 94, I was gathering diamonds while the Crimson Wizard headed back to the base. All of a sudden, Magnus appeared behind me.
Still haven't given up yet, I see.
Nope, and I never will. I finally mastered all the elements, and I'm coming for ya.
Oh yeah? How are you going to do that from underground?
What? What are you talking about?
The one element you haven't mastered, the element of surprise.
Magnus hit me hard, knocking my diamonds out of my hands. Then he got me again, knocking me out cold. When I woke up, I was in an underground chamber. Oh no, I'm trapped in here. What should I do? Wait a second, Magnus didn't count on me still having this iron pickaxe. I'll use it to tunnel out of here. I wasn't sure how long I'd been out, so I had to work fast and make up for lost time. I dug faster than I'd ever dug before, until I broke through to the surface. Nice try, Magnus, but you can't get rid of me that easily. From day 95 to day 97, I started making my way back to my base. On the way, I was ambushed by a group of earth elementals.
See? I told the boss burying him wouldn't work. Weeds always grow back.
I'm not a weed, I'm an elemental shark, and I'm stronger than you, and I'll prove it. I fought back, and with my mastery of all 4 elements, it didn't take long for me to beat them. I finished my fight with the Whirlwind Attack and blew them away. Awesome! Okay, no time to celebrate yet. I've got to get back to the base. On day 98, I finally made my way back to my base.
Zozo, where have you been?
We were worried about you.
Magnus surprised me and trapped me in an underground chamber. I had to dig myself out.
Monstrous.
That's awful.
It's okay, I'm totally fine. I made it back, and we still have time for me to use my mastery of the elements to defeat Magnus and restore peace. It's gonna be great.
You're right, Zozo. Gee, this sure has been a wild adventure.
And to see more adventures like it, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and search ZOZO!
Zozo, allow me to accompany you to Magnus's lair. There, you can finally end this nightmare for good.
On day 99, the Crimson Wizard walked with me all the way to the swamps and Magnus's base. He couldn't come with me, but I didn't want him to. It was important for me to face Magnus on my own. There, outside the base, were earth elementals, air elementals, and water elementals guarding it. I was pretty nervous at first because there were loads of them and they all attacked me. But I knew I could do it. I fought my way through the elemental guards, freezing them with my ice blast, burning them with my fire breath, and blowing them away with my whirlwind attack. It took a while to get through all of them, but in the end, I managed. Phew, all that fighting made me hungry. Magnus must be anticipating me because he really did gather all the remaining elementals to guard his base. Now, let me find him. On day 100, I headed into Magnus's base to finally complete my quest. He was sitting on a throne, waiting for me. I escaped your trap.
So I see. I had a feeling you might. It doesn't matter. You're going to lose.
I don't think I am. See, there's something you don't get about the elements. They require balance. They're equal. None of them are better than the others. Elements don't have lords. They're all equal and work together.
Foolish words from a foolish shark. No more talking. Let's fight.
He didn't have to tell me twice. He didn't even have to tell me once. I was already getting my sword ready. I used my dirt ability to hopefully trap him, but he dodged it. He came back at me with an attack, but I dodged it and attacked again. All of a sudden, Magnus started shaking and growing. He evolved into a bigger, stronger version of himself right before my eyes. Uh-oh, I've got to step up my game. Ice time! I used my ice ability to freeze Magnus so he wouldn't have a chance to hit me with his new evolved strength. This gave me just enough time to use all the other elements back to back. Earth, fire, air! With all my powers combined, I finally defeated Magnus! It's over! Now we can all coexist in peace again!
On day 1, I dropped into the world as Thor. Whoa, I'm Thor, but why am I a baby? Before I could think about it too much, a portal opened next to me, and I saw my dad Odin standing inside. Dad, what's going on?
Zozo, we don't have much time. Gore the God Butcher has released his skeleton army on us. They are attacking Asgard, and sending you through this portal was the best I could do to keep you safe. I don't know why you're a baby, but I need you to find your hammer Mjolnir. Find your hammer, and I'll hold him off.
A giant skeleton appeared behind Odin, and they started to fight. Odin is really strong, but the giant skeleton was putting up a strong fight. I couldn't tell who was winning.
Go now, Zozo, and hurry!
The portal suddenly closed, and I was alone. Okay, I can do this. I need to find my hammer and help my dad. And while I do that, I'll need to work on powering up my baby form. I'm sure my hammer can't be too far away, so I'll start by getting some supplies together to help me look. On day 2, I headed down the mountain, but I had no idea where to get started looking for my hammer. As I headed down the mountain though, I saw a boar. Looks like lunch. I'm not going to find my hammer on an empty stomach. I didn't have my hammer, or any other weapons for that matter, but I was the god of thunder. I bet I can take this thing on with my bare hands. I threw some punches and took him out, but not without losing a couple hearts. Okay, maybe I'm being a little cocky. I am a baby after all. I'll go work on getting some tools. I headed over to some nearby trees and started collecting wood. Once I had collected enough wood, I made a crafting table. Then I used the rest of the wood to make a wooden pickaxe. A wooden pickaxe is only good for one thing, and that's getting stone to make a stone pickaxe. So I headed over to the mountain and mined out some stone. Then I ran back to the crafting table and made a stone pickaxe. It's no Mjolnir, but it'll have to do for now. I wanted to collect some more food, so I headed back over to the mountains to kill some more boars. Using my new pickaxe, I was able to take a few of them out, no problem. I was even able to do it without taking any damage. I was going to have a full belly, but I still had several things I needed to accomplish before I could start exploring the mountainside. I needed to be quick though. I didn't know how long my dad could hold off the skeletons, or worse, Gore the God Butcher, whoever that is. On day 3, I started clearing out an area for me to build my base of operations. I'm sure it will take some time to find Mjolnir, so I need to make sure I have a good base to store all my gear, as well as anything else I find along the way. In addition to the wood I collected, I also made sure I headed back over to the mountain to get some more stone, as I would need it to help build my base and other supplies. It looks like I've got everything I need. Time to start building my base of operations. I started with a strong stone foundation and then used wood to fill out the rest of it. I wasn't going to need anything huge to start with, so this was going to work great. I was inside my base when I suddenly heard a strange noise outside. I walked outside to see what caused it, and Loki appeared out of nowhere.
Hello, brother.
Loki, what are you doing here?
I'm here to rescue you, as always.
I'm pretty sure I've never needed your help rescuing me. I am definitely the one who does all the rescuing.
Oh, so you don't want to know more about your hammer? I guess I won't tell you anything then.
Okay, what do you know?
Well, there's good news and bad news. Asgard is safe, for now.
Oh good, Dad was able to defeat the skeletons.
Not exactly. The skeletons and Gore are no longer attacking Asgard because they were teleported to this realm. Now they're looking for Mjolnir too, as they believe it will help them portal back to Asgard.
Great, so I don't just have to find my hammer, but I have to find it before a bunch of skeletons and a god butcher? I don't suppose you would like to help. But instead of answering, Loki turned and started to disappear.
You're the god of thunder. I'm sure you'll be great. Bye.
And that is why you can never trust the god of mischief. On days 4 to 5, I decided I couldn't waste any more time, so I started to explore the mountains. I was hoping I would be able to find someone who might have a clue to where my hammer could be. I was walking through the forest when I came across a group of lumberjacks. Greetings, mortals. I have a question for you. The lumberjacks didn't look so good. They were coming at me with an axe. They were zombies. Whoa there, back off. I used my stone axe to take out the first one, who dropped an iron axe. I then used that to take out the rest of them. Well, those guys weren't very helpful, but even lumberjacks had to have lived somewhere. Maybe there's a village nearby. On days 6 to 8, I was running through the woods when I saw a village up ahead. Perfect, someone there might be able to help me. As I reached the outskirts of the village though, I could tell something was off. The village was completely deserted. Not only that, the buildings were run down and covered in cobwebs. What happened here?
Curious, isn't it?
Loki had come out of nowhere. Loki, where did you come from? Why are you being so weird and mysterious?
Well, it's my brand after all. And before you ask, no, I don't know what happened here. I'm actually just as confused as you are about what's been going on.
Well, I'm gonna go take a look. Feel free to come along and help. I headed into the village and saw Loki had disappeared. No surprise there. I checked the first house and started looking in the chests, but they were full of cobwebs. I kept looking and soon came across a chest with some wood planks inside. Well, it's nothing special, but these could come in handy later. I headed into another house and saw something floating above an anvil in the room ahead of me. Could that be my hammer? I ran forward and picked it up. It was just a normal iron hammer. Oh shoot, it's just a regular hammer. But still, it feels better to have this than nothing. I'll keep using this in the meantime. I then made my way to the mead hall and checked the chest next to the throne. Whoa, check it out, it's full of gold. I might be able to craft something useful with this later. I then crawled onto the throne and thought about my dad and Asgard. This will be a good place to rest. Hopefully I can find some more clues tomorrow. On days 9 to 10, I woke up to the sound of something outside the mead hall. I quickly ran up the stairs and looked over the balcony. It's Loki, and he's being followed by a gang of skeletons. I've got to help him. I was about to rush down to fight when someone else suddenly appeared. It looked like the elite skeleton guard, and someone else was next to him. That must be Gore.
Take him prisoner and search the village. His brother could be nearby.
I had just gotten a new weapon, but there was no way I could take on all of them in my current state. All I could do was run into the storage room and hope they didn't find me. On day 11, I slowly made my way out of the storage room after what had felt like a lifetime. I made my way up into the mountains where it started to snow heavily. This weather is getting bad, I better stop and make a camp for the night. Using the wood I had collected in the village, I quickly made a small hut to keep me safe. When the hut was finished, I set up a campfire outside and sat down in front of it. I know Loki is an oddball, but he's still my brother. It's not fair that he got captured. I'm also not any closer to finding Mjolnir. I don't think I can do this. Suddenly, the flames grew brighter, and a vision of Odin appeared in the flames.
My son, do not lose hope. You are a god, but that is not what makes you great. Everyone has the gift of greatness within them, but all people must choose what they will do with that gift. You can let it guide you, or you can hide it away. God or not, you can become what you wish to be, but you must make the choice. No one will make it for you.
I understand. I can work through this. It will take time. Do you know anything of Mjolnir? If I'm going to be successful, I have to stop Gore from getting his hands on the hammer.
Everything has not been revealed to me, but I know it is somewhere deep and somewhere dark. You must take caution. It is guarded by a creature in chains. Take heart and carry on. You will find your way.
Then, just as suddenly as he appeared, Odin disappeared into the flames. Okay, I think I can do this. Somewhere deep and dark. A dungeon, maybe. I'll keep an eye out. On days 12 through 15, I left my camp and headed over the mountain pass. I decided to keep searching the countryside in hopes of finding some more clues. As I made my way over the mountain, I noticed a group of skeletons gathered in the distance. I don't see Gore or the elite skeleton guard. This must be a scouting party. I decided to take these guys on and see if I could learn anything. I came charging across the land as the skeletons quickly turned and came at me. This one is for my brother. By using my new iron hammer, I was able to quickly take care of the first couple of skeletons. The other ones tried charging at me too, but they were no match for my hammer skills. As the last skeleton faded, I felt electricity start to course through my veins. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning came from the sky, and I turned into Thunderstrike, a teenage version of myself. Whoa, I'm no longer a baby, and check it out, now I have 10 hearts. I was so excited about my new upgrade, I almost didn't notice a map laying amongst the skeleton bones. What's this? I picked it up and saw it was a map leading to where they were holding Loki. It's not a map to Mjolnir, but at least I'll be able to help Loki. On days 16 to 19, I headed back to my base to prepare. I was sure they would have some serious fortifications guarding Loki, and I needed to make sure I was ready for anything. Once I reached my base, I got to work on building a forge area. I needed to have a good workstation set up in order to make all the gear I would need. This forge is looking great, but I don't have anything to make at it. I'll have to head into the mines to get properly geared. I made my way down into a nearby cave. The cave was filled with lava, so I had to be careful as I made my way down. I quickly got to work and started grabbing everything I could find, starting with some emeralds. I've got something in mind for these emeralds, but I'll get to that later. Then I found some large chunks of gold, as well as some iron. This cave was full of massive ore veins, so I was able to get tons of supplies. Before I could finish mining everything though, I heard a sound coming from the other end of the cave. What is that? I made my way over and saw a squad of skeleton assassins. Uh-oh, how did they find me? I better take them out before they can tell their boss where my base is. I have to be careful too. Those axes can kill me in one hit. I made my way over to them and stuck to the high ground. Using my hammer in the terrain, I was able to keep them at bay and finish them off. Whew, it looks like I'm safe for now. I better hurry and get up to the surface. On days 20 to 22, I entered my forge and started smelting the iron I had collected. I needed to hurry and get things going so I could go look for Loki. The iron was going to take some time to smelt though, and given all the emeralds I had collected in the cave, I had an idea. I would never admit this to him, but one of my fellow Avengers has more courage than anyone I've ever met. I'm going to build a statue of him, in hopes it can encourage me to overcome any obstacles in my way. I was still the strongest, but got to work on the build. I wasn't going to be able to completely finish it now, but could certainly make some good progress. My iron was going to be finished smelting soon, so I decided to stop for the day. But before I grab that, I hope that you can help me out and hit subscribe. Ring the bell too, because you're not going to want to miss my next adventure, and if you have any ideas of what my next adventure should be, let me know in the comments. With the iron complete, I then put together a full set of iron armor, leggings, a helmet, boots, and a chest plate.
Wow.
Then I equipped everything. Alright, it's showtime. Let's go rescue Loki. I grabbed the map and headed over the mountain. I have no idea what could be waiting for me. I sure hope everything goes well. On days 23 to 27, the map led me to the top of a snowy mountain, where I could see a structure off in the distance. That castle must be where they're keeping Loki. Could this be where my hammer is located too? Oh, no, this isn't deep and dark, but maybe we can find a clue. I headed into the castle and saw Loki was being kept inside of a magical cage. It must have been stopping him from using his powers. Standing next to the cage, though, was the elite skeleton guard.
Ha ha ha! We knew you'd come looking for your brother. You fell right into my trap. I'm going to take you prisoner, and then no one will stop Thor.
Why is Gore doing this?
Thor the God Butcher is here to do just that. Butcher the gods. He doesn't fear you, or any god for that matter. He's going to find your hammer and make a portal back to Asgard. Asgard will burn, along with you, Odin, and the rest of your people.
That will never happen. I charged the skeleton guard with my iron hammer, and we started to fight. He was really strong, but with my new armor and strength, he couldn't do much to me. But I couldn't fight him forever. How was I going to get Loki out of that cage?
Brother, the lanterns!
As I continued to fight, I noticed that there were two strangely colored lanterns hanging above Loki's cage. They must be powering the enchantment. I managed to land a hard hit on the skeleton guard, which gave me a moment to break the lanterns and bust Loki out of his cage. Good luck taking on both of us. Loki jumped into the fight and I could tell we were winning. The skeleton guard didn't stand a chance. The skeleton guard took one final swing, then turned around and ran away. You better run, you coward! Loki, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I had everything under control.
Remind me again how you are always rescuing me.
You know what? Just for that, you can walk back to the base yourself.
And just like that, Loki teleported away. I'll take that as his way of saying thank you. But yeah, I better get back to the base. From days 28 to 32, I was heading back to the base when I saw someone up ahead on the mountain. When I got closer, I saw it was Hawkeye. Clint, what are you doing here?
I gotta be honest, man, I don't know. I was at home one second, then the next, I was teleported into this forest. Something about that process left me feeling weak. That's when a massive bear came out of nowhere and stole my bow. Can you believe that?
Wow, yeah, that's something. Did you see where it went? I can help you get it back.
Yeah, it's off in that direction. Let's go.
On days 33 to 36, we were searching through the forest when we saw the bear in the distance. That bear over there, is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
What's the deal with this universe? Are all the bears giant or something? Beats me. I was teleported here too. I'm looking for my hammer, but I can fill you in on all the details later. Let's go get your bow back. We made our way over to the bear and started to fight. Hawkeye was right. This bear was no ordinary bear, but with the help of my fellow Avenger, we were able to take it down. Hey, what's the deal? It didn't drop my bow. Oh look, there it is. On a nearby branch, we could see Hawkeye's bow. I ran over and grabbed it, then tossed it over to him. There you go, buddy. How are you feeling? Honestly, not great. The whole teleporting thing is new for me. Have you got a place to heal up? I sure do. Follow me. On days 37 to 40, we arrived back at the base. It was going to be nice having someone I could trust around. Once he was feeling better, I'm sure he would help me with my mission. We got straight to work clearing a space for his camp. I told him I could build everything for him while he rests, but he insisted that building a camp was rest to him, just as long as we don't have to fight any more giant bears. We had soon cleared a good space and got to work on setting up his base. We worked on the foundation, then split off. Hawkeye worked on the house, while I worked on the target practice range. This base would give him everything he needed. Soon, we were finished.
Wow. Hey, thanks for getting me all set up.
No problem. I hope you can get feeling better soon. I could really use your help.
Yeah, man, absolutely. By the way, I noticed you started building a statue of the strongest Avenger.
Second strongest, but go on.
Yeah, right. I noticed you needed some more materials. I've got some purple wool that should work perfect.
That would be great. Clint and I then got to work on the next part of the statue. Strongest Avenger? Surely he didn't mean to say that. And even if he did, he's definitely got to be the only one who thinks it. Soon, we had finished the second part. Thanks for your help, Clint. I was standing at the base of the statue admiring our work when Loki ran up and shoved me. Hey, what was that for?
Did you forget I was here? Do you really think I want to stay in the same house as you?
He had a good point. I didn't want to share a room with him either. So we headed around to the back of my house and built out an extension for Loki to stay in. I made sure to include everything he would need so he wouldn't have to bug me. After a while, it was all done. On days 41 to 43, I met Hawkeye at a shooting range. He told me there was something he needed to talk to me about. Hey, what's up? How are you feeling?
Feeling good. I'm not 100%, but I remember something that I think would be useful. It sounds like you've got quite the battle ahead of you, so we're gonna need all the help we can get. When I was coming through the portal, I remember catching a glimpse of that kid, Peter Parker. He might have landed somewhere in this world too.
Oh yes, Spider-Boy. I'll go look for him.
Spider-Man, but he's gone.
Another Avenger! I don't know why everyone was getting teleported here, but Hawkeye was right. I could use all the help I could get. Soon, I had made it back to the forest and started looking around. Parker! Spider-Boy! I checked all over the place but couldn't find him anywhere. The sun was starting to set though, so I decided to make a camp for the night. I finished setting up my tent and settled into my bed. In the middle of the night though, I heard a horrible noise. When I got up, it was a bunch of spiders. Oh gross, get out of here. I managed to fight off the spiders before they could do any real harm. But where did they come from? Maybe Parker is nearby. On days 44 to 49, I headed into the woods to see if I could find anything. I soon saw a bunch of webs, which were leading deeper into the forest. I can follow these webs. Maybe Parker will be at the end of them. As I followed them, I soon saw they led to a cave. As I came to the cave, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Look at all these spiders. And look, there's a giant one in there. I've got to take care of this guy before he finds my base. I rushed into the cave to take him out when Spider-Man dropped down from the ceiling. Whoa, Mr. Thor, hang on a second. Spider-Boy, I've been looking for you. It's Spider-Man, actually, but don't hurt the spider. He's a good guy. A good guy? Why did you send your minions after me in the forest? Yeah, he's sorry about that. He thought you might be working for Gore. I asked him what he knew about Gore, and he explained he didn't know where he was or where Mjolnir was. He did have some information for us, though. The portals that were bringing everyone here, they were actually created by Loki. Loki? I knew I couldn't trust him. He's trying to rule over Asgard again. The spider explained that he felt bad for sending his spiders after me and had an item that might help. He reached into a nearby chest and threw a weapon over to me. Whoa, this is a netherite destroyer. This thing will pack a serious punch. It's not as powerful as Mjolnir, but I don't think anything else is as strong as this. I thanked the spider for his help and invited Spider-Man back to my base. I was going to need some help dealing with this Loki situation. On days 50 to 53, Spider-Man and I arrived back at the base and headed straight for Loki's house. We checked downstairs but didn't see him. We headed upstairs and he wasn't up there either. As we ran back outside, we almost ran into him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it rude to knock before you enter now?
Loki, enough of your tricks. I know you brought Gore here and are pulling everyone from their worlds. You're not going to overthrow Odin, and you'll never rule Asgard.
Okay, can you take a breath and let me explain? It's true that I made everyone teleport here, but it's not what I was trying to do.
So what were you trying to do?
I thought it would be a funny prank to scare you with an illusion of Gore, but something went wrong with the spell, causing the real Gore to show up. I thought bringing your Avenger friends in could help you solve the problem.
Who else did you bring here?
Why so angry? Aren't you excited to see all your friends again? Really, I'm doing you a favor.
Loki, who else?
That little rabbit guy you like so much.
Rabbit? I think he means Rocket the Raccoon, sir. Ah, right. Where is he?
He's somewhere in the savannah. He shouldn't be too hard to find.
Feeling frustrated with Loki, I needed to do something to calm down, and decided to get to work building Spider-Man a place to live. Spider-Man wanted to help too, so we worked together to build him a nice cottage. He said it was nice to get out of the city for a while, even though there were still bad guys around. We soon finished the house. Wow, thanks, Mr. Thor. This place looks awesome. After he had finished checking out the house, I saw Spider-Man looking at the Hulk statue. Impressive, isn't it? It is. Mr. Banner is so smart. He's the strongest of us too, so it makes sense you'd want to make a statue of him. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The strongest? Why was everyone saying that? Here, how about you help me finish the next part? Take some emeralds and give me a hand. Spider-Man and I got to work on the next part of the statue. Maybe I was being too prideful thinking I was the strongest. Nah, that couldn't be it. We soon finished the next part of the statue. It was nearly finished. On days 54 to 57, I headed off to the savannah to try and find Rocket. I couldn't focus on anything else, knowing that one of my friends might be in trouble. Before long, I saw Rocket trapped on a hill, surrounded by skeletons, including the elite skeleton guard.
Come on down. We aren't going to hurt you.
What, are you nuts? Give me that little sword of yours and then maybe we can talk. Rocket always talked tough, but I could tell when he needed help. I jumped out from my hiding place. Hey, over here! The skeleton guard looked over, and as I got closer, some of his soldiers attacked. It was no use, though. My new netherite hammer could take them out in a single hit. The other ones were so scared, they didn't dare try to attack me.
You again? You think that new hammer is going to let you defeat me? You're nothing without Mjolnir.
I'll show you. I leapt into battle and hit him with my hammer. Even though I had gotten stronger, he was still extremely powerful. He was so strong, he brought me down to just 3 hearts.
Time to say goodbye. Asgard will fall.
You'll never take my home. I rose up in fury and hit him as hard as I could. After a couple of swings, he was down. Hey, nice going. No wonder everyone thinks you're the strongest Avenger. Thank you. I'm glad someone here still has their head on straight. It's good to see you, Rocket. Yeah, good to see you too, pal. Say, you're looking for your hammer, right? Before that skeleton brute got me cornered, I heard him laughing with his men. I guess one of their scouting parties had located the hammer. He said it was so close to you, but you'd never find it. He said it was under your feet this whole time. Under our feet? I did run into one of his scouting parties in a cave under our base. It must be under my base. Come on, Rocket, let's get you back with the others. On days 58 to 62, I got to work building a base for Rocket. I needed to start mining down under the base, but I had to get Rocket set up first. I always want to treat my friends right. Once the house was finished, Rocket called out for me to head inside. Once I got inside, I saw he had set up an enchanting table. Here, buddy, take this lapis I stole off the skeletons. You can use it to upgrade that armor of yours. Using the lapis, I went about enchanting all of my armor. I didn't have the highest levels yet, but even just a little bit of enchantments can make a difference. I ended up giving each piece of armor different types of protection enchantments. Thanks, Rocket. I'm feeling more protected already. I then headed outside to go to the mines, but paused to look at the unfinished statue. While I'm down there, it'll be good if I can find some more emeralds. There's still a lot more building to go. On days 63 to 66, I headed back into the caves I had been mining in earlier. I moved further into the cave system and saw there was a tunnel leading even deeper. I can't believe I came down here before and didn't notice this. As I headed further down, I came across a group of cave centipedes. I jumped forward and started attacking them. Out of my way, you creepy cave crawlers. I managed to land some strong blows and take them all out. That's when I noticed there's an entrance to a mine shaft. A mine shaft all the way down here? I've got to be getting close. I made my way into the small passage and ran into another group of cave centipedes. I took them out as quickly as I could so I could keep pushing ahead. Soon, I saw a bigger room before me and there was something written on the wall. What could it be? Could it be the greatest secret the world has ever known? Subscribe. It's not my hammer, but definitely a good idea. If anyone is watching this, I'd say go ahead and give it a try. It is free after all. On day 67 to 70, I entered a new part of the mine shaft. Upon looking around, I saw that the passage was littered with skulls and skeletons. Yikes, it looks like I'm not the first person who tried to get through these caves. I wonder what they were looking for. I moved further along and was suddenly attacked by a group of cave creepers. Oh no, I can't risk getting blown up. I had to be very careful as the creepers could explode at any second. By hitting them with my hammer and jumping back, I managed to take them all out without hurting myself too bad. Phew, that was a close one. I better pick up all this gunpowder. It could come in handy. With the creepers out of the way, I kept moving through the tunnel. Eventually, I saw a chest and went over to open it up. Holy cow, look at all these emeralds. This must be what the previous explorers were looking for. There's a lot here, but I'll need even more if I'm going to finish my statue. On day 71 to 74, I continued even further into the cave. Surely Mjolnir would be down here. Suddenly, I walked into a huge room with a minecart path snaking its way down to the bottom of the room. Whoa, I've got to be getting close now. I followed the path until I came to a large gap. It was a long drop to the bottom, so I carefully placed blocks across the gap. Once I was across, I jumped down to the other side. Further ahead, I came across another group of skeletons. More of these guys, huh? Makes me nervous as to what's ahead. Just then, I heard a terrifying sound and turned to see a massive cave badger come charging right at me. Could this be what was killing the explorers? Oh man, if I'm not careful, this thing is gonna knock me over the edge. I can't fly without my hammer. A fall like that definitely wouldn't be good for me. The badger was ferocious and almost knocked me off the edge several times, but in the end, he was the one who got knocked off. Have a nice trip. On days 75 to 78, I came to what I could tell was the end of the tunnel. As I made my way down the tracks, I could see something huge at the bottom, a creature in chains. I found the deep dark that Odin mentioned, and this must be the creature in chains. Mjolnir must be close. I descended to the bottom of the room and noticed there were some massive emerald deposits. Given Odin's warning, I needed to be extra careful not to disturb this creature. But getting all the emeralds I needed for my build was too good to pass up. If I'm really careful, I'm sure he won't notice if I take just a few blocks. I peeked into a nearby crate and snagged a few golden apples. Then I started to mine some emerald blocks. As I started to mine though, I heard a terrible noise, and the creature began to shake. The chains began crunching and clanging, and the massive beast started to break loose. I was in trouble now. He let out a deep growl and broke loose from the chains. Oh boy, this is gonna be my toughest fight yet. He let out another roar and attacked me. This guy was no joke. His hits did some major damage, and after no time at all, I was already having to eat my golden apples. Oh, I don't know if I can win this one. This guy is so strong. The giant managed to get a few more hits on me, but I kept sneaking in some blows of my own. I kept thinking of everything I had at stake. I had to win. I gave it everything I had and managed to take him out. Whoa, I can't believe I did it. That was way too close. On day 79 to 84, I noticed that the giant had been chained in front of a large door. There didn't seem to be any way in, but I had an idea. I headed over to a nearby enclave and dug up some blocks of sand. While I was over there, I helped myself to some emerald blocks as well. There's no problem with me grabbing these now. With the sand collected, I put down a crafting table and made myself some TNT using the gunpowder I had collected from the creepers. I also made myself a lever so I could light it off. Then, I placed the blocks down and flipped the switch. Here goes nothing. The TNT blew a hole in the door, and I made my way into the tunnel behind it. After a short walk to the end of the tunnel, I saw a huge crater in the ground, and Mjolnir was at the bottom. At long last, I found it! I can barely believe it! I quickly made my way down the ladder and up to the anvil. Mjolnir flew into my hands. I jumped to the top of the anvil and felt the electricity flowing through my veins. There was a bolt of lightning, and I turned back into the adult version of myself. At last, I'm all powered up! Gore isn't gonna know what hit him. On days 85 to 89, I decided I needed to test out my new powers. Alright, Mjolnir, let's fly. With a lurch, I launched myself up into the air and out of the pit. I soon made my way back into the large room. The stack of emeralds from before were still sitting there, so I mined out the rest of the emeralds I needed to finish the statue. Once I had collected those, I used Mjolnir to launch me into the sky and fly to the top of the minecart tracks. I'll be out of here in no time. As I was leaving, I came across some of the mobs I had fought earlier. Let's see how you handle this. I aimed at the creeper and let Mjolnir loose. It flew through the air, striking the creeper. I then finished it off at close range. Using my new abilities, I continued to fight my way out of the tunnel, killing mobs with a combination of close and long-range hits. Once I was nearing the top of the tunnel, I came across some diamonds. Great, I can upgrade my armor using this. I mined out as many diamonds as I could get, then finally ascended out of the cave. On days 90 to 94, I came out of the cave and couldn't believe what I was seeing. Sitting in the middle of our settlement was the Avengers Tower. I saw my friends grouped outside and ran up to them. Whoa, guys, what's going on?
I may have forgotten to mention it. I also teleported Dr. Strange here. Greetings. I thought you could use all the help you could get. I've been working on portals to get everyone back, but it looks like I can only pull things in as long as Gore is still around. I figured I would pull the resources of the Avengers Tower in to help with the fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once you're settled, come pay each of us a visit. Using the resources in the tower, we all managed to get something that should help you in the final battle. We'll talk soon.
On days 95 to 96, I headed straight to my forge to start crafting my diamond armor. I brought the diamonds to my anvil, and by using Mjolnir, I was able to craft myself a full set of diamond armor. With my diamond armor complete, I better go check with everyone to see what else they were able to find. But before I could walk off, Hawkeye walked up to me.
I know you were gonna come see me, but since you're working on your armor, thought I'd bring this to you now.
Hawkeye tossed out a handful of netherite ingots. Whoa, this is even better. I'll get upgrading right away. As I upgraded my diamond to netherite, Hawkeye explained that he had found all of it inside the Avengers Tower. It's a good thing Dr. Strange Strange was here to help. With all of my armor upgraded, I headed over to Rocket's house. Hey buddy, what have you got for me?
You are in luck. I went digging through the tower and managed to scrounge up some more lapis for enchants. This ought to help beef up that new armor of yours.
I took the lapis and got to work enchanting my new armor. Rocket was right. These enchantments were going to make a massive difference in the fight against Gore. With my armor fully enchanted, I then headed over to Spider-Man's house. Hey, Mr. Thor. Wow, I'm so glad you're here. I checked out the labs in the tower, and would you believe it? They were full of brewing ingredients. I managed to put together some potions. I hope you'll find them helpful. Spider-Man threw out a speed, fire resistance, and health potion. He was right. These would definitely be helpful. From there, I headed out to find Dr. Strange and thank him for all of his help. To my surprise, he came flying down from the tower and landed right in front of me.
Interesting choice for a statue. I thought you would have chosen the strongest Avenger.
Well, it would have been a little strange to make a statue of myself.
Of you? I was referring to me.
What? Dr. Strange let out a chuckle.
Toss me some emeralds and I'll give you a hand in finishing this thing.
I threw him some emeralds and we both flew to the top of the statue. Dr. Strange flew around and placed blocks, while I jumped around and placed my blocks. I guess a part of me was grateful Loki had teleported all my friends here. It was nice to see them again. It was just too bad my buddy Hulk couldn't actually be here. And just like that, the statue was done. After everything was done, I found myself standing by the base and heard a familiar voice in my head.
Hulk no smash, Hulk less.
Suddenly, a stream of green particles appeared around me, and I gained 10 more hearts. Maybe Hulk had been here all along after all. On days 97 to 98, I had finished my preparations, so I met back up with everyone outside my house. I still had to see what Loki had prepared for me. As I walked up, I saw one of his green portals sparkling next to him.
Well, brother, I must say that I have the best gift for you of all. A portal that leads directly to Gore's base.
Thank you, Loki. I know everyone here wants to help, but this is something I have to do on my own. You've all been amazing friends. If I don't make it, find a way to stop Gore and save Asgard. I took a deep breath and stepped into the portal. On day 99, I appeared on the other side of the portal at the entrance to Gore's base. I was getting ready to enter when I had the sneaking suspicion something was behind me. Whoa, what's that? Some lightning crash and a huge subscribe was floating in the sky. Man, I feel like this word keeps following me around. Oh well, I guess it's just a sign that is heavily suggesting something that someone should do. I don't know about you, but I'd listen to it. I mean, look at all that lightning. But this was no ordinary sign, and that was no ordinary lightning. As I walked into Gore's palace, I could feel something was different. I could see Gore up ahead, but first, I had to get through his band of skeletons. By the power of Thor, eat lightning! I threw Mjolnir, and the nearest skeleton was immediately struck by lightning. My full powers were finally unlocked. The skeletons gave me everything they had, but none of them could stop me. I used every attack I had, throwing Mjolnir, hitting them with lightning, and striking them at close range. Soon, all of the skeletons were defeated, and only Gore and I remained. On day 100, I stood face to face with Gore. You tried, but it's over now. Without warning, Gore attacked. Clearly, he didn't have time for monologues. Why are you doing this? What do you have to gain by attacking Asgard?
It's not just Asgard, it's all the gods. They're all the same. They only care about one thing.
Gore was enraged, and I was having trouble holding him off. One thing? And what's that?
Themselves.
Gore was really starting to do some damage now. We kept fighting, and I was able to get some hits in, but his hits were harder and harder. I was getting down to just a few hearts.
I would offer you mercy, but you don't deserve it. The people of Asgard need to be free from you.
My hearts were nearly gone. Maybe he was right. I should have asked for help in this fight. Why was I so prideful and wanting to do it alone? I only had half of a heart left and couldn't fight anymore.
Any final words?
Just then, I heard a sound behind me, and a green portal appeared. Loki, Spider-Man, and Rocket came running through.
What, did you actually think we'd let you have all the fun without us?
We're here to help, sir.
Look, here I am, rescuing you again.
Everyone lined up around me. Gore wasn't right about me at all. I've always cared about my friends. Let's do this. We all started to attack Gore. I threw my hammer, Spider-Man unleashed his webs, Rocket shot his rockets, and Loki hit him with a scepter.
You're not like other gods I killed.
That's because I have something worth fighting for. We kept up our attacks, and I could tell Gore no longer stood a chance. With a final swing of my hammer, he was defeated. Good work, everyone. We did it. Now let's get out of here. Loki opened a portal, and we ran back through. Once I had arrived back, everyone was waiting for me. Doctor Strange had opened another portal that would send everyone home. As everyone jumped into the portal and was sent back to their worlds, I thanked them for their friendship. Everyone chose greatness today, and I can't think of a better group of friends.
No primeiro dia, eu apareci como um cara bem normal. Mas caramba, olha só essa cidade linda. Esses 100 dias vão ser muito fáceis. De repente eu escutei um som de alguma coisa em cima de mim. Olhei pra cima e vi um pequeno avião voando. Onde será que ele tá indo? Eles devem estar apreciando essa vista linda. Mas enquanto eles se afastavam, eu vi eles derrubarem água do avião, o que deixou uma fileira de fumaça preta atrás, enquanto caía. De repente eu ouvi um estrondo, e tudo ficou muito claro. Era uma bomba nuclear. Meus ouvidos estavam zumbindo, e eu tava ficando meio enjoado. Caramba, o que tá acontecendo? O prédio embaixo de mim começou a tremer e houve um longo estrondo quando o prédio começou a desmoronar. E eu acabei desmaiando. Quando eu acordei, eu estava debaixo de uma pilha de escombros. Eu consegui sobreviver. Ai, minha cabeça, onde que eu tô? Olhei ao redor e vi um tipo de luz vindo atrás dos escombros. Eu peguei uma picareta de madeira que eu vi por perto. Vamos ver se eu consigo sair daqui. Eu comecei a quebrar os blocos e não demorou para que eu saísse. A cidade estava toda em ruínas. Alô? Tem alguém aí? Quando eu me virei, eu escutei um barulho. Tinha alguma coisa me observando. Era um dragão mutante gigantesco. Que dragão da hora. Só não chega muito perto. Assim que eu disse isso, o dragão decolou e começou a voar em minha direção. Eu tinha que dar o fora. Eu me arrastei sobre os escombros enquanto o dragão soltava seu bafo de fogo. Eu tentei me esconder. Talvez eu fosse encontrar um lugar seguro no prédio. Eu corri pra dentro da escada do prédio mais próximo e o dragão ficou lá fora. Eu não tinha percebido antes, mas eu tava com muita fome e sede. Eu preciso encontrar comida e água. Isso parece um prédio de escritórios antigo. Talvez tenha uma máquina de venda automática com água e comida. Eu comecei a procurar e não demorou muito pra encontrar essa máquina. Eu abri ela e encontrei uma sopa enlatada e água purificada. Ah, eu tô com tanta sede. Essa água vai me salvar muito. Eu não sabia que sopa podia ser tão bom. Acho que vai ser um pouquinho mais difícil do que eu pensava. No dia 2, eu acordei com o som de tiros. Eu fui de fininho até a janela. O que será que tá acontecendo? Lá embaixo eu pude ver um grupo de invasores de terreno baldio lutando contra uma horda de zumbis. Um dos invasores parecia um pouco diferente dos outros, deve ser o líder. Eu fiquei assistindo enquanto os invasores derrotavam os zumbis. Eu tava tão distraído com o que eles estavam fazendo que eu não percebi que um deles estava atrás de mim. Oi, abaixa a faca, não quero nenhum problema.
Se você não quer problema, então esvazie os bolsos.
Eu não tenho nada que você queira, só umas garrafas de água e sopa enlatada.
Você acha que eu não quero isso? Cada fonte de água na cidade está contaminada. Água purificada de lixo radioativo é um luxo que eu quero e mereço, e não você.
Por que você tá fazendo isso? Porque a gente não trabalha junto.
Você tem vivido embaixo de uma pedra, é? Nós trabalhamos para Finkel, o novo chefe da cidade. E eu não conheço você. Ou seja, você não trabalha para ele. O que significa que você precisa entregar tudo que tem.
Eu não tava gostando nada disso. Eu tinha que sair dali, mas ele me encurralou. Talvez se eu empurrar ele com força, isso me daria tempo para escapar. É uma oferta bem interessante, mas não obrigado. Eu dei um empurrão nele e comecei a correr pras escadas.
Ei, volta aqui!
Ele tava quase me alcançando quando de repente o chão caiu e o invasor de repente caiu num buraco no chão. Acho que isso deve ter doído. Eu dei uma olhada por cima da porta e vi o invasor deitado no chão. Não tinha como ele sobreviver a isso. Eu desci até lá embaixo bem rápido. Eu acho que ele não vai precisar mais dessa faca, não é mesmo?
Ei, quem tá aí?
Eu olhei pra fora da borda e o líder deles estava olhando bem pra mim e eles começaram a atirar.
Atrás dele, eu vou pegar você.
Eu fugi o mais rápido que eu pude. Era só o segundo dia e eu já tinha vários inimigos. Sinto que não vai ser a última vez que eu vou ver esses caras. No dia 3, eu continuei correndo até encontrar um prédio pra parar e recuperar o fôlego. Tá bom, ok. Então uma bomba nuclear explodiu a cidade. As fontes de água estão contaminadas e tem gangues de invasores nas ruas. Sem falar na horda de zumbis e dragões voadores. Acho que eu preciso dar o fora dessa cidade. Eu corri de volta pra estrada e comecei a sair da cidade. Eu não sei como lidar com criaturas mutantes, mas talvez eu possa conversar com esse chefe da máfia. Como era o nome dele? Finkel. Mas antes que eu pudesse fazer isso, eu tinha que ficar vivo, né? Enquanto eu estava atravessando o deserto, eu logo encontrei uma fazenda. Olha só esse lugar. Será que tem alguém morando aqui? Ao me aproximar, eu vi que tinha alguém chegando perto. Mas não era muito amigável. Era um zumbi. Toma isso, cérebro de mingau. Eu consegui dar uns bons golpes. Lutar contra os zumbis parece meio errado, mas eu sei que é o único jeito de eu sair vivo daqui. Depois de derrotar o primeiro, eu comecei a lutar contra outro zumbi. Me desculpa pelo seu amigo, mas eu não quero virar jantar hoje. A faca que eu peguei estava se mostrando bem útil. Eu consegui acertar os bons golpes e sobreviver mais um dia. Foi por pouco, mas talvez eu possa montar uma base no celeiro. Eu fui pro celeiro só pra encontrar mais zumbis. Eles estavam tentando me agarrar, mas eu derrubei eles com uma faca. Será que essas pessoas moravam aqui? Quantos zumbis tem aqui dentro? Eu não quero ser infectado. Eu continuei lutando contra a horda e finalmente eu consegui eliminar todos eles. Com os zumbis derrotados, eu decidi entrar pra tentar montar um acampamento improvisado.
Ei, você aí!
Eu olhei pra baixo e pude ver um fazendeiro olhando pra mim.
Foi você que derrotou aqueles zumbis? Eu acho que você acabou de salvar minha vida. Por que você não desce aqui pra conversarmos?
Eu decidi descer. Ele parecia amigável, mas dá pra ver que ele tava tenso.
O que traz você por aqui? Não recebemos muitas visitas.
Então eu tava na cidade e acabei sendo atacado por invasores. E eu continuei correndo até encontrar essa fazenda. Ele pareceu relaxar um pouco depois que eu disse isso.
Sim, esses invasores estão causando problemas para nós. Eles matam tudo que vem, ou qualquer um que fique em seu caminho. Tudo por um chefe que ninguém conhece.
O Finkel, né? Eu meio que já sei quem ele é.
Sim, ele está tentando reunir todos os recursos para manter o poder sobre todos os outros sobreviventes. Aliás, você está com fome?
Ele jogou um pouco de água e pão pra mim, e eu rapidamente tomei e comi tudo. Muito obrigado, eu precisava disso.
Sem problema. Mas por que você não fica aqui um tempo? Vou arrumar uma cama pra você em casa. Aliás, meu nome é John.
John então me levou para sua casa na fazenda. Nos dias 4 e 5, John e eu começamos a construir minha própria seção da fazenda. Era bom ter um amigo por perto. Eu esperava que pudéssemos trabalhar juntos para localizar o Finkel e acabar com essa loucura toda. Com o exterior completo, preenchemos a parte de dentro com itens básicos que eu precisava. Obrigado, John. Acho que eu vou ficar muito feliz aqui. Depois de um tempo, perguntei pro John sobre lutar contra os invasores. Eu não tenho nada para me proteger além da minha faca.
Se você vai sobreviver aqui, tem que ter equipamento para isso. Não há muito por perto, mas posso ajudá-la a obter o que precisamos. Espera aí.
John entrou e depois de um tempo ele saiu de novo.
Aqui, meu machado. Vai e corte umas dessas árvores e traga madeira para nós.
Eu peguei o machado e fui até as árvores. Eu tenho que trabalhar para cortá-las. Enquanto eu cortava, eu não conseguia parar de pensar no que aconteceu com os invasores. Será que ele ia conseguir me encontrar mesmo aqui? Eu terminei de cortar a madeira e voltei pro John. John me devolveu um pouco de madeira e me ensinou a fazer uma mesa de trabalho. Ele então mostrou como fazer um machado de pedra, usando alguns itens que eu coletei antes.
Bom trabalho. A outra coisa que eu quero mostrar. Vá no celeiro e procure nos barris. Deve ter um couro lá dentro que você pode usar.
Eu fui correndo em direção ao celeiro para pegar o couro. Não podia acreditar o quão sortudo eu era de ter um amigo. O John era como o irmão mais velho para mim. Eu mal podia esperar para ver o que ele mais ia me ensinar. Ok, eu peguei todo o couro que eu achei. O que eu faço com isso? Comecei a colocar todo o couro enquanto o John explicava.
Essa não é a arma mais forte, mas vai te manter seguro se você se encontrar em uma situação difícil. Você pode usar essas habilidades para fazer armaduras de todos os tipos de materiais. Vai ser bem útil.
Com a armadura pronta, eu rapidamente equipei ela. Eu já me sinto mais seguro. Nos dias 6 a 8, eu acordei cedo para ir buscar mais mantimentos. Eu queria muito entrar em um acordo com o Finkel, mas por precaução eu tinha que estar preparado. Logo eu vi um pequeno povoado à distância. Assim que eu me aproximei, eu fui atacado por zumbis. Vocês são muito pedidos. Eu nem me sinto mal com isso. Havia uma horda grande de zumbis aqui, e os zumbis eram implacáveis. Da onde vocês estão vindo? Mas depois de um tempo eu consegui abrir caminho usando minha faca. Eu entrei na primeira construção e encontrei um pouco de ferro e sílex dentro. Legal! Mas quando eu saí, um outro grupo de zumbis atacou. Ah, não! Mais de vocês? Esses zumbis parecem ser mais rápidos que os outros, mas eu consegui segurá-los. Enquanto eu lutava para chegar na próxima estrutura, eu pude ver alguns zumbis presos nas janelas. Vocês não são muito espertos, né? Eu derrubei o resto da horda e fiz um trabalho fácil com os idiotas presos na janela. Eu verifiquei os baús e consegui encontrar mais ferro e muito mais ouro. Um dos baús tinha até uma lâmina. O que será que eu posso fazer com isso? Eu verifiquei atrás do balcão e encontrei um armário de remédios com um kit de primeiros socorros. Legal, espero que eu nunca precise disso, mas é bom ter no bolso, né? Eu comecei a verificar a sala de armazenamento e coloquei em minhas mãos um fio de cobre e bateria, e também um pouco de borracha. Eu saí bem rápido e fui correndo para a próxima estrutura. Aqui tinha uma cozinha, e no baú tinha um pouco de água e mais sopa enlatada. Ainda bem que eu não tenho frescura para comer, que sorte. De repente eu escutei uma pancada no armário que estava atrás de mim. Ah, não. Será que alguém tá preso aqui dentro? Eu abri a porta só pra encontrar mais zumbis. Nem sei porque eu imaginei que teria outra coisa aqui. Os zumbis me pegaram de surpresa, mas eu consegui eliminar todos. Lá dentro eu consegui arrumar mais baterias e bandagens. Parece que eu consegui bastante suprimentos. John vai me ensinar a fazer muitas coisas legais com isso. Com os bolsos cheios, eu voltei pra fazenda. Mas quando eu cheguei, parecia que tinha alguma coisa errada. De repente, o lugar todo começou a explodir. Ah, não, John! Foi então que eu vi o que causou toda a destruição. Foram os invasores de antes. Ah, não.
Nós dissemos que iríamos encontrá-lo. Você vai pagar pelo que fez com meu amigo.
Mas foi um acidente, ele me atacou. Cadê o John?
É olho por olho aqui, cara. A única pessoa que você tem que se preocupar é consigo mesmo.
O que você fez com ele? Na minha raiva, eu comecei a atacar os invasores. Esqueci completamente que eles tinham armas. Enquanto eu avançava, eu levei alguns tiros, mas minha armadura me protegeu de sofrer muito dano. Toma só isso. Eu consegui acertar um deles, mas os tiros foram demais e rapidamente me nocautearam. Ah, minha cabeça. Onde que tá o João? Eu comecei a perder a consciência quando eu escutei uma voz ao longe.
Corram todos!
Uma velha veio correndo pro acampamento.
O Skylurker está vindo!
Skylurker? Ela deve estar falando daquele dragão mutante.
Deixem-no, meninos. Vamos sair fora daqui.
Os invasores fugiram, mas eu não consegui me mexer. Enquanto eu perdi a consciência, eu pude ver o rosto daquela mulher. No dia 9, eu acordei em uma pequena cabana, com a velha por perto. Ela estava costurando minhas feridas. O que aconteceu? Como a gente escapou do dragão? Ela começou a sorrir de repente.
Não ouvia, Skylurker. Eu só fiz isso para salvar a sua pele. Meu nome é Maggie.
Nossa, obrigado, Maggie. Eu não teria saído dessa sem você. Cadê o John? Quando eu perguntei, o sorriso dela desapareceu.
Não tenho certeza. Eu vi os capangas levá-lo de volta pro celeiro, mas eu não quero pensar muito nisso.
Eu não consigo deixar de sentir que é tudo minha culpa. Eles só encontraram ele porque foram atrás de mim.
Como eu disse, melhor não pensar muito sobre isso. Concentre-se no futuro.
Eu sabia que ela tinha segredos, mas eu não queria bisbilhotar. O que aconteceu aqui, afinal? Eu lembro que uma bomba explodiu e quando eu acordei, o mundo estava diferente. Eu acho que eu apaguei por um bom tempo.
O mundo já estava em estado de caos quando a bomba caiu, mas como você imagina, a bomba mudou tudo.
Finkel Fredrickson, ou Finkel, agora como chamam, rapidamente subiu ao poder comandando vigilantes, prometendo poder e controle. Eu o vi apenas uma vez. Ele é metade homem, metade máquina. Dizem que ele tem esconderijo, acumulando recursos, mas ninguém pode alcançá-lo. Ele vive do outro lado do deserto. Não tem como chegar. Se você quer derrotá-lo, você vai ter uma grande tarefa. Eu levei um segundo para pensar em tudo que ela tinha me dito. Bom, eu sobrevivi a uma explosão nuclear. Desafiar o impossível não é nenhuma novidade. Eu podia ver um brilho em seus olhos quando ela me deu um sorriso. Então vamos começar o trabalho. Nos dias 10 a 11 eu estava me sentindo um pouquinho melhor e decidi que já podia sair. Obrigado pela ajuda, Meg. Bom saber que tem pessoas boas por aí. Foi um prazer, Zozo. Mas você não precisa ir embora. Você pode ficar se quiser. Bem que eu queria, mas depois do que eu fiz com o John, eu não posso deixar isso acontecer com você. Bom, se esse for o caso, pegue o cavalo e dê essa estrada. Há umas estruturas que podem ser úteis. Eu fui lá pra fora e subi no cavalo de Meg. Meg tinha tudo aqui. Se o Finkel encontrasse ela, ele teria uma luta, entanto. Ao longe eu pude ver uma grande estrutura. Parecia um posto de gasolina. Enquanto eu cavalgava, eu vi uns zumbis por aí. Mais de vocês, né? Por que não estou surpreso? Eu montei no cavalo e comecei a atacar o primeiro zumbi. Até que foi fácil. Depois de derrubar o primeiro, eu me virei e percebi que havia mais. Então, eu deixei o cavalo para lutar com eles em pé. Eu não queria matar o cavalo da Meg. Tá achando que você vai comer meu cérebro? Acertei um crítico e derrubei o primeiro carinha. Então, rapidamente dei uns golpes para derrubar o segundo. Ah, esses caras são fáceis. Tinha uma horda inteira vindo direto pra mim. Cara, vocês não ficam cansados, não? Dá pra ficar longe de mim? A horda me perseguia, enquanto eu derrubava eles um por um. Eu continuei atacando e finalmente consegui derrotar todos eles. Isso foi muito trabalhoso. Acho que tem mais lá dentro. Vamos ao trabalho. Eu fui até o posto de gasolina, lutando contra os zumbis ao longo do caminho. Enquanto lutava, contei que havia algumas máquinas de venda automática. O lugar também era bem grande. Se eu pudesse acabar com esses caras, seria uma ótima base. Eu lutei meu caminho até a próxima sala e me defendi de um ataque final dos zumbis restantes. Finalmente derrotei todos eles. Até que enfim, agora, deixa eu ver se eu consigo arrumar esse lugar. Vai ser uma ótima base. Minha primeira tarefa era cortar aquelas árvores gigantes lá fora. Eu vou precisar de muita madeira, se eu for reparar todos os buracos desse lugar. Assim que peguei o que precisava, comecei arrumando a entrada com portas e tábuas de madeira. Putz, olha só esse telhado. Isso não vai dar certo com tantos buracos. Qualquer um pode entrar aqui dentro. Então comecei a trabalhar usando tábuas de madeira para preencher os buracos. Demorou muito tempo, mas eu não podia arriscar o zumbi ou o invasor saltando em mim. Depois de arrumar o telhado, eu comecei a limpar a bagunça que tava. Eu limpei pilhas de pedras e remendei os buracos na parede. Depois, eu fui pro corredor da base e coloquei algumas luzes. Esse lugar parece ótimo. Agora vamos ver se tem alguma coisa nas máquinas de venda. Eu dei uma olhada e fiquei feliz que tinha água e batatinhas também. Eu dei um pouco de água pro cavalo e fiz um lanchinho. Mas que sorte, não vai demorar pra eu rastrear o Finkel e eu espero fazer umas mudanças positivas nesse mundo. Nos dias 12 a 15, eu voltei para a casa de Meg para devolver o seu cavalo. Quando cheguei, ela estava em uma cadeira sentada do lado de fora. Bom dia, Meg. Eu encontrei um ótimo lugar para uma base. Valeu pela dica, viu? Fico feliz em ajudar, Zozo. Aliás, tem outra dica para você. Há uma instalação de armas na estrada. Dizem que houve uma atividade zumbi, mas deve ter bastante loot. Se você quer enfrentar o fim com esses invasores, você vai precisar desses equipamentos. Com certeza. Obrigado pela dica. Vou ver o que eu posso encontrar. Eu comecei a correr em direção ao armazém. Eu vi o terreno começar a mudar. Eu devo estar chegando bem perto. Mais à frente eu vi mais um grupo de zumbis. Esses caras devem fazer parte da atividade zumbi que Meg mencionou. Será que eles lutearam? Eu corri até eles e comecei a lutar contra a horda. Foi quando percebi que um deles estava segurando algo único. Ei, esse cara tem um facão. Isso pode ser útil. Essa faquinha que eu tô usando já está por um fio. Eu continuei com a luta e levei até uns golpes, mas ainda bem que eu tinha essa armadura, que não deixava eles encostarem em mim pra me infectar. Agora sim, deixa eu ver esse facão. Eu peguei o facão que dropou do zumbi. Acho que ele pegou isso aqui novinho em folha. Nos dias 16 a 19, eu podia ver o armazém logo à frente. Quando cheguei um pouco mais perto, eu pude ver outra horda de zumbis bloqueando meu caminho. Mas esses caras se vestiam todos iguais? Hora de apresentar vocês ao meu novo amiguinho. O facão, eu tô falando do facão. Quando comecei a lutar, eu cheguei perto e pude ver que eles estavam com trajes de proteção. Parece que teve um acidente grave aqui que deixou todos infectados. Mesmo com roupas de proteção, se eu pudesse ter um traje de proteção também, eu vou conseguir andar por vários ambientes tóxicos. Oi pessoal, tudo bem com vocês? Vocês não se importam se eu pegar isso emprestado, né? Com minha arma nova e habilidades de luta, eu consegui derrubar o último zumbi. Eu continuei avançando e fui pro armazém. Mas assim que eu entrei, eu escutei um som aterrorizante no teto. Mas o que é isso? Pro meu horror, havia algum tipo de urso mutante pendurado no teto, e ele estava olhando bem pra mim. Tinha uns caixotes do outro lado do prédio. Talvez tivesse alguns trajes de proteção. Relaxa aí, amiguinho, não precisa entrar em pânico. Eu tentei escapar, mas não adiantou. O urso mutante rastejou bem em cima da minha cabeça e caiu em cima de mim. Ah, por que tudo cai na minha cabeça? Isso não era qualquer tipo de urso mutante. Ele dava bastante dano. Ele conseguiu até quebrar o meu capacete. Se eu continuar apanhando desse jeito, eu não vou conseguir sobreviver a essa criatura. O urso usou suas garras gigantes e me golpeou de novo. Mas felizmente eu consegui usar o novo facão a meu favor e derrubar ele. Cara, esses monstros mutantes são realmente brutais. Essa aqui realmente foi por muito pouco. Pelo menos não era um Skylurker, né? De repente eu escutei um som de trovão e as nuvens se aproximaram. E depois começou a chover. Pera, chuva? Talvez eu possa pegar um pouco de água. Eu saí na chuva, mas na hora eu comecei a me machucar. Será que era chuva ácida? Ah, tá queimando. Eu quase esqueci. Será que tem um traje de proteção aqui? Eu vasculhei as caixas que eu vi mais cedo. Opa, perfeito. Tem um traje aqui dentro. Eu vasculhei outras caixas e encontrei o resto do traje. Depois de me vestir, eu vi que estava com muito mais armadura. Agora sim eu tô protegido. Vamos testar esse negócio. Eu corri pra fora e nada aconteceu. O traje era perfeito. Eu até me esgueirei até a beira de um mirante pra dar uma olhada melhor. Sem problema, parece que eu tô pronto. Eu vou sair fora daqui. Nos dias 20 a 22, eu estava voltando do armazém, quando eu encontrei o acampamento no deserto. Eu me esgueirei até a beira de um mirante para dar uma olhada melhor. São os invasores que eu vi antes, mas parece que o líder não está aqui. Essa vai ser uma ótima chance de saltar sobre eles. Então, me esgueirei pelo cume e fui por trás. Com um pouco de areia, eu coloquei uns blocos para escalar o topo de sua base. Ok, parece que tem apenas uns caras aqui. Acho que eu posso pegar os dois de surpresa. Eu pulei e rapidamente derrubei o primeiro com meu facão. Fez um pouco de barulho, mas os outros invasores não perceberam nada. Parece que você é o próximo. Eu me esgueirei até outro invasor e consegui derrotá-lo antes que ele pudesse soar o alarme também. Depois que ele sumiu, eu percebi que ele dropou uma coisa. Uma espingarda. Maravilha. E o que é isso? Ordens? Assim que eu abri o livro, eu percebi que eram ordens do chefe. Deve ser o Finkel. Ele deve estar expandindo a operação. Parece que vou ter que me esforçar muito mais. Com minha nova espingarda, eu me esgueirei até o canto e espiei os caras perto do fogo. Isso é pelo John! Eu explodi o primeiro cara antes de pegar meu facão pra finalizar ele. Vocês não vão machucar ninguém nunca mais. Eu balancei meu facão e acabei com o segundo cara também. Sem guardas, agora eu tinha liberdade pra vasculhar. Eu comecei a olhar dentro dos baús e consegui munição de espingarda, ferro, e eu encontrei um acessório também, que coloquei na espingarda. Parece que eu já peguei tudo que tinha aqui, mas tem mais caras aqui. Eu tenho que acabar com eles, e logo. No dia 23, eu estava atravessando o deserto quando vi algo estranho alojado na terra à frente. Caramba, será que isso é o que eu tô pensando? Ao me aproximar, eu vi que era um submarino gigante. Um submarino por aqui? Eu não sei como chegou até aqui, mas é um absurdo ver um submarino num lugar desses. E tem um sinal também que parece um sininho. Sabe? E toque o sininho. Se você conseguir entender, então manda bala. Nos dias 24 a 29, eu cheguei de volta à base e vi que ela estava cheia de zumbis de novo. Ai, não, pensei que eu tinha me livrado de vocês. Eu peguei minha espingarda e acabei com eles. Eles não tinham chances contra minha nova arma. E um a um, eu derrubei todos eles. Dessa vez, vocês não vão levantar de novo. Eu fiz o caminho até a base matando eles. Eu poderia ficar aqui o dia inteiro, mas eu não teria munição pra isso. Eu decidi que essa base precisava de melhorias se eu quisesse sobreviver aos perigos à frente. Assim que o último zumbi foi eliminado, eu decidi começar a trabalhar cavando um bunker sobre minha base. Se já explodiram uma bomba nuclear, a segunda ia ser fácil. Imagine se o Finkel tivesse uma. Ninguém ia ficar seguro. Eu consegui limpar um grande espaço na minha base, mas depois eu acabo. Depois comecei a trabalhar na construção de uma parede, usando materiais que eu coletei cavando o bunker. Enquanto eu andava pela base, eu encontrei uns carros largados fora do posto. Isso me lembra uma coisa que John mostrou. Deixa eu dar uma olhadinha mais de perto. Eu fui pra estação e peguei um macaco de carro, assim como ferramentas, e as trouxe pra fora. Eu levantei a van com o macaco e dei uma olhadinha mais de perto. O bloco do motor tá em ótimas condições. Eu acho que eu vou conseguir consertar a van usando isso. Eu fui pra loja e coloquei o motor dentro da van. Também coloquei umas rodas que eu achei pelo posto. Eu pulei dentro da van. Bom, eu preciso da chave e um pouco de combustível. Assim que eu conseguir os dois, eu vou andar muito mais rápido. Animado com meu brinquedo novo, eu fui pra fora e continuei com a parede. Eu cheguei à beira do posto e comecei a voltar por onde havia começado. Eu tava quase terminando quando de repente ouvi um grito.
Socorro! Socorro! Senhor, socorro!
Eu olhei pra cima e vi um grupo de zumbis no deserto perseguindo o garotinho morro abaixo. Aguenta aí, garoto, eu te salvo. Eu não tava com a minha arma, então eu corri com meu facão mesmo. Uou, esses caras são rápidos. Eu levei alguns golpes e eles estavam dando bastante dano. Por que vocês não brigam com alguém do seu tamanho? Eu continuei lutando e consegui derrotar a horda. Ei, garoto, tudo bem com você?
Agora sim, obrigado. Mas minha família ainda está em perigo. Um monte de zumbi apareceu do nada. Eu não sei se eles sobreviveram.
Então não temos tempo a perder, eu te ajudo. Me mostre o caminho. O garotinho voltou correndo com ele na cima. Tomara que a gente chegue a tempo. Nos dias 30 e 35, o garotinho e eu corremos de volta para a base de sua família. Mas ao chegar perto, não parecia nada bom. O lugar estava todo em chamas e tinha zumbis para todos os lados. Isso não parece nada bom, garoto, mas eu vou ver o que eu posso fazer. Fique aqui. Eu corri em direção à base enquanto os zumbis me atacavam. Seus dias de comer cérebro acabaram. Depois de matar uns zumbis, eu notei que o garotinho tinha me seguido. O que você está fazendo? Isso é muito perigoso.
Minha família tá aqui. Eu não posso ficar atrás e me esconder.
Tá bom, só fica atrás de mim, enquanto a gente avança. Depois de acabar com o último zumbi da horda, eu vi que um deles tinha dropado uma arma. Olha só, é uma K-47. Agora sim. Eu comecei a correr descarregando o pente em vários zumbis. Essa arma era bem forte, mas não tinha muitas balas, que logo acabaram e eu tive que mudar pra minha faca.
Continua, senhora, a gente vai atravessar.
Enquanto eu lutava, eu pude ver que esse garoto era pequeno, mas bem corajoso, e eu respeitava isso. Enfim, chegamos à rua principal do assentamento e começamos a procurar os prédios em busca de sobreviventes. Desculpa, mas parece que não tem ninguém aqui. Eu vou continuar procurando. Eu lutei contra mais zumbis enquanto me movia para outros prédios, mas não importava o quanto eu procurasse, não tinha ninguém ali. Eu consegui acabar com o último zumbi, então me encontrei com o garoto. Desculpa, mas parece que todos foram exterminados pelos zumbis. É melhor a gente sair daqui o mais rápido possível. Mais deles podem aparecer. O garoto concordou e começamos a sair. Mas pouco antes de sairmos da base, nós ouvimos alguns gritos.
Socorro! Socorro! Tem alguém aí! Eu acho que é minha irmã.
O garotinho começou a correr em direção aos gritos. Pouco tempo depois, ele voltou correndo junto de uma garotinha.
A minha irmã estava escondida em uma caixa. Obrigada por ajudar, senhora.
Eu fico feliz em ajudar, pessoal. Por que vocês não ficam na minha base? Eles concordaram e quando começamos a sair, eu vi que tinha uma bancada de trabalho por perto. Então aproveitei para fazer armas e munição. Eu fui bem rápido e fomos embora. Nos dias 36 a 40, eu voltei para a base com as crianças. Eu as levei para dentro da minha base e disse que teria água fresca e comida. Fiquem à vontade que eu vou construir um lugar para vocês ficarem. Eu comecei removendo essas prateleiras. Depois eu fiz um outro andar. Assim que a plataforma estava pronta, eu fui em frente e montei umas camas e outros móveis para as crianças e para mim. Um lugar para vocês. Eu sei que é novo, mas eu espero que vocês possam ser felizes. Tudo parecia bem, então decidi começar a trabalhar em uma área de trabalho. Eu tinha coletado um monte de coisa, mas até agora não tinha como usar. Logo, o espaço de trabalho estava completo. Eu estava sem munição e minhas armas precisavam de umas melhorias. Eu comecei pela espingarda, fazendo algumas melhorias. Assim que eu terminei, fiz a mesma coisa com a K-47. Com tudo pronto, eu usei um pouco de ferro, ouro e pólvora para moldar umas balas. Eu também usei meu facão para fazer um facão elétrico, para eu bater 2 vezes mais forte. Quero só ver o Finn mexer comigo agora. Então eu saí e comecei um novo projeto. Eu me senti meio mal com o que aconteceu com as crianças, mas eu tive uma ideia para talvez animar elas. E não demorou para eu fazer o playground para eles brincarem. Olha só, pessoal, eu fiz isso para vocês.
Uau, Zozo, obrigado! A gente adorou!
Enquanto eles brincavam com seus novos brinquedos, eu tentei arar o solo e plantar umas sementes. Eu fiquei feliz em cuidar dessas crianças, mas procurar comida não ia resolver. A gente tinha que ser autossuficiente. Depois de um tempo, porém, o solo rejeitou as sementes. Isso não tá dando certo, mas acho que eu tenho outra ideia. Eu voltei pro bunker e comecei a trabalhar cavando um jardim interno. O solo não era muito bom para o cultivo de trigo, mas talvez cogumelos pudessem sobreviver. E depois de um tempo estava tudo pronto. Agora que temos uma fonte de alimento, eu precisava de um lugar pra gente comer a comida. Eu trabalhei criando uma área no bunker para todos nós guardarmos os alimentos que cultivamos e, claro, comê-los. Foi bastante construção, mas acho que a gente vai ficar de boa nessa base até o final. Nos dias 41 a 43, eu decidi olhar uma cidade próxima em busca de suprimentos. Eu também queria testar as novas armas atualizadas. Quando cheguei perto dos zumbis, eu peguei meu facão elétrico e coloquei ele para trabalhar. Caramba, essa coisa corta, esses caras iam golpe. Minha arma nova era incrível, mas eu não podia ficar muito animado porque eu ouvi um gemido aterrorizante à distância. Da onde veio esse barulho? Eu terminei de lutar contra os zumbis e vi um zumbi gigantesco parado fora de uma loja velha. Foi quando eu consegui ouvir alguns gritos de socorro vindo de dentro.
Oh não! Saia de perto de mim! Socorro!
Ah não, alguém tá preso lá dentro. Segura aí, eu tô chegando. Eu corri com a minha AK atualizada e equipada, pronta pra lutar. O zumbi me viu e começou a caminhar em minha direção. Um dos outros zumbis estava em meu caminho, então o grandão deitou e esmagou até a morte. Caramba, esse cara não tá de brincadeira. Ele andou mais um pouco na minha direção e então soltou um rugido de medo. Me causou dano. Ai, meus ouvidos! Eu abri fogo para tentar diminuir um pouco a sua vida. Isso deixou ele doido. Com muita raiva, ele pegou um bloco de areia e jogou em mim. Eu mal consegui sair do caminho. Come chumbo, sua besta! Eu continuei atirando e notei que toda vez que ele soltava esses gritos, mais zumbis apareciam no chão. Eu queria me concentrar em derrubar esse cara, mas eu continuei tendo que lutar contra novos zumbis. Ele continuou jogando blocos em mim, até que me acertou, causando cegueira temporária. Ai não, eu não consigo ver nada. Eu atirei às cegas e quando minha visão voltou, um zumbi estava apenas alguns passos de mim. Uou, peraí. Como que eu vou vencer esse cara? Parecia pareciam que os zumbis não iam acabar, então eu não conseguia atingir ele. Eu tava ficando quase sem vida bem rápido. Foi quando eu tive uma ideia. Ei, sem cérebro, vem aqui! Os zumbis pequenos eram bem mais rápidos, então consegui afastá-los do grandalhão, agrupando eles. Agora que eu tava fora do alcance do grandão, eu pude matar os pequenos um por um. Não é à toa que vocês querem meu cérebro. O de vocês é inútil. Por fim, eu eliminei todos e consegui me concentrar no grandão. Sempre que novos zumbis apareciam, eu eliminava eles rápido para poder focar a atenção no grandão. Finalmente ele caiu e desapareceu. Essa foi por pouco. Agora, quem que tava pedindo ajuda? Eu fui pra loja e comecei a procurar. Atrás de um balcão estava um cara vestido com roupas de comerciante.
Meu bom senhor, você foi incrível.
Obrigado. Fico feliz que você está bem.
Depois dessa exibição incrível de luta, como é que eu poderia não estar? Pegue este incrível item como símbolo de minha gratidão.
O comerciante me deu um sombreiro? Obrigada, isso é muito legal.
Você não tem que me agradecer. Você não faz ideia de quantas pessoas simplesmente matariam para ter essa coisa. Mas só porque somos bons amigos, estou disposto a lhe dar algo ainda melhor. Uma arma inestimável, mas por um preço, é claro.
Eu não confiava muito nesse cara, mas se ele realmente tivesse uma arma poderosa, isso podia ajudar. Tudo bem, qual que é o preço?
Eu tenho uma outra loja não muito longe daqui, cheia de suprimentos, mas um certo monstro ficou por lá. Se você cuidar disso para mim, ficarei feliz em lhe dar essa arma especial.
Acho que eu posso fazer isso. Quão perigoso esse monstro é?
Baseado no que acabei de ver você fazer, acho que esse monstrinho não vai te causar nenhum tipo de problema.
Se você diz, bom, eu já volto então. Nos dias 44 e 49, eu cheguei fora da loja que o comerciante falou. Esse lugar parece abandonado, e eu acho que ninguém deve ter vindo aqui por um bom tempo. Mas acho que é bom dar uma olhada mesmo assim. Mas quando eu entrei, eu não vi nada diferente. Prateleiras vazias, não parecia ter nada aqui dentro. Eu olhei uma das caixas e consegui arranjar umas balas. Bom, eu não consigo ver nada, o monstro deve ter saído daqui. Acho que eu vou voltar e contar as boas notícias. Foi então que eu escutei um barulho terrível da janela, e uma torrente de fogo veio rasgando. Ai não, é o Skylurker. Eu comecei a correr enquanto ele veio estourando pela janela, me perseguindo. Eu pulei uma outra janela e tentei escapar. Vamos ver se você gosta disso. Eu comecei a atirar usando as balas que eu peguei pra minha K-47. Eu sabia que eu tava causando dano nele, mas ele também tava. O fogo dele começou a doer de verdade. Eu tô ficando sem coração. Eu preciso de cobertura. Eu comecei a comer pra tentar recuperar minha vida. O dragão ficou atirando fogo, mas eu consegui recuperar minha vida. Você não vai fugir de mim agora. O dragão começou a voar enquanto eu atirava nele, e eu comecei a achar que eu ia derrotar esse bicho. Finalmente ele pousou e depois de mais uns tiros, eu acertei o tiro final. Esse cara é poderoso. Eu espero que ele seja o único por aqui. Eu voltei pra loja pra ver se tinha mais alguma coisa que eu pudesse usar. Eu logo vi um recipiente de combustível em uma das prateleiras. Perfeito, é tudo que eu precisava pra usar minha van. Olhei mais umas caixas e encontrei um conjunto completo de equipamentos militares pesados. E eu equipei tudo rapidinho. Dá uma olhada, minha armadura tá completamente cheia. Bem que eu podia ter achado isso antes da briga com o dragão. Parece que não tem mais nada pra mim aqui dentro, então eu saí pra avisar o comerciante. Mal podia esperar pra ver qual item poderoso ele iria me dar. Nos dias 50 e 53, eu voltei pro comerciante. Ao entrar de novo na cidade que ele tava, eu abri caminho através de uma pequena horda de zumbis. Sai do meu caminho. Depois de matar os zumbis, eu entrei só pra ver o comerciante cochilando na sua cadeira. Ei, amigo, eu tô de volta. Ele lentamente se mexeu e quase caiu da cadeira quando me viu.
Você sobreviveu? Você sobreviveu, como eu tinha pensado. Eu estou muito feliz em ver que você sobreviveu, como pensei que você iria sobreviver.
É claro, o Skylurker era bem forte, mas eu derrubei ele. E agora o item poderoso que você prometeu.
Sim, um item poderoso. Eu devo ter isso. Deixa eu ver.
O comerciante foi até um baú e começou a vasculhar.
Isso vai dar certo.
Quando ele se virou, ele tinha um enorme lançador de foguetes.
Você acha que isso é um item poderoso?
Uau, isso parece incrível. Eu vou derrubar toneladas de inimigos com isso.
Sobre isso. Acho melhor apontar para apenas uma dessas toneladas de inimigos. Essa é simplesmente a maior e mais poderosa arma já feita. Na verdade, ela é tão poderosa que não pode aguentar mais do que apenas um tiro. Então, use com muita sabedoria. De preferência longe de mim.
Ele me deu a arma e eu vi que se chamava Comet Fall. Legal esse nome. Eu vou guardar ela para um inimigo bem poderoso. Nos dias 54 e 57, eu voltei para minha base quando ouvi um barulho estranho, mas aterrorizante à minha frente. O que foi isso? Parecia um Skylurker, mas era diferente. Eu continuei correndo à frente quando eu vi algo se rastejar por cima do prédio à minha frente. De repente, eu congelei.
Isso é um Skylurker zumbificado?
Certeza que o Skylurker que eu matei estava bem na minha frente. Ele foi transformado em um zumbi. Ele decolou do prédio e pousou bem na minha frente. Oi, eu sei que tivemos maus entendidos, mas... O dragão começou a soltar um rugido alto. Eu não podia arriscar dessa vez. Desculpa, mas você me obrigou a fazer isso. Eu peguei o Comet Fall. Acho que agora seria um bom momento para ter esse grande poder de fogo em minhas mãos. Hora de você ir pro submundo, só que dessa vez pra sempre. Eu puxei o gatilho, o foguete disparou e nada. A arma era totalmente falsa. Mas o que é isso? O dragão soltou outro rugido e começou a me pulverizar com seu sopro de dragão morto-vivo. Ele estava ainda mais forte do que antes. Aquele comerciante, quem ele pensa que é? Ele vai acabar comigo assim. Eu consegui dar uns tiros nele, mas não adiantou. Minha última esperança era fugir. O dragão me seguiu um pouco e eu tava praticamente sem nenhuma vida. Mas eu consegui comer e por sorte eu escapei sem morrer. Nos dias 58 a 62, eu finalmente consegui chegar na minha base. A primeira coisa que eu fiz foi trabalhar em um quarto de um bunker. Com aquele dragão zumbi por aí, eu senti que qualquer coisa acima do solo não seria segura. Mas antes que eu pudesse terminar, eu ouvi um som estridente atrás de mim. Que é isso? Quantas baratas? De onde vocês vieram? Eu devo ter mexido em algum ninho, porque meu bunker inteiro estava cheio de baratas. Eu matei algumas, mas eu tinha que sair dali. Ah, que nojento. Como é que eu vou limpar minha base agora? Não podemos viver num lugar assim. Foi então que eu tive uma brilhante ideia. Era a solução perfeita para esse probleminha de pragas. Para começar, eu fui para fora da minha base, bem onde eu tinha visto uma cascavel. Com licença, não liga para mim, eu só preciso pegar o seu rabo. Eu cortei a cascavel e peguei o chocalho de sua cauda. Eu corri até a mesa de trabalho e usei madeira para fazer o maracá. Mas antes que eu pudesse pôr em prática meu plano brilhante, a garotinha de antes correu até mim.
Zozo, meu irmão me disse que você encontrou um comerciante viajante. Eu sei quem ele é. Ele já foi no meu acampamento.
Ah, é? Deixa eu adivinhar. Ele tentou ganhar dinheiro fácil vendendo itens lixos, não é mesmo?
É isso mesmo, mas é bem pior. Ele trabalha para aqueles saqueadores de terrenos que estão te causando problemas. Ele rouba pessoas e dá suas coisas a invasores em troca de proteção. Eu sei onde você pode encontrar.
Eu sabia que tinha algo errado com aquele cara. Ele é tão parte do problema quanto aqueles invasores. Eu vou ter que ensinar ele uma lição. Nos 4 dias seguintes, eu fiz planos para encontrar o comerciante na base dos invasores. Mas primeiro, eu precisava cuidar de umas coisinhas na minha base, principalmente as baratas. Vamos lá, espero que isso funcione. Comecei a sacudir o maracá e várias baratas vieram correndo até mim. Elas realmente gostam da minha música, não é?
Ei, cara, belo ritmo. A gente pode tentar?
Que bom que você gostou, fico feliz em compartilhar. Mas vocês precisam saber que não podem ficar aqui. É um risco para a saúde.
Relaxa, já a gente vai embora.
Joguei o maracá por uma delas e elas realmente gostaram. Uma simples infestação se transformou numa festa bem rápido. Até eu não pude deixar de pegar o sombreiro que eu tinha conseguido do comerciante e entrar na diversão.
Muito obrigado pela diversão, amigo. Pegue isso como agradecimento. Eu sei que vocês humanos gostam desse tipo de coisa.
Então quer dizer que a barata tinha a chave da minha van? Perfeito, era bem isso que eu tava procurando. Obrigado. Pouco depois, as baratas foram embora. Então eu decidi tentar ligar a minha van. Eu peguei o combustível que tinha juntado e completei o tanque. Então pulei no banco do motorista e girei a chave. E o motor deu sinal de vida. Tá funcionando, tá funcionando. Foi então que o garotinho entrou correndo na sala.
Uau, você conseguiu! Abre essa porta e vamos dar uma volta.
Ah, e a porta? Eu esqueci totalmente da porta. Não temos energia, então eu não sei como tirar o carro.
Você viu a central elétrica lá em cima? Eu acho que é de lá que o posto pega a energia, não é?
Ótima ideia. Rapidamente eu fui pra colina em direção à usina. Quando eu cheguei perto, guardas zumbis começaram a me atacar. Acabou o expediente, galera. Eu comecei a atravessar as hordas de zumbis, até conseguir chegar lá dentro. Lá dentro tinha mais zumbis, mas eu consegui acabar com eles. Parece que o interruptor tá desligado. O que será que acontece se eu virar isso aqui? Eu virei o interruptor e eu vi umas máquinas ligarem. Parece que tinha luz aqui dentro. Ok, então tá funcionando. Mas deixa eu ver essa placa lá fora, pra ver se a energia tá saindo da estação. Chegando lá fora, eu liguei o interruptor do outdoor. E depois de um tempo, ele ligou. Legal, parece que tá funcionando. Vamos voltar pra base. De volta na base, eu ativei o interruptor do portão, que começou a se abrir. Então eu liguei a van e eu finalmente podia começar a dirigir. Hora de mostrar quem é que manda por aqui. Nos dias 67 e 70, eu fui até a base principal dos invasores. Segundo as crianças, o comerciante gostava de ficar por aqui. Assim que eu cheguei, eu vi que a base estava guardada com a grande porta pesada. Bom, eu tenho que entrar de algum jeito. É hora de fazer uma entrada bem dramática. Eu pisei fundo e fui em direção à porta. Acabou a festa por aqui. Eu saí da van e vi que alguns invasores próximos começaram a me atacar. Havia muitos deles, mas não eram páreos para minha armadura e armas novas. Cadê o líder de vocês? Eu corri através do pátio e encontrei outro esquadrão de invasores. Usando a cúpula como escudo, eu corri pelo lado de fora, pegando eles um por um. Vocês não são tão espertos assim, né? Assim que eu fiz a volta, eu comecei em direção à base. Eu tava indo muito bem, mas onde estava o negociante? Achei que os invasores nunca mais iriam acabar. E quando eu pensei que estava na vantagem, de repente eu escutei uma enorme explosão. Uou, de onde que veio isso? Um dos invasores tinha um lançador de granadas e ele estava dando trabalho. Eu procurei por cobertura e decidi ir por trás do prédio. Eu fui de fininho e consegui pegar ele por trás e fiz ele derrubar a sua arma. Olha, um presente, muito obrigado. Agora sim eu tava ficando forte. Eu continuei avançando e mostrei pra eles quem é que manda. Eu lancei granadas, usei minha AK, atirei neles com minha espingarda. Eu era uma equipe de demolição inteira de um homem só e ninguém me parar. Nos dias 71 a 74, eu ainda estava lutando contra a base. Quando finalmente eu vi um rosto familiar. Era o comerciante.
Eu tenho um novo presente pra você.
Ele jogou alguma coisa pra mim. Era uma granada. A granada quase explodiu na minha cara. Mas era só de fumaça. Esse cara não tinha armas boas nem mesmo pra ele. Mas que piada! Usando a fumaça como cobertura, eu rapidamente mudei de posição, lançando granadas enquanto isso. Vocês me enganaram pela última vez. Eu lancei uma granada no comerciante, atingiu ele, mas não forte o suficiente. Eu tinha que ir lá em cima. Eu saí do meu canto e consegui pegar os invasores restantes. Agora não tinha nada entre mim e o comerciante. Nem pense em correr. Eu subi por trás do barco e fui até o comerciante. Você vai fazer gracinha? Ele balançou a cabeça e guardou sua arma. Ok. Você me pegou. Eu não queria que acabasse assim. Por favor, pegue tudo que eu tenho. Pode levar. Ele começou a despejar tudo que tinha nos bolsos. Ele só tinha um monte de lixo. Você acha que eu quero seu lixo? Pode dropar tudo. Ele jogou umas esmeraldas e outros itens valiosos. Isso é tudo, eu juro. Tem certeza? Ele fez uma pausa e jogou mais alguns itens. É verdade agora. Isso é tudo, eu juro. Eu dei um passo à frente pra olhar mais de perto, mas ele conseguiu escapar por trás de mim e fugiu do barco. Ah, não. Bom, que seja. Ele não é muito forte mesmo. Eu olhei mais de perto que ele havia dropado. Como eu suspeitava, era principalmente um monte de porcaria. Pelo menos a maioria. O que é isso? Recipiente de antídoto. Reduz a duração de efeitos negativos. Eu acho que isso pode ser útil. Eu então equipei ele no meu cinto. Beleza, agora eu só tenho que encontrar o líder e fazer ele mostrar onde que tá o Finkel. Nos 4 dias seguintes, eu continuei explorando a base e finalmente fiquei cara a cara com o líder dos invasores. Ei, lembra de mim?
Você acha que é o herói agora?
Esse mundo não precisa ser um lugar horrível para se viver. Me ajuda a encontrar o Finkel e vamos acabar com essa loucura.
Quem disse que não é um bom lugar para viver? Eu até gosto de como as coisas estão.
Então acho que eu vou ter que tirar você do meu caminho.
Eu quero ver você tentar.
Ele de repente pegou um frasco. Era uma poção. De repente ele começou a crescer em uma versão maior e muito mais forte. E depois pegou a minigun.
Cadê o herói agora?
O líder deu um salto e de repente começou a chover balas de sua minigun. Por essa eu não esperava. Eu tinha que me esconder.
Já tá correndo? Achei que você queria conversar.
Eu dei uns tiros nele pra cá enquanto eu fugia. Mas eu não sabia se eu estava causando dano. Não pareceu afetar ele nem um pouco. Hora de mudar a estratégia. Eu peguei umas granadas e joguei nele. Assim que eu abaixei, eu escutei a explosão. Será que eu peguei ele? E eu aproveitei esse tempo pra me curar. De repente ele apareceu no canto.
Não vai ser tão fácil assim.
Eu continuei correndo enquanto ele atirava. Eu peguei a espingarda, assim como as granadas, mas nada parecia acabar com ele. Uma hora ele me derrubou pra apenas um coração. Tudo que eu podia fazer era me esconder atrás da parede. Ah, ele é muito forte.
Tá ficando com medo agora? Você tentou e falhou. Você não foi o primeiro e não vai ser o último.
O líder veio correndo pra acabar comigo, mas eu consegui me esconder em outro canto.
Já chega de correr. Isso acaba agora.
Ele conseguiu me alcançar. Eu não tinha pra onde correr, mas de repente eu escutei uma explosão. Deixe suas mãos longe do meu garoto. A Maggie veio pulando no pátio, descendo um monte de balas do líder.
Essa mulher de novo, quem ela pensa que é?
Eu me apressei e corri pra me proteger enquanto eu vi Maggie trocar tiros com o líder. Eu engoli um pouco de comida e água pra poder voltar à luta o mais rápido possível. Assim que minha vida encheu, eu corri de volta pra luta. Foi quando eu escutei o clique inconfundível de um cartucho vazio. Quando eu encontrei eles, percebi que Maggie estava encurralada.
Parece que a velhinha ficou sem balas. Alguma última palavra?
Zozo, agora é com você.
A Maggie começou a avançar para atacar, mas ele derrubou ela. Maggie! Não! Primeiro John, agora a Maggie? Isso vai acabar agora mesmo. Com raiva, eu pulei do prédio e bati nele com meu facão. Eu bati nele com tanta força que ele não conseguia nem me acertar com os tiros. Eu joguei uma bomba de fumaça para esconder os meus rastros.
Cadê você?
Ele ficou meio confuso, então ataquei mais uma vez. É hora de acabar com isso. Você já era. Eu dei o golpe final e o líder desapareceu. Depois que ele sumiu, eu vi que ele dropou a minigun. É claro que eu peguei. Agora é minha vez de administrar o terreno. Nos dias 39 e 84, eu tirei um momento para refletir sobre Maggie e tudo o que ela fez por mim. Eu coloquei uma flor onde ela tinha morrido. Maggie foi uma das pessoas mais corajosas que conheci. E se não fosse por ela, eu não teria sobrevivido. Eu devo a ela encontrar o Finkel e salvar esse mundo. Eu dou minha palavra. Depois de um minuto de silêncio, eu saí para procurar coisas pela base. Tinha que ter alguma coisa que pudesse me ajudar. Ao verificar os baús, eu achei que eu estava procurando. Mapa pro boss. Agora eu vou conseguir atravessar o deserto e chegar até o Finkel. Muito feliz, eu voltei para minha van. Também peguei mais gasolina e pneus off-road. Eu precisava chegar lá rápido. Só mais uma paradinha na base para me preparar e devo ser capaz de acabar com isso para sempre. Nos dias 85 a 89, eu fui de volta pra base. Quando eu parei, o garotinho saiu correndo e abriu a garagem pra mim. Era bom vê-lo de novo. Eu não tinha muito tempo, então comecei a trabalhar para atualizar as armas. Eu comecei com o meu lançador. Eu atualizei usando um bloco de ferro. Depois eu peguei a minigun para que eu pudesse ter uma cadência de tiro ainda maior. O Finkel não vai nem ver o que atingiu. Com as armas atualizadas, eu segui para o meu carro. Usando a chave, eu tirei as rodas e substituí pelas rodas off-road que eu encontrei. Daqui a pouco essa coisa vira um veículo tático. O próximo passo era terminar a minha base. Se alguma coisa acontecesse comigo, eu tinha que ter certeza que as crianças iriam ficar bem. Primeiro, eu tinha que deixar tudo bem iluminado. Eu fui em cada cômodo, assim como ao redor melhor o terreno e montei um sistema de iluminação. Agora posso ligar a base inteira só com um interruptor. Antes de ir pro bunker, eu tinha mais um grande projeto pro exterior. A Meg era uma grande inspiração pra mim e sempre ajudou quando eu precisava. Eu fiz uma estátua para que pessoas por gerações possam se inspirar nela. Com a estátua pronta, eu fui para o bunker e construí uma porta de segurança. Então eu apressei e terminei o resto do interior. Eu finalmente terminei o bunker, incluindo o arsenal adequado e uma sala de construção. Agora vou atualizar a armadura. Peguei tudo o que precisava e comecei a atualizar a armadura. E usando esses materiais, eu consegui aumentar a durabilidade da armadura. Com tudo pronto, era hora de partir. Eu peguei minha mais nova armadura do suporte e saí. Nos dias 90 a 94, eu atravessei aquele deserto que parecia impossível. Os ventos eram muito fortes e de vez em quando havia enormes nuvens de poeira, o que deixava difícil de ver pra onde eu estava indo. Agora eu sei porque eles dizem que é impossível. Se eu não tivesse esse mapa, eu estaria perdido. Eu continuei avançando mesmo por um monte de trincheiras. Havia até piscinas de lava nas quais eu podia facilmente ter caído. Depois de viajar um pouco, eu pude ver um oásis ao longe. Perfeito, eu acho que eu vou desmaiar de insolação com todo esse equipamento que eu tô usando. Infelizmente, minha van não tem um ar-condicionado. Eu parei no oásis e tirei o capacete para dar um mergulho. Ah, sim, eu precisava disso. Eu acho que não falta muito. Eu tava de boa quando comecei a ouvir um barulho estranho. Eu saí da água e puxei minha arma. O que é isso? Parece estar cavando. O som continuou, até que de repente um velho de areia saiu do chão e me atacou. Uou, peraí! Eu comecei a atirar, mas ele voltou pro subsolo. Um pouco depois, ele saltou de novo. Ah, quase não dá pra acertar ele. Parecia que ele tava ficando maior. Ele ficava se escondendo, mas eu consegui acertar alguns tiros. Bom, agora já chega. Eu peguei a minigun. Quando o bicho apareceu, eu descarreguei o pente, acabando com ele. Chega de me arriscar. Eu vou dar o fora daqui. Nos dias 95 a 97, eu continuei pelo deserto na van e finalmente vi a torre aparecendo. Era uma torre realmente gigante em ruínas, mas no topo dava pra ver árvores. Árvores? Tem que ser aqui. Como que alguém ia ter árvores, exceto acumulando recursos? Tava na hora da ação. Eu corri por lá principal quando um grupo de invasores começou a atacar. Onde tá o Finkel? Os invasores eram implacáveis, se jogando no meu caminho, mas não eram pálidos para o meu poder de fogo. Eu fui até o elevador, eu tinha certeza que ele estava no último andar. Quando me aproximei dele, porém, eu pude ver que estava quebrado. Parece que nós vamos ter que pegar as escadas. Exercício sempre é bom. Eu corri para as escadas e subi a longa e sinuosa coluna. Depois do que parecia ser uma quantidade infinita de escadas, eu saltei para o chão de um escritório. Mas invasores estavam me esperando para emboscar. Vocês precisam de muito mais do que isso para me vencer. Ainda bem que eu tirei um tempinho para atualizar minhas armas e armaduras. Eu tomei vários tiros, mas nada muito ruim. Ao limpar uma sala dos invasores, eu vi que um deles dropou alguma coisa. Uau, olha só isso, lançador de foguetes. Agora eu fiquei animado. No dia 98, eu demorei um pouquinho para recuperar o fôlego antes de correr para a batalha final. Fazia quase 100 dias que eu não tinha uma vista como essa, então eu fui dar uma olhadinha. Esse mundo foi destruído, mas ainda há esperança lá fora. Enquanto houver boas pessoas apoiando a sua causa, é o seu dever recompensá-las com o que elas merecem. Hora de acabar com isso. No dia 99, finalmente cheguei ao topo da torre e vi alguém sentado em uma cadeira, com vista para o deserto. Finkel, acabou. Seus invasores estão mortos e você não tem pra onde ir. Você perdeu. Ele riu.
Zozo, não é? Sente-se. Não há necessidade de mais violência. Você já não sofreu bastante.
Ele era apenas um velho, porque as pessoas tinham medo dele. Talvez eu pudesse entrar em um acordo. Eu me sentei e disse, olha, tem muitas pessoas boas nesse mundo. Eu sei que de alguma forma podemos trabalhar juntos, sem mais nenhuma destruição. Ele parou por um tempo.
Você quer saber como consegui essa cicatriz? Eu costumava ser como você também. Acreditava que as pessoas podiam ficar juntas. Vivíamos em um mundo cheio de recursos naturais, o suficiente para que todos pudessem ficar bem felizes. Mas ficaram felizes? Não! As pessoas foram deixadas nas ruas para lutar por cada pedaço de comida. E é por isso, foi por isso que eu larguei aquela bomba.
Eu não podia acreditar. Finkel estava por trás da destruição desse mundo inteiro. Por que você fez isso? Havia outras opções. E olha pra você. Você não é melhor que as pessoas que você acabou destruindo, sabia? Você está certo, Zozo. Porque esse é o único jeito que as coisas devem ser. Então, por que não deveria ser eu que tomo? Porque eu não devo conseguir o que quero. Você perdeu a cabeça.
Eu vou te mostrar como consegui essa cicatriz. Vou te mostrar o preço que paguei por esse poder.
Ele apertou um botão no braço e começou a tremer. Uma explosão de luz e fumaça apareceu ao seu redor. Ele se transformou num gigante ciborgue mutante.
Lamento que você tenha viajado longe para morrer. Vou esmagá-lo como um inseto. Ninguém pode me parar, nem mesmo você. Você entendeu?
Ele começou a me atacar, e tudo que eu podia fazer era correr. Esse cara é maluco, eu tenho que dar um fora daqui. Enquanto me perseguia, ele atravessou as paredes. Tentei dar uns tiros, mas parecia que teve pouco efeito em sua pele metálica. Tudo que eu podia fazer era fugir. Eu tô ficando sem ter pra onde correr. Parece que teremos uma última batalha. No 100º dia, eu cheguei a uma grande sala aberta enquanto o Finkel subia as escadas atrás de mim. Eu tava preso.
É hora de aceitar seu destino, Zozo. Tenho os recursos, tenho o poder. Eu tenho seu amigo.
Meu amigo? Ele começou a dar uma risada mecânica meio louca.
John, não é? Ele está aqui, meu prisioneiro. Ele mantém as fazendas operando. Quem se importa? Você não verá ele mais.
Ele soltou um grande grito e deu um soco no chão. Isso fez um grupo de zumbis se levantar do chão e atacar, mas sem problemas. Eu sabia como lidar com isso. Eu mirei nos zumbis e comecei a atirar. Nada iria me distrair do meu objetivo principal. Ué, é só isso?
Não, eu vou te mostrar.
Ele começou a correr, tentando me esmagar com o seu corpo metálico. Eu peguei a minigun e descarreguei ela. Eu percebi que ele tomava mais dano quando eu acertava suas partes humanas. Você não é tão forte assim. Ele bateu com raiva no chão, tentando me atingir com ondas de choque. Ele conseguiu acertar alguns golpes, mas eu fiquei bem. Ao passarmos pelas janelas, eu tive uma ideia. Ei, bicho feio, aposto que você não vai conseguir me pegar. Ele me seguiu até a janela, mas eu consegui fazer a volta. Eu peguei meu lançador de granadas e disse pra ele: seu reinado acabou. Tenha um bom voo. O foguete explodiu bem perto dele e ele começou para trás da janela. Quando ele caiu, meus pensamentos voltaram para John. Ele estava aqui? Eu tinha que procurar. Ao olhar por cima da borda, eu vi que Finkel tinha sobrevivido à queda, mas ele estava bem ferido.
Você acha que pode matar uma máquina? Eu nunca vou ser parado. Nunca.
Foi então que eu escutei um rugido familiar e o Skylurker zumbi veio voando.
Não, você de novo não.
O dragão abriu sua boca e começou a derreter o Finkel com seu sopro de dragão. Depois de um tempo, ele se foi e o Skylurker foi para longe. Eu rapidamente me virei e subi as escadas. Eu tinha que encontrar John. Ao chegar ao topo da torre, eu comecei a procurar por toda parte. E finalmente eu consegui achar ele.
John!
Zozo,
é você? A gente se cumprimentou e ficamos muito felizes.
Vamos, amigo, vamos pegar essa água doce e levar para o nosso povo e reconstruir o nosso mundo.
Carregamos água no meu trailer e partimos para o deserto, de volta para a base. O mundo estava um pouquinho mais seguro, mas esse era um deserto nuclear, não é? Quem sabe qual o próximo problema que teríamos?
On day 1, I spawned in as a normal guy. No, wait, I'm a Navy SEAL. Awesome, I'm a trained warrior. But wait, what's this? I looked closer and saw I barely had any hearts and no armor. I was just a recruit. It looks like I haven't even been trusted with a weapon. Bummer. I guess I better take a look around and see what I can find. I took a peek around the deck and saw that the ship was pretty empty. This was a huge ship. It was kind of eerie, nothing seemed to be going on. And as I looked around, I noticed there wasn't any land nearby either. What do I do now? Well, I'm a Navy SEAL. I should know how to swim, right? I walked over to the edge of the ship and jumped into the water. I swam around the anchor for a bit, but didn't see anything else around. Suddenly, I heard some movement in the water behind me, and I was attacked by a shark. Shiver me timbers, it's a great white! The shark bit at my ankles as I furiously swam toward the anchor. I grabbed onto the chain and clambered up, as the shark snapped furiously below. Soon, I reached the top deck. Yikes, I guess I'll be staying out of the water for the time being. Sometime later, the sun was beginning to set. As I watched the sunset, there was suddenly a huge explosion. Whoa, what was that? I headed off in the direction of the blast. As I moved across the ship, I saw there was a huge hole blown in the top of the deck. As I got closer, I saw it was filled with zombies. Who attacked? There were zombies on this ship? Things just got interesting. The zombies were determined to eat my brains, but I was actually well trained in hand-to-hand combat, so I managed to fight them off. One of them also had dropped a stone sword, which I made quick use of. As the last zombie disappeared, I noticed it had dropped something. What's this? It looks like a flashlight. I can use this to navigate the inside of the ship. I settled myself down for the night and couldn't help but think, where did all the zombies come from? Did they used to be SEALs too? On day 2, I felt like I had no choice but to start exploring the hole left behind from the explosion. I didn't love the idea of going into a hole that was full of zombies before, but what other choice did I have? It's pretty dark down here. I better use that flashlight. The flashlight let out a little bit of light, and I set off into the darkness. As I walked the corridors, I couldn't help but get the feeling something was watching me. What's that? I looked toward one of the doors. I could have sworn I saw something. This place is giving me the creeps. I kept moving through the maze of tunnels when I heard a squeaking up ahead. Okay, I definitely heard something that time. I got a little closer and was attacked by a bunch of rats. These were no ordinary rats, though. Their flesh was rotted and their eyes glowed with a red hue. I quickly took them out. I've got a bad feeling about this. I continued down the hallway, but could hear another sound up ahead. It sounded like some heavy thuds. Maybe some kind of machinery? I kept going when suddenly the source of the noise came into the light. It was a giant zombie. Uh-oh. The zombie hit me as I ran away. There's no way I could take this guy on. Just ahead, there were some open doors, and I quickly ran inside. As the zombie chased me, he ran into the wall, smacking his head. This is the exact situation where a brain comes in handy. He let out a low groan and stumbled away from me. That's when I noticed he dropped something. I picked it up. Whoa, night vision goggles. These could not have come at a better time. I was getting really tired of being surprised in the dark. After I put them on, the whole ship was lit up. Nothing is gonna sneak up on me now. On day 3, the zombie threat had left, so I decided to do some more exploring. My new night vision goggles had made things much easier. As I ran through the hallways, I tried to open different doors, but everything was locked. This is gonna be a tough 100 days if I can't get into anything. I continued through the maze until finally I found a door that was open. When I entered the room, I saw it was full of storage. Amazing, I hope I can find some good loot in here. I began rummaging through the boxes and saw that there were a ton of building supplies. I kept looking and soon came across a whole stash of food. I can't believe my luck. All this food looks good to eat too. I stuffed my pockets full. Who knows if there was any other food aboard. I managed to find another container full as well. Soon I had gone through all of the boxes except for one big one. I jumped up and was surprised to see what was inside. Hey, who are you?
You're not a zombie.
No, and neither are you. Who are you?
My name is Marcus, but my friends call me Switchblade. Well, they used to call me that, I suppose.
Yeah, what's going on around here?
All I know is there was some kind of zombie infection that spread through the whole ship. I got separated from another group of sailors who were headed for the wrecks. They might still be alive.
We decided we would go look for more survivors, but first, we needed to get to the flight deck and regroup. On days 4 to 5, Switchblade and I had made it back to the top of the ship. Using the materials I had gathered in the supply room, I started putting together a simple base. Nowhere on the base was 100% safe, but at least here, we could be near the edge, and we knew zombies wouldn't be able to attack during the day. Once the tent was set up, I got to work on the inside, filling it with all of the crafting tables we'd need, along with some beds for us to sleep in for the night. As a final safety measure, I put up a fence across the ship, so that even at night, zombies wouldn't be able to sneak up on us. When it was all done, Switchblade came and took a look.
Nice work, Zozo. This base is top-notch.
With the base complete, I headed over to the crafting table and made a set of stone tools. I couldn't get through any of the doors, but maybe with some tools I could just break through the walls. With my new set of stone tools, I headed over to the ship wall and tried swinging my pickaxe. Not even a dent. I tried a few surfaces, but no luck. At the very least, I now had some tools in case of an emergency. That night, I headed outside with my goggles on to see if the zombies would give us any issues. Looks like they're keeping their distance. This should be a safe place for us to work out of. On days 6 to 8, Switchblade met me inside the tent to discuss our next move.
Well, it's not the most detailed map, but take a look at this.
Switchblade threw the map up on the wall. He was right. It's a good thing you chose the military and not art school.
This should give you an idea of how to get to the bunk area, where I believe the other sailors had headed. There's no guarantee anyone is there, but more sailors is an invaluable asset at this juncture.
I agreed, and so I headed out of the tent and into the hole. Using Switchblade's map as a guide, I made my way down a corridor I didn't notice before. By following that, I came across a staircase that took me even deeper into the ship. I can't help but have a sinking feeling about this. I reached the bottom and started moving ahead through the darkness. I could hear some shuffling up ahead. There was a small group of cave spiders. Spiders, 12 o'clock. I charged forward with my sword in hand and started hacking away. The spiders managed to land a few hits, but it wasn't anything I couldn't handle. Soon enough, the small group was all destroyed. Time to get to those sailors. I pushed just a little farther ahead and came across the door. I tried to push it open, but it didn't budge. I had no idea if zombies were nearby, so I gave the door a small tap. Psst. Hey, is anyone in there? No response. Maybe I was being too quiet. I raised my voice a little more. Can anyone hear me? Do you copy? Is there anyone inside? This time I thought I heard a little bit of movement inside, but nobody was responding. Looks like I've only got one more option. I started banging on the door. Hey, wake up! Your buddy Switchblade sent me. The door flew open.
Man, have you lost your mind? Don't you know there's zombies around?
I was trying to be quiet, but no one was answering.
We thought you were a zombie trying to sniff us out. You wouldn't have been the first, you know.
I get that. I'm sorry. So, who are you guys?
We're from Switchblade's crew. I'm actually the first mate on the ship. I suppose I'm the acting commander of the ship as well.
If you're the acting commander, that means something must have happened to the captain. I'm sorry for your loss.
I am too, although I don't know if I would call it a loss. The captain is technically still alive, if you know what I mean.
You mean he's a zombie?
Yeah. Before this all happened, we spotted a mysterious island offshore. The captain went to explore and returned with this mysterious artifact. That very night, the zombie outbreak occurred, and we ran down here.
That's awful. Well, maybe we can figure out how to stop everything. Do you have any more information about the captain that could help?
Yes, well, he is a zombie. He's not quite as far gone as the rest of them. In fact, I think the secret is...
Well, before he could share that secret, a zombie appeared over his shoulder and killed him. We had forgotten to lock the door. Oh no! Everyone get behind me! A zombie horde came pouring into the room, and I did my best to fight them off with my sword. The remaining crew members shouted in fear as the zombies kept trying to rip us to pieces. Luckily, I was getting pretty good at fighting these guys, and I was able to take them all out. We better hurry and get out of here, guys. There could be more on the way. We took off running and headed back up towards the base. On days 9 through 10, I emerged from the boat with the 2 sailors. We were all still processing the loss of the first mate, but we had to focus on our own safety. I wonder what the first mate was going to tell us. We soon arrived back at the base, and I got right to work building them a tent of their own. They had mentioned having a background in medicine, so I decided to set them up in their own medical tent. We didn't have too much in medical supplies yet, but seeing the base double in size was giving me hope. We all felt like we could use a little bit of hope, so I offered to make a statue that could serve as inspiration to us all. There was a certain Navy SEAL I had read about that I found particularly inspiring. The interesting thing about him was that he wasn't from the past, he was actually from the future. After a bit, I was running low on supplies, so I stopped for the time being. Any guesses on who you think I'm building? Let me know in the comments. On days 11 to 13, I awoke to a strange noise. Is that barking? Something doesn't sound quite right about it. Down in the water, I could see a seal, and it was being chased by the shark from earlier.
Can someone give me a hand down here?
The seal can talk. That's interesting. Let's see if I've got anything that can help. I ran back to my tent and opened up one of the crates. Inside was a collection of rocks. I grabbed a handful and ran back over to the edge of the boat. Hey shark, suck on this. I started chucking rocks down into the water and managed to hit the shark a few times. He kept chasing the seal around, but I could tell it was bothering him. Eventually, it was enough to let the seal get away. Hey, climb on up. The seal swam up to the anchor and ascended the chain. When he reached the top, he plopped down in exhaustion.
Oh, thank you. You really saved my life.
No problem. I've got to look after my fellow seals after all.
Oh, because you're also a seal. I get it.
Why was that shark chasing you anyway?
I have no idea. He's hungry, I guess. But have you seen what's going on under your ship? There's something down there that I think would blow your mind.
What do you mean?
There's this massive rocky column coming out of the earth and into your ship. I've never seen anything like it before. You should go down there and take a look.
I'd love to, but I don't think I can just do that. I'm gonna need some scuba equipment to get down there.
Suit yourself.
I headed over to the other sailors and let them know what I had learned. They were just as confused as I was, but let me know there was an equipment room back down on the ship that should have the scuba gear I'm looking for. They also gave me a stash of iron they had collected. Thanks guys, this will be helpful for sure. I headed over to the crafting table and put together a new set of iron armor. I also took some time to make an iron sword. If I was heading back into the boat, I needed all the help I could get. On days 14 to 15, I took my new gear and headed back down into the ship. I always had a pit in my stomach when I went down here, but there's no way I'd be able to survive out here without searching for answers. After a little bit of exploring, I could hear something up ahead. More spiders! Disgusting! I leapt into battle with my new iron sword and started hacking and slashing. With each kill, the spider shriveled and faded away. As I cut my way through the spiders, I noticed there was a group of zombie rats watching too. Come and get some! The spiders had all been destroyed, but I guess the rats were feeling a little intimidated. They all ran away in fear. Yeah, that's what I thought. I pushed forward through the dark tunnels and eventually reached the dive room. Awesome! Now I can snag some scuba gear. I opened the door and saw the giant mutant zombie from earlier was inside. What the heck? How did you get in here? The zombie wasted no time attacking me. The rope was on him though. This time, I was prepared. How do you like me now? I bobbed and weaved as he tried to hit me with shockwaves and pound me into the ground. I was doing well, but this guy packed a punch. I still only had 5 hearts. My new gear and experience was still too much for him though, and I came out victorious. Not so tough anymore, are you? With the adrenaline still pumping through my veins, I felt an extra surge of energy and was promoted to the rank of Seaman. And check it out, now I have 10 hearts. Feeling stronger than ever, I took a look around the room. Hanging up was a full scuba suit, so I grabbed each piece and placed it in my inventory. Then I saw something laying in the corner of the room. Awesome, a harpoon gun! Now I can protect myself from any underwater threats I come across. I checked the nearby crates and saw they were full of harpoons. I gathered them all up and headed back up to the flight deck. On day 16 to 19, I had arrived back on the flight deck, and I noticed that the seal was still there. Hey, how's it going?
To be honest, not great. That shark is still down there, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get away from him. I was hoping I could stay here for a bit.
Yeah, that should be fine. But you do know this ship is infested with zombies, right?
I'll take zombies over sharks any day.
Okay, but what about water? Don't you need it? At least a little bit?
I do. I was hoping you might have an idea about that.
You know what? I think I do. Hang tight and let me get something set up. I grabbed some building supplies and started working on a tent for the seal to stay in. Once I got the outside set up, I got to work making him a tank to live in. This way he'll have some water he can easily access, even though he's not in the ocean. Once that was finished, I headed over to do some more work on the statue. I managed to get a decent amount done, but still had a long way to go. There was certainly a good shape taking place, but can you tell what it is yet? On days 20 to 22, I headed into my tent to get geared up. I grabbed my scuba gear off the armor rack and put it on. Then I opened up the nearby crate and took out my harpoon gun and harpoons. I know that shark is still out there, so I have to take him down before I can even start looking at that column the seal mentioned. But before I jump in, could you help me out? Over 40,000 of you have joined the Zozo Navy, and we'd love to have even more join up with us for even bigger adventures. So hit the subscribe button and let's do this. I put on my scuba helmet and got ready to jump over the edge of the boat. Here goes nothing. On days 23 to 26, I got a running start and leapt off the side of the boat, landing in the ocean below. Alright, let's find this shark and take him out. With my harpoon gun in hand, I swam out from the boat, scanning the scenery for a glimpse of the aquatic monster. I swam and swam, but nothing. Maybe the shark left after all. I don't see any sign of him anywhere. Just when I was starting to feel safe, the shark snuck up and bit me. Ouch! You're gonna pay for that. I took aim with my harpoon gun and fired. I was able to hit him, but he showed no signs of slowing his attack. Oh man, I'm really starting to feel out of my element down here. Our fight was intense. I kept firing my harpoons as the shark kept trying to take chunks out of my arm. Our fight had moved under the boat when suddenly the shark got a hold of me and started pulling me deeper and deeper. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. As the shark pulled me deeper and deeper, I hit him with harpoons. I managed to get several hits in, but suddenly I heard a hissing noise as one of his teeth punctured the oxygen flow to my helmet. I'm too deep to go without oxygen. What am I gonna do? I had an idea. If I could time this right, I could ignite the oxygen coming from my helmet and use it like a grenade. Catch this! I threw my helmet and it exploded on impact, killing the shark. There was no time to celebrate though. I couldn't hold my breath forever. I looked around and saw a cave nearby. Maybe there's an air pocket. I swam as my oxygen levels continued to drop, bursting through the wall of water onto dry ground. Phew, that was way too close. But what am I supposed to do now? On days 27 to 29, I decided my only option was to head deeper into the cave and see what I could find. What I saw next was totally unexpected. Is that an octopus? Sitting at the bottom of the cave was a giant octopus. As I got closer, he started talking to me.
Hello there. I can't help but think you're a little lost.
That's one way of putting it. Do you know a way back up to the surface?
There's only one way, which is back the way you came. But breathing is the problem, right? All you need is a scuba mask I have. It will give you all the oxygen you need.
Great. So, can I have it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Are you going to give it to me?
I will, if you help me first.
You should have just said that in the first place. What can I do to help?
My wife was kidnapped by a horrible giant squid, and I need someone to rescue her. He's hiding out in a sunken pirate ship. I need you to take him out, but don't ask him any questions. He will try to trick you.
Okay, I can probably manage that, except for one big problem.
Oh, what's that?
I can't breathe underwater.
Oh, yes, that's simple. As you swim toward the ship, you'll see some clams lying along the seafloor. Give them a knock with your fist, and they'll let out oxygen bubbles, allowing you to breathe.
I really hope you're right about that. I started making my way out of the cave, but stopped to mine all of the various ores. That way I'd have more supplies for later. Once I had collected as much as I could, I left the cave and started swimming in the direction of the pirate ship. As my oxygen levels started to run low, I swam up to a clam and gave it a tap. Sure enough, a stream of bubbles came out. Okay, looks like he was right. They didn't teach me that one in SEAL training. As I was starting to swim away though, I felt something brush along my back. It was a school of piranhas. Get your teethy grins away from me. I was so distracted by the fight, I nearly ran out of oxygen and drowned. Luckily, I was able to hit the clam before it was too late. At long last, I managed to fillet the rest of the fish. That was exhausting and it's getting late. I should try and find a cave to rest in. I swam a little further and soon saw a cave along the seafloor. I swam in and saw it had a nice pocket of air. The cave was also full of resources, so I made sure to grab those before settling in for the night. On days 30 to 35, I left the cave and continued to search for the pirate ship, grabbing oxygen from clams along the way. I soon found myself in a colorful coral reef, and eventually saw the pirate ship lodged in the middle. I swam up to the ship and started to take a look around. As far as I could tell, the ship looked deserted. Might as well check the chests for anything good. I opened the crates and found some gold and gunpowder. One of the crates even had an enchanted infinity book inside. Just then, I saw something moving on the other side of the boat. It was the giant squid.
Get away from my ship.
Oh, someone thinks they're a real tough guy. I swam over to the squid as he hit me with his tentacles, knocking me back. Why'd you kidnap an innocent octopus's wife? The giant squid stopped fighting.
Kidnap? Innocent? Wait a second, I think you have the wrong idea.
The octopus told me you would try to trick me. Nothing you say can change my mind. Just then, the octopus's wife popped up.
Wait, hear us out. My ex-husband was lying to you.
Okay, this was definitely a plot twist. What was going on? First things first though, I had nearly run out of oxygen. I quickly punched a clam as the octopus's wife began to explain.
My ex-husband was so evil. He was mean and killed humans for fun. That's where he got that scuba mask he has. My squid friend here helped me to escape.
Friend? I mean, yeah, we're friends, but Molly, I thought it was more than that.
Not now, Jerry. Look, let's all head back. I think together we can teach Chad a lesson.
His name is Chad? Say no more. Let's go. Without delay, we all took off for Chad's cave. We soon arrived after a bit of swimming. I'll go in there and draw him out. Then you guys can do your thing. I made my way back inside the cave and talked to Chad. Good news, your wife is just outside and is waiting for you.
Oh, goody. Well done, well done.
I sure hope that nasty squid didn't give you much trouble.
As we swam out of the cave, Jerry was waiting for him.
You've messed with her for the last time. Oh, you're still alive? Don't hurt me.
I watched as Jerry smacked the octopus and swam away. The guy was squirting ink all over the place. How embarrassing. As those two swam off, Molly headed inside the cave and grabbed the scuba mask out of the chest.
Here you go, Zozo. I think you've earned this.
She tossed out the mask, which I quickly grabbed and put on. Just in time, too. I was nearly out of oxygen. Thanks, Molly. You guys take it easy down here. On days 36 to 40, I was planning on heading up to the surface, but took a moment to check out the column attached to the ship. This column doesn't look like something the ship ran into. It looks like the column grew and ran into the ship. Something fishy was definitely going on, but I needed to get back up to the ship to talk to the crew. As I climbed aboard, I saw the base was under attack. The sun hasn't set yet. How are zombies attacking now? As I got closer though, I saw these weren't zombies at all. They were some kind of aquatic humanoid monsters. They were much stronger than the zombies too. Look, you guys stink. But more importantly, where did you come from? I was able to keep myself from taking too much damage and noticed that some of them had dropped sapphires. But at long last, the monsters were all defeated. I went and took a closer look at the fence and saw they had broken right through. Looks like we've got some work to do. But before then, I had to get out of the scuba suit. I hung the suit back up and stashed the loot I had found at the base. The next day had rolled around and I decided to upgrade my gear, just in case the monsters tried to attack again. I quickly smelted down all the iron I collected, then used that iron to make an anvil. I placed the anvil down, then used the infinity enchantment I had found to enchant my harpoon gun. Now I'll have unlimited ammo. Next up, I had an idea for what I wanted to make with the sapphires the monsters had dropped. I grabbed a hammer and used it to shape the sapphires into a blade. With my gear upgraded, I headed over to talk to Switchblade about how things had been going, and fill him in on what I had discovered.
It's been rough, to be honest. We had been fighting off wave after wave of monsters. It's a good thing you showed up when you did, because we didn't think we were going to make it.
I'm just glad everyone is okay. So what are you thinking for our next move? Switchblade led me outside.
Well, as you can see, they were able to break right through our wooden fence. Our best bet is to upgrade the wall, and we'll do well to get a proper HQ set up.
Sounds like a plan. Let's gather some supplies and get right to it. On days 41 to 43, we had finished gathering the supplies we needed, so I started by tearing down one of the old planes on the deck. The new fence was going to be a bit bigger, so we'd need a little bit of extra room. The plane was soon cleared, and I got to work building a metal security fence across the deck. In addition to the fence, I also put up a guard tower so we could have some leverage on any attacking monsters. They would have a heck of a time getting through this. After I finished the fence, I got to work on the headquarters. Having a sturdy building to store and plan from was going to be much more reliable than something a horde of zombies could tear through in a matter of minutes. Once the exterior was complete, I went ahead and filled the inside with everything we were going to need. I decided to get to work on the next part of the statue. I only had a little bit of materials on hand, so I just did a little bit of work on the one side. Just as I was finishing up, I heard a loud crash outside. What in the world was that? I ran outside and took a look over the edge of the ship. A submarine had crashed into the side of the boat. Where did this come from? As I was looking down, the sub's hatch opened and a dazed officer stuck their head out. "Hello down there. Can we help you?" She looked around confused.
I think so?
She didn't seem like she was alright, so I quickly jumped off the side of the boat, swam over to the sub, and climbed aboard next to her. Where did you come from?
Hi there. Sorry, I'm a little frazzled. My name is Alice. I've been tracking this ship for weeks without rest. Funny enough, it wasn't until I fell asleep that I finally found it.
Well, here, let's get on board and we can chat more. We jumped into the water and climbed up the boat. Once we were on the deck, we continued our conversation. So why were you tracking the ship?
Some time ago, I was searching for an ancient artifact, the same one that the captain of the ship came into contact with recently. He beat me to it, but I don't think he understood what it was. I've been desperately trying to find this ship. Not because the artifact is valuable, which it is, but because we need to destroy it, and I'm the only one who knows how to do that.
Yeah, you're telling me. That artifact seems to be the source of all the problems here. We're more than happy to try and destroy it. Just then, the seal flopped over.
Zozo, something about this all seems off to me.
What do you know? You're just a seal. I'm a trained submariner.
Yeah, a trained submariner who just crashed their sub.
Okay, you two, calm down. Look, we know there's something weird going on, and this could be a shot to fix it, or at least end it. What do we know about the artifact?
Well, the captain probably has it near him, up in the control tower, so we should focus on getting to that.
Okay, sounds good. The doors are all locked, but maybe the other sailors know a way around that. I headed over to talk to the sailors. There was good news. There was actually a master key to the entire ship. The bad news, though, was that the key was most likely in the armory, deep in the belly of the boat. Well, I figured I'd have to go back in there at some point. We'll get this done. On days 44 to 49, I headed back down into the ship. As I navigated the curving passageways, I could hear the shuffling of feet ahead of me. Here we go. The zombies came sprinting around the corner, but they were no match for my new sapphire sword. I was able to pretty quickly overpower these guys, but how would it hold up against a group of those monsters? With the zombies out of the way, I headed deeper still into the ship. Soon I found myself in a room full of different internal mechanisms. I could hear something in the room ahead. Sounds like more zombies, but something is different. I poked my head through the doorway and could see one of those monsters leading a group of zombies around. Is he commanding them? I very quickly found the answer to that question because the monster caught sight of me, let out a growl, and all the zombies charged. Don't listen to him, he's the mean one, not me. I tried to get at the monster, but the zombies moved almost like they were protecting me. I had no choice but to fight them off first. Get back, you flesh heads! Soon enough, the zombies were all destroyed, and I was able to engage the monster. He was strong, but he couldn't do much all by himself. Soon enough, he was taken down too. A familiar rush of adrenaline came pouring in, and I could feel myself getting stronger. I suddenly gained 4 more hearts and was promoted to a petty officer. More health and strength. Nice! On days 50 to 53, I kept making my way to the armory. Soon, I could see the door, but outside of it was another one of those monsters. It was walking down the hallway behind a larger group. What are these guys doing? I should follow them and see where they're headed. I should probably give these guys a name too. I'll call them blobs. These blobs certainly seemed to have some level of intelligence. They weren't like the zombies who would mindlessly attack anyone nearby. The blobs seemed to be up to something. I followed them through the winding hallways and even had some close calls. I think they may have suspected they were being followed, as I had to duck into a side room to avoid being detected at times. Feels like we've gone down several floors. We've got to be close to the bottom of the ship at this point. Soon enough, I followed them into a room and couldn't believe what I was seeing. There were several blobs roaming around, but more concerning were the cages hanging from the ceiling. There's sailors in some of those cages, but something is turning them into zombies. That something must have had to do with what I saw on the ground. There was a massive hole with pink goo dripping into it. This must be where the column meets the ship. So the column must be hollow. It's a tunnel of some sort. Before I could get any closer though, one of the blobs noticed me and attacked. I managed to fight him off, but could see I had all of their attention now. I don't know what's going on here, but I don't want to end up in one of those cages. I booked it out of there. On days 54 to 57, I was running for my life. The blobs were hot on my tail, but I was starting to put distance between us. I'm not going to be your next experiment. I was a pretty speedy guy and was able to get away. Oh, what was I doing again? Oh yeah, the armory. Soon enough, I found my way back to the armory and headed inside. Oh man, why did they tell me about this place before? The armory was full of all kinds of good stuff. I walked up to the center table and took a look at everything. Glittering in the middle of the table was a brand new shotgun. Oh, now we're packing. The blobs won't want to meet me around a dark corner. The next thing I picked up was the master key. Now I'll be able to get into any part of the ship. I checked out some of the crates and managed to scrounge up some ammo for the shotgun. Then I took a look at the armor hanging up. Is this special ops gear? It is! I pulled it off the rack and put it on. With everything equipped, I saw that my armor was maxed out. Oh yeah, now I'm ready for a fight. After I had grabbed everything else I could, I headed out back to the flight deck. On days 58 to 62, I arrived back on the flight deck and went to talk to the SEAL about everything I had seen. Hey bud, you'll never guess what I found down there.
Oh no, don't tell me. More monsters?
Even worse, that column you saw is a tunnel of some kind, and they're turning the sailors into zombies. Just then, Alice walked up.
They're probably just summoning an ancient god.
Ancient god? What?
Oh yes, the ancient artifact is like a beacon that calls to the disciples of the god Akuno to begin preparing for his arrival.
You can't be serious.
Oh, I am. By harvesting the souls of men, they give him the power to travel from his prison below, up and into our world. It's incredible.
Incredible? Don't you mean horrible?
Yes, it's horrible. By incredible, I just mean, like, insane.
How do you know all of this, anyway?
Oh, I read about it in a book. I'm a very learned explorer.
Right. I was going to have to keep my eye on Alice, but in the meantime, I thought it'd be best to get to work on the statue. If we couldn't stop Akuno from coming to this world, at least there'd be an intimidating statue he'll have to look at. Yeah, I'm not feeling too good about it at all, but at least the next phase of the statue was complete. On days 63 to 66, I decided to dive into the water and try and get more supplies for the statue. I swam deep and saw just what I was looking for. Perfect, I'll just collect these and be on my way. I took out my pickaxe and quickly mined up everything I was going to need. It was hard work mining underwater, but having a mask that let me breathe made everything much easier. Speaking of which, I should check in on Molly and Jerry. Maybe they noticed anything with the tunnel. As I swam near the cave, Jerry came swimming over and Molly came out to greet me. Hey guys, I was just checking in. Have you noticed anything weird about the tunnel over there?
We were hoping you'd come by. We've been noticing some strange vibrations coming out of it. What's going on?
Well, it's bad news, unfortunately. Apparently, there's an ancient god ritual in the works. There's an ancient artifact that we need to destroy to stop it, but I have no idea what I'm going to be up against.
I think I know something that could help, actually. The pirate ship we were living in before had remnants of something that looked very similar to the tunnel here. I think it may have had something to do with why the boat sunk.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, and there were some books buried in the crates. I can't read, but maybe they will contain some helpful information.
That's an awesome tip. I'll go take a look. I took off in the direction of the ship and arrived soon after. Before I head in there though, have you hit the sub button yet? The more subs we have, the stronger our navy will be. On days 67 to 70, I swam down into the pirate ship and decided to take a look around. I grabbed some gold and gunpowder from the crates before opening a crate that contained the captain's journal. I opened it up and started to read. Day 75. We spotted an island full of zombies.
We lost a lot of men fighting on this island, but it was worth it, I think.
This captain's crew had to fight zombies too. They must have been near the artifact. I'll keep reading.
We found this strange, mysterious book.
Oh, so the artifact must be a book.
I'm not comfortable holding it, so I gave it to one of my mates.
I couldn't believe what I was reading. But why did their boat sink? Did the blobs attack them too? I read on.
Day 78. There is a submarine behind us. We're under attack, taking on water.
A submarine took them out, and I've got a sneaking suspicion I know who was driving it. I better get back to the ship. Alice knows more than she's letting us think. I swam out of the ship, but before I could get anywhere, I was attacked by Chad.
I'll make you pay for tricking me.
Tricking you? It's not my fault you're a jerk. Chad was surprisingly strong, but he didn't know I had gotten stronger too. Jerry should have finished you when he had the chance. I swung my sword and finished him off. He wasn't gonna be bugging anyone now. On day 71 to 74, I returned back to the ship and climbed back up on board. As I climbed aboard, Alice came running up to me.
You're back. I'm so happy to see you're okay. Did you find anything interesting?
I wanted to confront her about everything, but we didn't know what she was trying to do. There was still a chance her intentions were good, even if she took down a ship. No, unfortunately, I didn't find anything. Looks like our best bet is to try and confront the captain.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear it. Best of luck fighting the captain. Just remember, grab the artifact and bring it to me, so I can destroy it.
I headed over to the command tower and unlocked the door with the master key. As I entered the tower, I was immediately attacked by a group of blobs. These guys have been here so close to our base. I had no idea. Using my shotgun, I was able to mow them down pretty quick. They didn't stand a chance against a ranged weapon. I then made my way to the next level and was met by another pack of blobs. It was a tight space, so they managed to get some hits in, but by using the table, I was able to get a little bit of space and finish them off. That was a close one. Now to find the captain. Maybe these guys were just holding him prisoner. On day 75 to 78, I reached the top floor and saw the captain looking out over the base. There was a strange glow about him, but he looked okay. Captain, I'm here to rescue... Oh no. The captain had turned around, and I could see he was mutating like the other sailors. The glow must have been coming from the artifact.
Akuno will return. Akuno is master. Akuno will rule this world.
Captain, you've got to break free. We can stop him. The captain was too far gone. He wasn't hearing a word I was saying.
Akuno requires your soul.
Just then, the captain pulled his gun and started firing. No, I don't want to fight you. I didn't have a choice. If I didn't fight, he would kill me and use me to attack all my friends. The captain was a good shot, but I was a trained SEAL. Sorry, but this is gonna hurt. I noticed that the captain had started throwing some kind of energy ball at me. It must be a power he got from Akuno. We can't allow this kind of dark magic in our world. Hang on to your hat. I'm sending you to the underworld. I took aim and blasted my shotgun one final time, sending the captain to oblivion. After he disappeared, I saw a book laying on the ground. It had to be the artifact, the Necronomicon. Now that just sounds evil. I'm not opening this thing. I can't risk getting sucked into all this madness. Let's see if Alice can actually destroy this thing, or if she's up to something else entirely. On day 79 to 84, I made my way down the tower and headed into the HQ building to meet with Alice. She could barely contain her excitement when she saw me walking up.
Zozo, you must have it. I can feel its energy. Quickly, give it to me.
Hang on a second. I can't give this to you until you explain to me exactly how you plan to destroy it.
Don't worry about that. Just give me the book.
Suddenly, a glow appeared around Alice. She was possessed by the book too. Alice leapt forward and tried to grab the book from me. Alice, get a hold of yourself. This book will destroy the world.
Akuno promised me power to protect his book. I won't let you stop me.
Looks like she was pretty determined, but the seal and I were ready. Pull it! The seal flipped a switch on the wall, which dropped a cage on Alice, trapping her inside. Now listen, you're gonna have to stay here until we can figure out how to destroy this thing.
You'll never destroy it. The only thing that can destroy it is Akuno himself. You'll never win.
Akuno himself? I ran outside to chat with the seal. Well, it's not looking good. I think the only option is to enter the tunnel and find this Akuno. I'll have to try and trick him into destroying the book somehow. It looks like it's our only option. The seal agreed. On days 85 to 89, I started tearing down the security fence so I could replace it with an even better one. If I failed in my mission, it meant Akuno was headed for this world, and my friends were going to need a fighting chance. After a bit, the new fence was finished. I also needed to finish the statue, so I dove off the ship to go and mine out the remaining supplies I would need. I swam to the bottom and found a deposit of materials I could use. I mined them out, then brought them back to the ship. Then I headed into my camp to grab some supplies to upgrade my weapons. First, I crafted a workbench and set that down. Then, by using the workbench, I crafted some additional shells for my shotgun. To finish up, I then crafted a stock for it as well. Well, I'm about as powered up as I can be. Now I just need to finish that statue, and we'll be on our way. On days 90 to 94, I got started on the last section of the statue. By now, I'm sure you can tell who it is. So, what do you think? Did you guess it correctly? He's a big hero of mine, and hopefully he can inspire the next batch of recruits. With the statue complete, I headed down to have a quick chat with the SEAL. Hey buddy, I just wanted to say thanks for all your help. And here's something to show my appreciation. You're an honorary Navy SEAL too. On days 95 to 97, I headed out of the base, through the security tower, and made my way toward the hole. This could be the last time I ever see the light of day. I descended into the boat and started making my way through the ship corridors, and was immediately attacked by zombies and blobs. Whoa, these guys were ready for me. Kuno must know I'm coming for him. By using the shotgun, I blasted my way through the first level of the boat. I was having some close calls, but managed to get through relatively unharmed. These poor sailors, I don't want to hurt them, but they give me no choice. I continued down to the next level and started facing off against some more blobs. Be gone, fish face! These monsters were something I could never get used to. I had to banish them from this world. Soon I had managed the lowest level of the ship and was getting close to the tunnel room. As I approached, I saw another blob.
You die.
He was bigger than the others and had a strong glow around him. He must be their leader. By using my sapphire sword, I managed to get some hits in, but he was hitting back too. Oof, yeah, this guy is way more powerful than the other ones. He was using a trident that was stronger than anything I had faced yet. It might be time to try something new. I pulled out my shotgun and worked on creating some distance between us, but it was difficult in the tight space. Get a load of this. I kept firing away, and finally all of the zombies were gone. I kept on him until at long last, he was defeated. As he disappeared, I got that familiar surge of adrenaline and grew in size. And check it out, now I have 20 hearts. Feeling better than ever, I entered the room and was immediately swarmed. I started fighting off all of the enemies, but there was a lot of them. I had no choice but to hurry and jump into the hole. Here goes nothing. I jumped into the hole, falling for what felt like forever. But eventually I hit the ground with a thud and blacked out. On day 98, I woke up laying at the bottom of the hole. Oh, that didn't feel so good. Where am I? I took in my surroundings and saw I had fallen into some kind of deep cavern. Just ahead, there is a portal. That must take me to a Kuno. I don't like the look of that, but I know that with support from you and my friends, we can do anything. I took a deep breath and ran headfirst into the portal. On day 99, I appeared in what looked to be an entirely different dimension. Whoa, this place is insane. It's almost like I'm underwater, but I'm not. Up ahead of me, I could see a huge otherworldly temple. That had to be where a Kuno lived. With my gun in hand, I ran forward into the temple. As I ran into the building, I could see a Kuno waiting for me. A Kuno! You thought you could come to my world and destroy everyone, but instead it's me coming to yours to destroy you. A Kuno didn't seem surprised at all.
Catch me off guard, did you? Please, you've been a pawn in my plan this entire time, just like all the other foolish humans.
What did he mean, a pawn?
That book can allow me to influence anyone who reads it, but I can't travel to your dimension without it. And now you've brought it straight to me. Just in time, too. I understand my minions have nearly completed preparing an army for me.
Why are you doing this? What good does destroying another world do for you?
I command this world, but for what? Not a soul roams here, and I'm kept bound by the limitations of this flesh. A human soul gives me freedom I can't get elsewhere. So I will take the souls of Earth, starting with you.
If you want this book, you're gonna have to pry it off of me.
That's just what I intend on doing.
I immediately opened fire with my shotgun. It didn't seem to be doing anything.
Pathetic. Your human weapons are no match for my magic. You'll never break my enchantments.
I fired a few more shots, but he was right. This wasn't doing anything. Just then, I noticed there were two purple orbs hanging from the ceiling. They had an almost lifelike quality about them. Let's see what you think about this. I opened fire on one of the orbs, breaking it open, causing it to explode.
No!
He didn't like that and started attacking me. Clearly this was doing something. Oh, not so clever after all, are we? I fired on the other orb, which caused it to explode as well.
You will pay for this.
Fired again. This time I could tell. At the end of them, attacking me. Jeez, you can kill these guys at will? There's no way we can let them into our world. The blobs converged on me and I quickly finished them off with a shotgun. As soon as I had defeated them, Kuno summoned two. This is annoying. Kuno launched his purple fireballs at me and I continued to pick off more shots on him. I could tell he was desperate. Suddenly, a ring of fire turned around and I was hit by lightning. He wasn't joking, he was starting to get sick. Yeah, okay, now let's bring it. I kept on him, dodging lightning. Let me tell you, dodging lightning is hard as you can. This couldn't be it. But then I remembered the secret to defeating him, destroying the book. I knew what I needed to do. Just then, a ring of fire appeared around me and I jumped back, throwing the book out. Lightning struck the book, destroying it.
No!
Kuno erupted in an explosion and was destroyed. I did it! I heard some rolling thunder, and suddenly a bolt of lightning came out of the sky, teleporting me away. What now? On day 100, I appeared at the top of the hole, back on the ship. Inside of the cage in front of me, I saw one of the zombies start to change. But this time, he changed back into a sailor.
Oh, hello? What's going on?
Hang on, I'll help you. I jumped up to the cage and busted the sailor out. There were several other cages around the room, so I hurried and broke out all of the other trapped sailors as well. As I did so, I explained everything to them. They were all pretty confused, but I led them up to the flight deck so they could get some rest. With the sailors all safe in their bunks, I met back up with the seal and Switchblade.
You did it, Zozo. On behalf of the crew, I can't thank you enough.
Alice is feeling better too.
Just then, Alice walked up. The seal was right. She was looking normal.
Oh, Zozo, I feel so awful for everything I've done, but I'm so glad you were here to save the day. Our seal friend here and I are going to go adventuring together, but this time I'm not going to be reading any scary books.
I'm just glad everything is back to normal, and thanks for everyone's help. I can't wait to see where our adventures take us next.